We're gonna fix this.
And it's like, cool, okay, you're gonna do a Halloween sequel, ignore the remakes. Yeah, and they're like, Jamie Lee Curtis is coming back. It's like, well, she died. However, she was apparently dead in part 4, so that's not gonna stop them.
Yeah, well,
and I didn't know how to feel about it when they announced it. I wasn't really excited.
It was always a direct sequel to the first one. That's how they announced it.
No. But before they said that, I just knew a movie was being made.
Okay.
And remember they did that like that photo shoot where she's wearing the outfit and it's like the young
Right.
I think so,
yeah.
For
So-
Entertainment Weekly or something like that.
Yeah. So I remember being like, what? I'm like, okay. At this point, I don't care.
Well,
The Rob Zombie movies kind of like broke me to a point where I'm like, they can, because people complain about me not hating kills enough. I'm like, yeah, but that all the rage left me. And I'm like, whatever.
I'm more pissed off that I lost 2 hours. That I could have watched something else.
Yeah, but it's fun schlock.
Question mark.
Yeah, so I was like, okay, I'll see what it is. And then I hear it's a direct sequel to the first one. I'm like, all right, well, we're doing this again. We're doing the ignoring sequels thing again.
We're gonna get it right this time, Tony.
But yeah, that actually got me interested. Because I'm like, okay, I mean, this is before soft reboots and legacy sequels. Now I'm burnt out on them.
Yeah.
Afterlife. I'm done. I'm gonna watch this Halloween trilogy and then I'm done with legacy sequels.
Do you just make a point to bring that fucking movie up every time we're on the show?
I actually haven't done it in a really long time.
Yeah, the last time we were fucking on it.
Okay, well, like Star Wars, shit like that. Shit like that. I'm done. Ash vs. Evil Dead, this current Halloween series, and then I'm done. So yeah, I got excited for it, and then I went to see it. I did a full review on Rental Reviews. I even have a commentary track for this movie. I really enjoy this movie. I like they took because they reference the sequels a little bit. They take what works, and it's like, okay, people really like Jamie Lee Curtis coming back and facing her demons, but now we can get rid of the stupid brother shit.
Yeah,
thank God.
I like how they do it too, where they're just like, oh, that was just a
I do like they reference it. Yeah. And again, it has winks and nods to the other sequels,
Halloween
like
3 masks.
Like how does Michael get his outfit again? It's like, well, he just stumbles upon a gas station. It's like, oh, okay.
I mean, there's a little bit more to it than that, but yeah.
But yeah, I remember watching in theaters and I really, really enjoyed it. I really like this movie.
The third act, there's some stuff in the third act that I'm like, but overall, as a direct sequel to the first movie, it's pretty good.
Yeah.
Yeah. I like that. This is my favorite Michael since the first one.
Agreed. Who's it?
James Jude Courtney?
James Jude Courtney.
Because I like
3 fucking named people again.
Because again, I like that this Michael in these movies, maybe in the next one he cares a little bit because of how much shit she's been giving him.
Yeah.
He doesn't care about Laurie. Like he's just like, that was a young girl I tried to kill, didn't work out.
He's just
I love when he like finally gets everything back. He goes in, so he's been in jail for 40 years.
Right.
Yeah.
They caught him. You know what's funny? They were going to film the flashback for that movie, and John Carpenter was like, nah, your audience will catch on. You can just mention it. And then when they did Halloween Kills, they were like, well, we have that scene written, and we got to pad some time. Let's do those flashbacks.
Let me tell you something. That's the best part of that movie.
So it's implied that he got captured. They say Loomis tried to kill him, and they stopped him.
Yeah.
And he's been in Smith Grove's sanitarium ever since, but now he's going to be relocated to a cheaper one. Because it's just too expensive to keep him there. They're like, there's nothing we can learn from him. He doesn't do shit. Just send him to a cheaper place.
So fucking nuke him.
Yeah.
His meals are really expensive. He get him steaks, protein bars, and stuff.
Real quick. Chicago does not have the death penalty, or Illinois does not have the death penalty.
But they have Blue Chew.
They have Blue Chew. But because I remember me and James did a video on like how we would do like a Halloween H40.
Yeah.
And I came up with a really great way to explain how Laurie Strode survived Halloween Resurrection. You want to hear it?
Sure.
We never mention it.
Oh, that's a good.
We do the Halloween 4 thing. We just don't mention it.
Sure, there you go.
Okay.
But my plot was like they caught Michael, and then Laurie petitions to bring back the death penalty in Illinois. And then when she goes to the prison, the power goes out, and all the prisoners of death row are now after her, including Michael Myers.
Oh my God. And he's like killing them too.
Yeah, that was a pretty good plot line I came up with there.
I could see that working.
But anyway. So Michael gets out again on the day before Halloween. And I love he just goes right to town. And he's just like, back to my old tricks. Gonna stop by my sister's grave. Not gonna pick up the tombstone this time because I'm a gentleman in the 60s.
Well, according to Rob Zombies, it's a half a ton, so I don't blame him.
This feels so good. This whole sequence of him coming back and going to the different houses and stuff. It's fucking awesome.
I like the douchey podcast reporters.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, they're great.
I like the girl. That girl's cute. She's got to be in more things.
Oh, big time.
Yeah, I love when they go to Jamie Lee Curtis's house and they show how much of a wreck she is.
Yeah.
So they kept the alcohol thing from H2O.
Yeah.
But you find out she had like failed marriages. The
yeah.
state took her daughter away.
What were you saying? Because her
Fucked
dad was a real estate agent. That's
Yeah,
how she
I
got that
remember.
fucking
I
house.
remember watching. I'm like, so she's like a mess of a person, and it doesn't look like she has a job. How does she have this nice big house? Like, oh, her dad probably left her his real estate business.
She evicted somebody from that fucking cabin.
Yeah, he probably gave her the cabin. He's like, oh my God, my daughter's a mess. Here's the cabin property. You can have it.
She's got a lot of money to like beef this place up.
She probably has Strode Realty or owns part of it.
maybe.
Like, yeah, I think it's one of those.
Put
Like,
all the money into canned food and shotguns.
yes.
I mean, it's also she's like pretty old at this point, so
Yeah.
maybe she's just fucking retired. Who knows?
Yeah.
She's a hermit.
But yeah, I like the whole thing with her family. I love that Toby Huss is the dad. But I
that's-
love Toby Huss.
It's the dynamic of the family is really well written
Yeah,
too.
I do like Karen. She's like, my mom drove me nuts. I am not.
Yeah.
I'm not like her again. I forgot to ask. When did you guys see this? You saw it in theaters.
I saw it in theaters.
You
when
were
it
also
came
in
out,
theaters.
yeah.
Okay. And as I watched it the last few years, I'm like, I really appreciate this movie. I think it did really, really well. Michael is scary again.
Oh, he is really scary.
Although they do realize they wrote themselves in a corner. They're like, wait, so if we're just doing regular Michael, he doesn't care about Laurie, how are we going to get him to the compound? They're like,
I like that.
since we're referencing the sequels, like, what if the head of the hospital was a bad guy? Like in part
actually,
6.
I take that back. I hate that.
Yeah, I hate that. That face turn comes so fucking late.
Heel
and
turn.
it's like face
Yeah,
turn.
That's a
Heel
heel
turn.
turn.
Heel turn,
Face turn is when you turn into a good guy.
Yeah.
Oh, is it?
Wrestling
Oh,
terminology.
excuse me.
Yeah.
Vince McMahon's gonna sue
And
somebody.
it's called
He's already getting sued.
Joe, it's called an about face.
Oh, okay, excuse me.
Like Blue Meanie was on this show.
Does a
Could you
fucking-
show some fucking respect?
does a fucking 180, okay?
Okay.
And he's like, I'm like Loomis. I almost look exactly like him, but I want to be Michael Myers.
That
And he
was-
puts the mask on and shit. And
Yeah.
it's like,
Weird.
that's kind of fun. Like, look, it's a fine idea, but it's so late in the movie. You're like, oh no.
Yeah.
I don't like it, but it obviously explains how the bus crashed. It's not because Michael got it. This guy has this fucking
Sure.
pocket
Yeah.
knife. He clearly
Sure.
did something.
Yeah.
They don't ever tell you.
Yeah.
And I like the idea. Like, I feel like they're trying to like fuck with you. They're like trying to, subvert expectations.
She literally says you're the new Loomis.
Yeah.
right
To trick you. Yeah.
You're the new Loomis.
Well, yeah, but he's literally facilitating Michael getting out so that he can be.
Yeah.
Right. Well, because he
Loomis.
wants to see what happens to Michael when he's
Yeah.
let free. See
Yeah,
what
yeah.
he does.
Yeah.
And I love how Michael just immediately kills him.
I like Will Patton in
so
it.
beautiful.
Will Patton as the cop is pretty good.
He's great. Oh,
Look.
that was more shocking to me, honestly,
Yeah.
than the guy being
Listen,
evil. Was
yeah,
that he takes
well-
out the cop?
Listen,
Yeah.
Will Patton, I forgive you for being in Roadhouse 2.
But that's a good subvertive.
I'm still
That part, yeah.
I'm not done.
Excuse me.
I'm still disappointed that you took part in Roadhouse 2. And I expect an apology, but I want you to know I will give you forgiveness because you did a good job in this movie. And I started listening to the audiobook of Dr. Sleep. I didn't finish, but you're good at narrating that book. Anyway,
Expect a very nicely written letter from him.
dear Tony, thank you.
Dear Tony, thank you.
I was in a
Since-
dark place when I did Roadhouse 2.
Since we're talking about actors in sequels that we'd like to apologize to, Dan Aykroyd, Caddyshack 2 shouldn't have happened. I'm sorry that you had to do that.
Yeah.
Dan Aykroyd's got a lot to apologize for.
Just one of the many things.
But anyway, I do like the confrontation at the end, but I like some of the killing Michael does. I love that whole like Halloween 2 type montage where he's just going into houses.
That's what I was saying before. Like, I love that shot.
Yeah.
Like, all
and
of
it
that
is,
feels great.
It is funny now watching this because this movie is very self-contained.
Yeah.
But it is funny now knowing the stuff they left in for a sequel. So like Michael sees the nurse and doctor couple and they come back in the next one. One of the crazy guys in the insane asylum is like a big part of the next one.
Is that, the Oswald Cobblepot, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. So it's really cool. Love the scares. It actually is kind of scary at some
Has
point.
tension.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I understand the need to be like, we got to ramp up these fucking kills.
Yeah.
Like, I get that, but like,
The-
like super egregious sometimes.
The
Like, fucking
heads-
teeth with the thing coming.
That was
I
cool.
like that.
That was cool. The
I
head
think the head stomp
The
too
head
much.
stop is because in my mind I'm like, all right, we're back to Michael is just a regular guy.
Yeah.
Sure, he's hard. Like you could survive the events of the first Halloween. you're going to be out of commission for 40 years, which they do.
Well, we shot him 7 times.
Yeah, and he was stabbed and poked and stabbed.
Yeah.
So I can imagine like a Michael getting up from that and then collapsing shortly afterwards.
Yeah.
So I'm like, all right, he's just kind of like a regular dude, and this is gonna be a one-off. But then he did like crush the doctor's head with his foot. And I'm like, that's a little over the line.
Yeah.
It's a little over the line.
That and the doctor stuff are the two things I don't like about this movie because I've already basically said that I don't like how he's super powerful in the series in general. But yeah, otherwise, I think he's pretty fucking badass.
But I do love when he gets to Laurie's compound. That whole stalking scene is
pretty
really
much
good.
from when he kills the doctor on is great because like I even love the scene with the other cops.
Oh,
Like, at first you're like,
Yeah.
oh, how do they not know what's going on? But when they get close, you're like, oh, it's because it's behind the SUV. I thought that was clever.
The
Do you
whole
think-
confrontation, like in the house.
Yeah, do you think that those cops were a reference to the goofy cops from Halloween 5?
Oh, with the pudding
the
and the
clown.
brownie and all that.
But remember the cops in Halloween 5? There were two cops. They were accompanied with clown music.
Doesn't shock me that.
Do you not remember that? The cops are like, oh, yeah, we're cops, and it's our job. We love it. And the music goes like,
No,
I just remember
I'm 100% good on that.
I forget if it was 5 or 6, but there's totally a scene where there's like a cop with a shotgun in the room protecting whatever character, and it's
4.
like Michael busts in and this guy just doesn't do anything and gets killed. And it's like,
That's 4.
that's about right.
When he comes.
That's
out
where
of the-
clown music should have played.
Yeah.
When they're up on the fucking staircase.
Yeah.
To be fair, with Halloween 5, that is a year after the entire sheriff's department was murdered, so they probably didn't recruit the best people to replace them. But yeah, Halloween 2018, I love the fight at the end.
Yeah.
The stalking. Like, I showed my mom this movie for the first time, and she was like on the edge of her seat for the ending. She was like, man, that's real tense.
It's really well put together. It's the best Halloween movie, I think, since the first one.
I know that's a little premature, but we'll get to that. I love the trap at the end. And I'm like, man, like, that's a good ending. So I like that they wrote it. They always intended to do a sequel. I don't think they intended to do 2 sequels, but they were like, you know what? If it doesn't work out, let's shoot this one to be self-contained. So that's why I'm not too mad with Kills. And even if ends up sucking, I'll be like, you know what? 2018 is self-contained enough that could just be the end of the...
Yeah.
I agree. It should have just been this one movie.
Yes.
You know?
I mean, obviously they're not going to.
No, I know.
And of course they're going to remake it again down the line.
Yeah, but to do a trilogy from there, I mean, Kills is...
Again, my idea was that they had
see it yet?
No, we already said I hadn't.
Yeah,
By the
but-
time this is out, I probably will,
I keep
but
saying with
I
Kills,
don't
they
care.
had an idea for 2 movies, not 3, and I think they had to do a lot of padding for the second one.
lot.
But it is
Well, like
pretty-
she's like, from what I know, like it's similar to the original 2, where she's like in the hospital for most of it.
Yeah.
It doesn't really do anything.
Yeah, the main character is in the hospital for most of the time. And my problem going forward from that is that the Halloween Ends is going to take place like 4 years after that.
Yeah.
The fuck are you talking about?
Well, they couldn't do Halloween during the COVID Halloween. No one would have been out.
Michael's walking around.
I
with
joked
empty
about that in
face.
Halloween Kills. I'm like,
Yeah, but like she was like a crazy hermit all of a sudden, and now she's like back in action. And in that new trailer, she's like, everything's fine. I love my family. Michael's dead. I don't know.
there's
maybe."
an
I haven't
imposter
watched the
Michael,
trailer.
apparently.
Yeah, that was the spoilers I was talking about.
Or that's like a shot that's reversed. I don't know. Because they show like his fingers are back, but then they show that he's missing. So it's either they reversed the shot for
That's
a
also
trailer,
a trailer. They like
or
to fuck with
there's
you.
been
I read
they've
a
had a
bunch of
couple
spoilers.
fake out imposters in previous ones.
Yeah.
So
I read a bunch of spoilers, and I'm just like,
Don't spoil it
That's
for
the
me.
best you got,
anyway, a real solid film.
for sure.
Wouldn't expect 2 comedic guys to do it, but they did really well.
that's
I mean, the other, what's his face? Todd Phillips was a comedic director, and now he's doing Joker and shit. So there's this switch.
I feel like in order to the good comedies, in order to write good comedies, you have to be a good writer in
Yeah.
general. And I think when you apply that to a horror movie and you do less, I mean, there are some jokes in the movie. Look who's writing it.
Yeah.
But it's also they have strong characters in it too. So it works.
Yeah.
I love, just speaking of the jokes, besides that scene with those 2 cops with the sandwiches and the pudding.
Yeah.
I like the interaction. I think her name's Amy, the babysitter and the little boy.
Yeah.
Oh yeah,
That's
funny
great. He's like,
stuff.
you're gonna have some Alakazam. He's like, I know you're talking about weed. She's like, yeah, well, I'm gonna tell you. He's like, I'm gonna tell my mom. And she's like, yeah, I'm gonna tell your mom about your search history. And he's like, no, you won't.
I love that he runs out. He's like, don't go upstairs. You're going to die. And he just leaves him.
Smart kid. And
Yeah.
then you see, well, that guy didn't make it.
That
Yes.
girl was in that movie I just watched, Fall, about the girls who get caught up in the tower.
yeah.
And her boyfriend, this made me happy. Her boyfriend in the X-Files season 11, he's the grown-up Mulder and Scully baby, and he sucks. Mulder and Scully's baby ruined that show, and then when they brought him back as an 18-year-old in the last season, He sucked and ruined that too.
That's what you're saying. Ruined X-Files. It wasn't the fact that fucking.
There were a lot.
Company left the show.
There was a lot that ruined it, but I hated that baby. And then the fact that they brought the baby back as like a teenager, and he also sucks.
Yeah,
so seeing Michael Myers kill him.
Ageist?
Yes. What's her face? Allison, the granddaughter.
Okay.
Is it weird that she calls Jamie Lee Curtis grandmother?
Grandmother?
Not grandma. Not
I
mom.
guess some people do.
Just grandmother.
People have different names. Nana.
Mimi.
I call my grandmother her actual name, and that bothers people.
What if she called her Jamie Lee Curtis?
That'd be pretty funny. You know what? So my sister had 2 babies.
Yes.
Recently at the same time. Twins.
I was gonna say that's how twins work, Tony.
That is how they work.
Are they psychically linked?
We'll find
might
out.
be.
We'll find out. And they're like, what's your name going to be? Like, I'm going to be Mama. I'm going to be Grandma, blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, as soon as these kids learn to talk, I'm just be like, hey, you can call my mom Donna. She's cool with it. I'm just going to make them like me and my grandmother. I'm like, hey, what's up, Ann? Yes. So here we are. Best Halloween Part 2. Oh, hi, Crystal.
Oh, hi, Tony.
And just Crystal. Only Crystal.
Johanna? Justin? Karen?
Wow. What a change. Seems kind of weird. It took this long to get to this. Why do you wait? What's wrong with me? Okay. Crystal,
It's going to be a really boring episode, guys.
Yeah. I'm in a bad mood, Crystal.
Why?
I'm very sad.
Why are you sad? You're sad and mad?
I'm sad and mad. And it's because I always get sad around Halloween. I don't know if I ever told you this, but
Why?
when I was in high school, I was babysitting some kids. And this woman in a white mask and a mechanic's jumpsuit tried to murder me. And she killed some of my friends.
Oh, no.
And she injured me. And then later that night, I went to the hospital. And then she stalked me at the hospital. And then her psychiatrist blew her up in the hospital. I think there were other patients, so there definitely was a maternity ward. So I don't know how the babies survived that explosion.
I don't think babies explain, no, they wouldn't know.
You know what was weird when this lady who was trying to kill me blew up?
Yeah.
She suddenly had a fire retardant suit on. I don't know how she got it on, but then she died. And
So she was wearing mechanics and then a fire. Okay.
Yeah, I don't know. It was really weird. She sounds like a magician. And then I found out that woman was my long-lost sister. And that I was adopted. It was news to me.
That's a lot to go
That's
through.
a lot. It gets worse.
How?
Well, I had a kid, right? And then I was so scared. Oh, by the way, the woman who, my secret evil sister, she was in a coma.
Oh.
I know what you're thinking. Didn't they blow up and burn to death? But they got better.
Oh.
You know what's weird?
Did the babies get better?
I don't know.
Okay.
You know what's weird? The psychiatrist that blew her up, she was standing right next to like ground zero where the gas tanks explode. She was fine. She's got a little burn on her face. Anyway.
Oh.
So I was so scared that my evil sister would wake up from a coma and kill me that I faked my death and I abandoned my kid in my hometown and I moved away.
Oh, geez.
Because I thought it'd be safer. It turns out my evil sister woke up from the coma on Halloween of all nights. I know, real coincidence, right?
That's a huge coincidence.
And then she tried to kill my kid, and then they stopped her. They shot her.
Okay.
And she fell down a well, and then they actually threw dynamite in, but. No one remembers doing the dynamite the first time, but when people recalled it later, like, oh yeah, there was definitely dynamite there. It was definitely always there.
Okay.
Okay. Then my kid stabbed her foster mother. And then everyone just kind of forgot about it. So then
she didn't go into like more foster care or anything? Like there was no like more
She went to a kid's hospital.
Okay.
Where my evil sister's psychiatrist worked. And then this
coincidence is really quinky-dinks.
Yeah, and then it turns out my kid had a psychic bond with my evil sister. And the psychiatrist was using this psychic bond to capture my evil sister. My evil sister was captured.
Oh,
and my kid survived. But you'll never believe it.
More?
Yeah, a guy dressed all in black came to town, and he shot up the police station.
And who was he?
Well, it gets more interesting, okay?
Okay.
Kidnapped my evil sister and my kid. Kidnapped them, held them in a place for like years. Turns out, this man in black was the head of the psych ward where my evil sister broke out of. And they were in a cult. And I think he made my evil sister and my kid have an incest baby. I'm kind of unclear. Or maybe it was a clone. I'm a little confused by what happened there.
It might have been a baby. I'm pretty sure if I had to guess, I think it was.
You know what?
An incest
Sometimes
baby.
I remember the events of this story happening one way.
Okay.
And then sometimes I remember it another way, as if there was like imagine if it was a movie, like a producer came in and cut it up. That's how.
Okay.
Anyway, my kid died.
Oh, I'm so sorry.
Yeah, but I guess my grandkid.
Oh.
Yeah. It turns out I am very old, Crystal. You guys were right. I had no idea.
Wow. I mean,
my grandkid.
Look great for 50.
This
but
another coincidence. My grandkid got rescued by the little boy I was babysitting the first night my evil sister tried to kill me. Isn't that crazy?
That's insane.
Okay, so then the cult died and everything. And then I thought everything was fine.
Okay.
I was raising my other kid. For some reason,
Wait, how many kids do you have?
Well, I have 2 or 3. I have 2, I think. And I guess for some reason I left that one because I wanted to save them. But then I must have just had another kid.
Did you forget about that kid?
I think I forgot.
You
Forgot about the kid. I probably should. It's weird that I left one kid in the town, but not the other.
Well, what about your grandkid?
Huh?
Well, what happened to your grandkid?
That's a good question. Don't know.
Oh,
I think the kid I was babysitting.
You're such a family man.
Look, I can't keep track. I got to keep my distance. My evil sister is lurking at all times. So you'll never believe this.
Still
my
goes?
evil sister found out that I was the schoolmistress of a school. I know. Crystal, I've had a very, very weird career before I opened up this video store and became a famous YouTuber.
Yeah.
I was a schoolmistress at a school with my second kid who I decided could live with me, unlike the first kid, which I separated for some reason. I guess it was just easier for me to raise one kid.
And whatever happened to the father of these kids?
It's a good question. It's a good question.
Never appears.
Yeah. You know that cult, by the way, the sanitarium cult, I guess all the members were just in that sanitarium and they all died and there were no other cult members around.
Oh, okay.
So you know what's weird when my evil sister went to attack me at the school where I was the schoolmistress, all the burns that she had from that explosion just magically went away. And I forgot to mention, you know where my fear of eyes being stabbed and stuff comes from? I actually shot her point blank in the eyes twice. And I nailed it twice, both eyes.
Yeah.
And that's where I got my fear. But when I was the schoolmistress and whatchamacallit, is that the word? I think that's the word, right? Anyway, when my evil sister came back, her burns were gone and her eyes grew back. I can't explain.
Your eyes grow back like that?
I guess they did.
Like a chameleon tail?
So my evil sister's there trying to kill my second kid. Okay, and I'm like, I've had enough.
But
right?
your grandkid's okay.
Remains to be seen. I fought my evil sister, right?
Okay.
And then they were. I thought I killed her.
Okay.
And they were like, we're gonna put her in a van.
Sounds like you've almost killed her more times than I can count.
Yeah, well, not even just me, like the entire police force, my first kid.
It's like as if your evil sister.
The psychiatrist
undead.
I think died when he was rescuing my grandkid.
Oh.
Again, it's unclear.
Seems like a lot of things are unclear.
Yeah, if it was the way that person just disappears from the story is as if you were making a movie and like an actor died and you know how to cut around it. Anyway,
or they actually had it in the producer's cut and they actually ended up cutting it out.
If this were a movie,
If this was a movie,
story.
I know this is very, very true.
It's true story. Okay,
it's devastating.
So they were putting my dead evil sister in a van, and I said, not today, Satan. And I was like, I don't trust this. this is where I got my lack of trust of women, was because of my evil sister.
This is where you got it. That makes a lot more sense.
After this,
you should forgive your sister.
After this, I was like, I will be a schoolmistress no longer.
Were you also in a romantic relationship with the counselor?
I was, and I was a bit of an alcoholic. And my evil sister...
I'm pretty sure your alcoholism never goes away.
Yeah, my evil sister killed that person.
Wow. Just seems like
Also,
your evil sister's out to get you.
Before I finish this part of the story, you know what was weird?
Yeah.
The security guard at this school that I worked at looks a lot like LL Cool J from Deep Blue Sea. Yeah.
That's insane.
Anyway. So I'm driving the van. I'm like, I'm gonna take them to the morgue myself. I want to make sure my evil sister's dead.
Yeah, as you should, because you tried killing
my evil sister was not dead.
Why?
I don't know. Maybe it was because of that cult. It's unclear. Anyway, she attacks me. The van rolls, right? Falls out of the van. Van pins her against a tree. I'm okay, I guess. I have an axe. Also, I forgot to mention I have an axe.
Oh, and then while you're driving?
Yes.
Oh.
And then my evil sister, who has only ever tried to kill me for as long as I've lived, reached out to me for help. And then I cut her head off.
You cut her head off?
Yeah.
So she's dead.
Bad news. Turns out, while I was outside, I guess giving my statement to the cops, a paramedic, just one paramedic, went to my serial killing sister's body. And my sister crushed her larynx and switched outfits with her. So I killed an innocent paramedic. And I ended up in an insane asylum, Crystal. And then... You think this be the end of the story, right?
Yeah.
My evil sister came to the insane asylum.
You would think that if this was like a movie series, it would have ended a while ago.
I know. So my evil sister came to the insane asylum where I was at because I feel guilty that I killed that other broad. Can't remember her name. But I felt bad about it.
Okay.
And my evil sister hunted me down. I set a trap for her, though.
Oh.
I fucked up. I had to make sure it was actually my evil sister and not some other poor innocent person.
Because you don't want to go through that again. You went
I don't.
Okay.
My evil sister grabbed me, stabbed me in the back. And
Literally?
Yes, and threw me off the roof, and I died. And then they were on a reality TV show. And that's why I just get really sad around Halloween.
Oh, I'm sorry you're dead.
I got better.
I thought you got better. Wow.
Yeah.
What are you, like 82?
Yeah. Oh, by the way, this whole story was made into a movie by a heavy metal singer. And then it got a sequel. But it was a lot different than what happened in real life.
Oh.
Yeah. So that was my story of why I don't really like Halloween. You know what it sounds like? It sounds like the film series Halloween about the killer Michael Myers.
I know. I don't think so.
I think it does. Nah. I think there's a lot of similarities there.
No, I think you're just trying to compare too much.
Speaking of Halloween with Michael Myers, there's a new Michael Myers movie out.
Yay.
Oh, we have not talked about Halloween kills. Kills. We have not talked about Halloween kills.
Which Halloween and then kills.
Okay.
Oh my God.
So, Crystal, I've never asked you. Even though
okay.
Let's get this out of the way. Mm-hmm. I'm not talking about Halloween 3, okay? I know you like Halloween 3 the most. I know.
You mean like Halloween 3?
Yes,
Halloween
we're gonna
3.
We will do a commentary track for Halloween 3.
Yay!
And you can talk more about Halloween 3 there. Now, what is your thoughts on the Halloween series before we get into this new entry? This series that seems a lot like Me and My Evil Sister.
Yeah, that's really weird. Yeah. It's really, really weird. I really like, as Halloween 3 is its own entity, Halloween 1, obviously a huge classic, just a classic slasher.
One of my favorite films. Actually, can you grab me the tape there?
Which one?
Halloween 1.
There's so many. Nope. That's Halloween 2, Rob Zombie,
down,
Resurrection.
The tape.
This one.
I remember my mom coming home with the Blockbuster Presents Halloween.
That's actually pretty sweet.
They only made 3 of these. It was this. Oh, shit. When we did rental reviews, it was in rental reviews.
What's rental reviews?
Don't worry about it.
Okay.
James showed, it was this, I think Night of the Living Dead, and then it was a 2-pack called Bigfoot and Witches.
That
or something
amazing.
like that. But I remember her coming home with this. I'm like, what is this? And I saw this when I was 5, and I fell in love with Halloween, the movie.
I can see this being like a 5-year-old watching this and getting into Halloween because it's not your typical scary. It's not that you have some jump scares, you have some gruesome kills, but I think this is fantastic. I think the way it's written, I think the way it's portrayed, great acting. Jamie Lee Curtis is. This makes her the iconic scream queen, final girl in this.
And you know what?
She's so strong and smart and amazing.
And she worked really hard for this role, and she made it on her own, and it has nothing to do with the fact that her mom was also a famous scream queen in a movie where a person is stabbing people.
Yeah, nothing.
No. What's nepotism? But no, she's very good at this.
She's absolutely phenomenal. I had no idea that was her mom.
Janet Leigh?
Yeah, Janet Leigh. I eventually found out. Yeah. But growing up watching Halloween, I knew more of Jamie Lee Curtis than I did.
Of
her mom.
I actually just bought the Psycho 4-pack Blu-ray, so I'm excited to watch those bad boys again.
Nice. But I think the first one's absolutely phenomenal. Yeah. The second one, it's pretty good. I don't hate it or anything like that. Right. It's okay.
When you're younger, you're like, it's the best sequel because it takes place the same night. Talk about that later.
It does.
And Jamie Lee Curtis is back.
Jamie Lee Curtis is back. It kind of ties up a couple little things. Like you're okay. It's a decent sequel.
Yes. But then you get older.
Then you get older and you're like, oh.
Yeah, now when I got real into the Halloween movies when I was younger.
I'm not shocked at this.
Like I bought all the tapes and whatnot, and I watched them like I was super into the Halloween series, which is funny because now I'm older. I'm like, not a good franchise.
But why?
I'm like Friday the 13th and Nightmare on Elm. Looking back, Nightmare on Elm Street is probably the most solid of those franchises.
I have been going back and forth deciding which one of the franchise I actually like the most. And I don't know if I actually have a favorite. Because there's some things I'm like, okay, yes, then no.
I think Nightmare on Elm Street has the most like good to bad ratio, I think.
I think as its full series, yes, I will 100% agree on that. Because it's a shorter series. It doesn't have as much bullshit movies afterwards. I feel like it's never been remade. It's really like only bullshit.
I'm not a big fan of 4. It has its fans. 5 is kind of the bad one, but there's interesting visuals in it. I like Freddy's Dead. Freddy's Dead is not a good movie, but I like Freddy's Dead.
They also have like, Freddy, I'm just falling. It's cool. It's a ghost. Yeah. It has interesting concepts, and Freddy also grows as a character with them. It's a little bit more jokey. 2 is really 3. I'm not the biggest fan because it was a little too forced for me. Everyone fucking loves 3.
Fucking loves 3.
You're really not a fan of 3?
No, I like it. I'm a fan of it. It's just everyone says it's the best. I'm like, I like 2 a little bit more than this one.
I like 2 more than 3.
Yeah.
I absolutely like 2 more than 3. 3 was a little bit
I like New Nightmare more than most of them.
Really?
I really like New Nightmare, even though it's not technically Friday, but whatever.
Yeah. No, it has that corniness of we can be anything we want in our dreams. And I was like, shut up.
Yeah, like Halloween, it's not a very good franchise.
It's not. If they stopped at 4, if it was 1, 2, and 4 was 3, and that's all they made, I think that would be a really great trilogy.
The thing though, my problem with 4 is it was written during the writer's strike of '88 or whatever. So the guy only had 1 pass, and that's why it's almost pretty much just Halloween 1. Like it's really because he only had a week to write it. Yeah. I talk about that writer's strike a lot because it affected a lot of movies. I famously talk about Batman '89. Yep. The third act of Batman '89 makes no sense. Suddenly has a plane, he's just machine gunning people. It's like, oh, okay. That's what happens when your main writer only has 1 pass and then they all go on strike. But 4 had such a good cliffhanger and they were too afraid to deliver.
I am mad. I hate the fact that they didn't go with that. No! Because I love Danielle Harris is absolutely phenomenal. In the 4 and in 5, she does an amazing job just as a kid in general. And I know in other things that she's done, she's also phenomenal.
Don't tell mom the babysitter's dead.
Yeah.
It's Home Alone ×5.
Yes. I hate the story of like she fucking killed her mom, and like it's like, and then
Yeah.
That's how I feel.
5 is pretty bad.
And then you go into the others. It's just that feeling. They're like, stop, make it stop.
I did a video with James years ago on like how to fix Halloween 6. So here's the thing. I don't know if you've seen that video. I was like real into Halloween 6 when I was a teen.
I feel like you were really into all the Halloween.
I was, but like 6 because like, so 6 had been out for a few years.
Mm-hmm.
Like this is even after H2O. I was going back and watching 6 like on cable and stuff.
Okay.
This is around the time where like The Undertaker had a cult in WWF. Oh, hi Undertaker. So I was into like
Undertaker.
cult stuff and whatnot. So I went back and watched Halloween 6. I'm like, this movie's awesome. I love the Thorn cult and whatnot. And I thought it was
so
great. And then I got
stupid.
so the thing is, like, I loved all these movies except for 5. I always had a problem, like a hard time accepting. And then I got older and I
You had
rewatched
more hard time accepting 5 than 6?
because 5 is so fucking boring and lame.
It's really boring. It's really long. Nothing happens. You're just like, eh.
Yeah.
Yeah, 6 is completely different.
6, they over edit it to make it seem entertaining when
think?
it kind of wasn't. Then they did Halloween H2O. And I like Halloween H2O, but I'm not a big fan of 2 anymore, so I don't like that it has pieces of 2. Like, now that I'm older, I don't really like that she's his sister. It seems kind of lame.
Just like you come up with one story and stick with it though, because now it's confusing. Now that you're going into the other ones as well.
Do you want me to do a breakdown of the timelines?
Are you going to do it anyway?
Yes.
Okay, then go ahead.
So we have the Jamie Lloyd series, which is technically 1 and 2.
Yes.
4, 5, and 6. So you got her mother and then the daughter, Jamie Lloyd.
4, 5. 6 is.
The 6, Jamie
6
Lloyd's
is
in
like
that.
the kid. Yeah.
Yeah, that's like the end of her thing.
It's the end of her. Yeah, it's
So
the end
then-
of hers, and
yeah.
then this baby and.
Yeah, then you have the first Laurie Strode series, which is 1, 2, H2O, and Resurrection, which I'm wearing my shirt for.
I
Trick or treat,
see.
motherfucker. Then, of course, you have the Rob Zombie's Halloween, which is the
Which
remake.
I always forget about them.
Yes. And now you have the new Laurie Strode series, which is Halloween 1, 2018.
2018, and then Kills, and then
Ends.
Yeah.
And then, of course, the outside is Halloween 3, which is, again, we'll do a commentary track for.
Which I wish they actually stuck with what they wanted to do. I would
With
have
the
loved
anthology?
that. I would, and I mean, it doesn't make sense that you already did 1 and then you did 2, and now you're starting with an anthology.
If they had done it, if they had tried it earlier, it might have worked.
But the thing is, the Michael Myers character was so large, and so I watched an entire interview with a whole bunch of the people from Halloween 3, and they were saying that the producers kind of fucked up because they just didn't really, many of the executive producers just didn't care anymore.
Yeah.
And they're just like, well, it's going to flop anyway. And they didn't market it right. If they marketed saying Michael Myers was not going to be in it, but that was never said at all whatsoever.
Even like the tagline is like, no one comes home and whatnot.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's very misleading.
A lot of people from Halloween 2, a lot of the crew ended up being in that. It's such a fascinating story of how
Jamie Lee Curtis is in it.
She really is. She's been in almost all of them.
No, not all of them.
Not all, but she's been in.
There's a picture of her in 4, and that's it.
I still find it awesome, like seeing like the images of her though.
Yeah.
Like that still counts.
No,
That
I
still
hate
counts.
in 4. It's a picture of her holding the pumpkin from 1. It's like, who took that fucking picture?
That happens all the time.
Yeah. Yeah, so Halloween has rebooted itself several times now. They like to
Just come up with the storyline and stick with it.
It's actually reminding me of Godzilla. Did you know I talk about Godzilla?
You do?
Yeah, I have a Godzilla podcast.
Okay, remind me never to listen to it.
So there's
Wait,
different.
is Johanna on it?
Yes.
Oh, I'll listen to Johanna.
So there's several Godzilla timelines. There's the Showa series, the Heisei series, and the Millennium series. With the exception of the American remakes and Shin Godzilla, all Godzilla sequels consider the first movie canon.
Okay.
So it'll be like the first movie's canon, then you have the Showa series.
Yeah.
And then they restart. First movie's canon, the Heisei series. And then with the Millennium series, every movie was just a direct sequel to the first movie, and they were all disconnected. So that's kind of what Halloween is starting to feel like, where it's like that first one is the constant, and they're just going to keep figuring other ways to reboot it.
I wish we were doing a review of Halloween 2018.
What are your thoughts on 2018? Let's try to go through them quickly.
Okay. I didn't like it. There were so many inconsistent things that were throughout the movie, so many what the fuck moments. It didn't feel right. It felt over-explained and nothing really happened. The whole beginning of it, I was like, really? How did Michael Myers see the fucking reporters or journalists as they were coming in, and he's like, how the hell did he get? One of his friends.
Oh yeah,
really?
It's
Come
stupid.
on,
It's
no one
stupid.
gave you that fucking mask.
By the way, have you seen what the real mask looks like? The real mask from
I know what
part
the real one is Captain Kirk.
No, but I mean like what it looks like now.
No.
Okay, it's super degraded. It looks real derpy. And I actually, when 2018 were showing pictures of Michael Myers, I photoshopped the actual mask from the first movie onto it. And it's just like,
yeah, because I feel like that rubber would end up having to harden.
Oh, yeah. Well,
there's no way you would end up putting it back on. That would actually disintegrate
That's
after
why
40 fucking years.
Wait. Halloween, Rob Zombie's Halloween. Like Michael Myers, I guess, buried his latex mask under the floorboards, and then he brings it back. I'm like, that wouldn't still be around.
No. And the hair's just fine. Like, no, what is that hair? Like, have you ever had a wig for like fucking years, or you've gone to like I remember like the attic of my mom's house still, like old costumes or something like that. I'm like, this smells. Like, imagine putting that on after 40 years, putting on that in your face. No. So there's so many things I did not like about it.
Are there any things you did like about it?
I thought it was an interesting concept.
Yeah.
I love Jamie Lee Curtis. I thought she was a badass.
Danny McBride and the director of, what did he direct? Fucking David Gordon Green. Pineapple Express did a good job. I think okay.
It wasn't horribly directed. Yeah. I think that there was too many, like I said, inconsistencies. I think there was too many little things where if Jamie Lee Curtis or if Laurie was really planning this, she would have planned it a little bit better. Also, how did the daughter or the granddaughter learn how to shoot a gun? Like, there's a...
Yeah.
Or am I getting confused with... No, it's in the Halloween Kills.
Yeah.
That's going to come back up.
Okay, so...
There's so many little things where I'm like, that's a horrible trap. Why would you almost risk your life to get someone in a fucking basement? And then, also, why are you standing there? The whole ending really pissed me off. You got stabbed in the stomach and you're kind of okay and you're okay to fight. I get adrenaline, but come on.
Yeah.
And then you're able to stand there and the house doesn't wouldn't it explode? Look how old that house is.
She had 40 years to plan this. Okay. You have your issues with it.
I have issues.
As far as I can tell, for me, I'm like, you know what? I think this might be, and it's not a hard thing to pull off. I'm like, I think it might be the best Michael Myers sequel, 2018. Because it gets rid of the stupid family shit. Didn't need that. I like that they went to like a for this movie. They went back to a back to basics. He's just kind of a guy. Like, he kind of survived. Like, you can theoretically say when you watch the first movie how it has that ambiguous ending. You could say like, oh, Michael Myers got away, or maybe he just got up and died a couple streets down. And people have survived some crazy shit. So I'm like, all right, he's back to just being a dude, not a weird cult assassin, whatever guy.
I like how they had to fully explain that. It was just a theory. Some people had to feel better. Wouldn't you feel better knowing that he was after his sister, not just a random guy?
They just needed that line for the trailer.
That's all they needed.
But I thought it was fine. I thought it was a nice, self-contained movie that wrapped up the Laurie Strode thing, gave you a nice ending. It's like, okay, she has... So it took the stuff from H2O I liked with like the PTSD and whatnot, but did it a little bit better.
Yeah, I agree.
And again, nice little self-contained story and ending.
Yeah.
It could have ended it there. Instead, they made a sequel. Are you ready to talk about Halloween Kills?
Kill me?
So right here.
Okay, I do want to say, though, going off into this, it's not horrible compared to 5, 6, 7, all the other ones.
I'd rather watch this over 5.
I'd rather watch this over 5 and beyond.
The Rob Zombie.
All of them. From 5 on, I prefer Kills, but... it has its issues, and it has a lot of fucking issues in it.
So here's a quote from Danny McBride.
Okay.
So originally, they wanted to do 2 back-to-back, like the first one and this one. So he goes, we were going to shoot 2 of them back-to-back. Then we were like, well, let's not get ahead of ourselves. This could come out, and everyone could hate us, like Crystal. I don't know why I'm pointing you out. We never work again, so let's not have to sit around for a year while we wait for another movie to come out that we know people aren't going to like. So we're like, let's learn from this and see what works, what doesn't. But we definitely have an idea where we could go with this. So I like that they made that movie. If they didn't get a sequel, it just self-contained, the story ends, but they left a little wiggle room. So I'll give them credit for that. I'll give them credit for that, for telling a nice down-to-earth sequel that I liked. And now they're just going to go crazy with it. This almost seems... So the previous one did reference all the sequels. Very, minimally.
Yeah.
But
like a little, homage to them.
Yeah, like the Halloween 3 master in it. He kills a mechanic at the the floor.
Yes.
There's little stuff like that.
I liked that though. I did like that. They're like the little Easter eggs where if you actually love the series.
His doctor being a bad guy is kind of like Halloween 6.
There was so much. And of course, obviously, when he pushes Laurie off the top and then he looks back down, even though it wasn't Laurie that saw him on the ground, but
they couldn't just get Busta Rhymes for one cameo.
Trick or treat, motherfucker.
So one of the things about 2018 that I thought was interesting was the boyfriend, the cheating boyfriend, kind of. Yes. He kind of just, not that I thought he deserved to die, because the high school relationships don't count, but I thought it was weird the movie didn't give him any kind of comeuppance.
No.
Actually, there might have been a deleted scene where he gets into a fight with Allison and gets arrested.
Oh.
That was cut out. There might be. I have to double check. Either way, that's not the final scene.
It doesn't matter.
So it starts with him.
Which I actually liked, because it really does go right into where it left off.
Which they got from Halloween 2, the original Halloween 2.
And I do appreciate that.
So he's walking around. He's still in his skirt because he's Bonnie.
Yeah, I thought that was cute. That was cute.
Turns out Will Patton survived. And I like Will Patton. I'll never forgive him for Roadhouse 2. I'll never forgive him for Roadhouse 2. But I like Will Patton.
So you're saying Roadhouse 2 isn't better than Roadhouse 1?
Yeah. Nothing's better than Roadhouse 1.
You're acting like you really like Roadhouse.
I love Roadhouse. It's the best movie ever made.
Don't cry, Tony.
There are no other movies better than Roadhouse. What movie is better than Roadhouse?
I feel like you're about
to Roadhouse cinematographer Dean Cundy, who also was a cinematographer for Halloween.
Very nice.
Anyway, so he saved Will Patton, and then we get a flashback to 1978.
I didn't like the flashback. I did not like. Okay. I get it because it did tie up how the fuck is Michael Myers in this hospital when in the first movie he vanishes.
Yeah.
They never caught him. So this is what ties that up, which I did like.
So what happened was, this is how they wanted to start Halloween 2018. They had the idea of hey, let's show what happened afterwards. And I think if I remember right, I couldn't find the article, John Carpenter kind of advised against it. He's like, nah, just trust your audience. They'll go with it. You just say, hey, he was arrested.
Oh,
it's
really
fine.
Quick, before the flashback, though, I do want to say, why is everything so ambiguous where in 2018 where they keep saying he, and everyone's like, what are you talking about? And they do it again in the first goddamn scene, basically, of saying, where he's on the ground,
it's like, he needs to die.
And it's like, who the fuck is he? How does the town... I think this might have been one of my biggest issues with 2018 going into this as well, because it's a constant issue I have. We see cell phones are a thing. The very beginning, he's calling his friend. You see it in his pocket. Cell phones are a thing. All the kids are using it. Is no one else using phones? Wouldn't that be breaking news that a bus being transferring these patients crashed?
I mean, it
and
was
people
on the
were
TV
murdered?
and stuff, but
it wasn't until later at the bar. That would have been great.
Because the previous movie, you know what it was? I don't think they mentioned that Michael Myers was on the thing.
Well, wouldn't that also be huge news, except for that town that, Michael Myers is because Laurie knew he was being transferred. Yeah. Everyone else seemed to know he was being transferred, but yet that wasn't news or a big thing, because if it's also supposed to be happening around this current time as well, it would be a huge thing on the news.
This is a problem I have with this movie, because 2018 kind of showed that the rest of the town doesn't care anymore. Because
but they
by the way, with good reason, because the one kid in 2018 is hey, killed 5 people. There's people today that can kill way more. But now in this town, when they realize Michael Myers is back, they all act like they were personally offended by Michael Myers. And some of this happened before you guys were born.
Before a lot of them were.
Yeah.
I get it. 40 years have gone by. They're over it. Fine.
No. But in this movie, they're like, and I get there's like a survivor group. So I got questions about the survivor
I
group.
do too.
I'll get to that. But
I honestly think the town, or at least the police force, where if Michael Myers really killed the police chief or whatever, it wasn't the police chief. It was one of the officers.
Yeah,
daughters.
he kills another officer. Yeah.
No, the daughter of one of the officers.
Oh yeah, Annie.
Yes, Annie. Don't you think he would also be a little bit more curious? Okay, Michael Myers is being transferred. Oh shit, the bus crashed. You probably definitely heard it on the fucking radio scanner.
Yeah.
And yet, why are you not?
I don't know how many people know outside of Lori. Like, they're probably not all keeping up with it.
Well, what about this fact? If a bus full of prisoners or patients escaped and people were murdered, don't you think they would lock down the town? I would let people know, because in Philadelphia, there was a car chase happening and it went into around where my hometown was. And I know my family was freaking the fuck out. Everyone was in their home. Yeah. Everyone knew there was helicopters. There was everything was happening. Everyone was basically in lockdown. All the towns nearby.
Yeah.
So why nothing there?
Because they couldn't cancel Halloween.
Oh.
That's what the sheriff says. The sheriff with the cowboy hat. It's like, what are we gonna do? Cancel Halloween? Anyway.
They fucking did it for COVID. They did it how many other times they canceled Halloween.
So my problem, all right, so they show the flashback. Hawkins is Will Patton's character.
Alcohol.
Hawkins is Will Patton's character. He's there with his partner, and his partner's just like, hey, I used to hang out with Michael when he was a kid. I kind of like this. It's like, yeah, he used to stare out of his sister's window. I'm like,
they say this so many times.
But I was just like, no, I like that he was just a normal kid, and then it snapped.
He snapped, yeah.
I don't need to be like, the man in black put a weird curse on him.
No. And they say it later in the movie too, where, what was he doing staring out the window? Oh, he was probably looking at his reflection.
Yeah. But, so they're looking for him. They see him for like a second. What happens? Oh, I like that. Oh, what did you see this on? Peacock?
Yes.
Okay. I couldn't tell. I need to like up the contrast or something. It doesn't look like he has a single bullet hole in his jumpsuit. So what I think happened is, this is my theory. Michael Myers, when Loomis shot at him 6 times, Loomis just missed all 6 times. And Michael,
all 6 times?
And Michael, who, he's a real trickster. It's Halloween, trick or treat. He's like, hee. Oh, you got me. He just mimed being shot. And since he was so committed to the bit, he's like, now I'm going to throw myself off the balcony to trick him. Because there's not one bullet hole in him. So Michael Myers, like, I like that little Lonnie. Lonnie, get your ass out of there. I like that he's getting bullied.
I laughed at that. I thought that was kind of funny. But I was like, okay, these are kids just being assholes.
But he's the bully who bullied Tommy. But he gets face to face with Michael Myers. I guess the second time, because in the first Halloween, doesn't he bump into him outside of the school?
I don't know if it was him that bumped into him.
Or was that
I can't
Richie?
remember.
I forget.
There's been a couple, but they don't mention the other people that bumped into him.
Yeah. But yeah, he runs away.
Yeah.
The cops chase him to the Myers house where he is. He attacks the one cop. Oh, they show the dead dog that they never show in the first one.
Yeah. And I was
you
like,
actually get to see the dog chewed up.
Yeah. I was
Michael can't steal like a fucking sandwich. He's got to eat a dog. Anyway.
Yeah, that makes no sense. But you've never seen me eat another dog.
In Halloween Resurrection, he's got rats that are half eaten.
Nice prop.
But I guess Michael doesn't eat, except that
eats.
one dog once.
I assume he eats at some point.
He doesn't die.
So what happens? Yeah, the cops are in there. They get attacked by Michael. Fucking Hawkins accidentally shoots his partner.
Yep.
And then we see Dr. Loomis. So, okay. So this was the film's art director, Tom Jones Jr. I don't think he's related to Tom Jones.
I don't think so.
They put a full prosthetic on him.
Was it him or was it the foreman? I read it that it was their foreman.
It's whoever it was. They put a full prosthetic on a guy. That was Donald Pleasance's face. Now I think they enhanced it with CGI a little bit. They
said they didn't do it. I read that it took 11 prosthetics to put on his face, and they didn't use any CGI.
Here's a secret, Crystal.
Oh, what?
They lie about not using CGI all the time. They use CGI to enhance everything. Baby Yoda is heavily enhanced by CGI.
Now you're gonna tell me the Great Pumpkin doesn't exist.
He doesn't. But I looked because I've seen these effects before, around his mouth. It looks like they smoothed out around his mouth because it's hard to get like it's.
I want to believe it was great effects and someone did a phenomenal job.
Here's the thing. I only think they enhanced it when he was talking because you don't need to enhance it. The other time it looked fine.
He looked
but it looks
great. He looked great. Like
because it wasn't.
I had to do a double take. I was like, whoa, wait a minute.
Because I was ready for them to be like a CGI deepfake, and I'm looking at it. I'm like, that actually looks a little too good. I mean, there are good CGI de-aging and stuff.
But that was
and it's the same guy who did the voice of Loomis in the previous one when we're listening to his tapes. Yeah, they got a voice actor that sounds like Loomis. But yeah, so then, whatchamacallit, it cuts to the credit sequence where there are 12 pumpkins.
Yes.
Because it's the 12th movie.
I did like that there was the pumpkins.
Yeah, you know what?
I really enjoyed
that. Is my problem with all the Halloween sequels after 2. Like, I liked the pumpkin opening.
Yeah,
and then they just never
They never went back to it.
5, they kind of showed a pumpkin being carved, but it wasn't the same thing.
It wasn't.
I kind of missed the pumpkin opening.
I saw that and I was like, and it just kind of brings you back more like nostalgic feeling.
Yeah. And I like the last one where it was the pumpkin in reverse building itself back up.
I thought that was cool.
I like that. So there's apparently Laurie had a support group who are at the talent show at the bar where the nurse and doctor from the previous movie ended up.
I did.
Yeah.
I have so many questions.
I like how they brought back some of the background characters for this one.
I enjoyed that because I was like, oh shit, it's the guy that forgot his stethoscope, but it was actually in his pocket the whole time. But the girl saw Michael Myers.
Yeah.
She straight up saw him.
Well, she didn't know. No, she doesn't know what Michael Myers was wearing. She just saw a guy.
She did. She just saw a guy in a mask and mechanic's outfit.
So apparently there's a support group. Okay, I get Tommy Doyle and Lindsay to an extent. And it's the original Lindsay.
Oh, is it? I don't think I realized that.
Yes, it's the original Lindsay, who's apparently still been acting. She does a lot of TV and stuff.
Good for her.
Tommy Doyle is Anthony Michael Hall.
Yep.
They were thinking of bringing, what's his face back? Ant-Man.
Oh,
Why am I blanking on his name?
Paul Rudd?
Paul Rudd.
Yes.
Paul Rudd, who a few years ago, he answered they had one of those Google questions. And they're like, what was the first theatrical film you were in? He went, Halloween 6. And then he paused. He's like, I can't remember the name of it. But they were thinking about bringing him back, but I guess maybe it would have just been too distracting. So
that probably would have been. I would have been too distracted by him.
And then the guy from Haunting of Hill House who played the caretaker dude, he is the grown-up Lonnie.
Yes.
And then Nurse Marion is there.
There was a lot of weirdness. It just seemed like they tried to put too much into
I get
this
the
area.
3 together.
And just make it that. Just make it that.
But if we're only counting the first movie as canon, Marion, she just drove the doctor to the hospital one night. Yeah, she got attacked. It's probably scary, but she was never in immediate danger. I mean, Halloween. She did get murdered in Halloween H2O, but this is a new timeline.
It is a new timeline. I'm trying to think, was that it that happened to her?
That's all that happened to her in the first movie. He attacked her, and then she comes back in 2, and she comes back in H2O.
Yeah.
But in this continuity, I guess he still worked at the hospital, and I guess they worked closely together and everything. But she didn't know who Michael was before that night.
No.
And then she never saw him again. I guess she worked at the sanitarium. I don't know.
They never explain it. They don't explain it.
I feel it's like a thing who's still alive from the first movie.
That's what it is.
Get them. Yeah. So they have a little support group. But
don't they know what he was wearing and what he looked like, right? That night? Wouldn't that stuff kind of burn into your memory?
Don't worry. I've got an issue with that.
I have a huge issue, but also if this is a local town legend where the two dressed up as the doctor and the nurse, they knew the story.
They heard the story. They probably don't know the specifics of it, though.
No, but I feel like that's an icon or an image that a lot of people that live there know what he looks like. I don't know
anyone took any pictures of him that night, so you just have to white mask and a jumpsuit. Okay.
Well, that's what he was wearing that night when the freaking nurse saw him.
So was Ben Tramer. Oh wait, that's a different continuity. Yeah, so
there's just so many little things where I'm like, really?
So Tommy Doyle's talent at the talent show is telling a story. So I guess all those readings, reading all those comic books made him a really good storyteller. Remember those comic books, Neutron Man, Tarantula Man? Anyway, he's all like, we will never succumb to fear and the boogeyman and blah, 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 blah. And it's like, okay.
That was so stupid. Yeah. I was like, oh, okay, here we go, retelling a story. Let's go ahead and retell it.
This movie, there's a lot of padding in this movie.
There's a lot of padding, and we have to go over it over and over and over. We know what the fucking story is by now. Move the fuck on.
So eventually, the movie remembers, oh yeah, Laurie Strode and her granddaughter and daughter.
I feel like there's two storylines happening in this.
There's multiple ones.
I mean, there's multiple ones. I feel like it's either the story. I would like it to be the story of Laurie and her overcoming everything that happened with Michael and her family. I don't care about the fucking town. I don't. Yeah, it's because they don't care. They didn't care enough to make me care.
Yeah, the way the town is acting, they're acting like Michael has attacked the town like 5 or 6 times before. But it was only there for the one time.
They talk about it the one time. Well, in the bar.
Yeah.
Oh, it's 40 years has gone by.
Yeah,
blah,
it's
blah,
like,
blah.
guys, get the fuck over it.
But it feels like they did get over it. But now all of a sudden, just for this movie, they go back to it.
Yeah. But like the way the town is acting, they're acting like it happens all the time, and they're acting like they did even Halloween 4, they shouldn't have been acting that bad. Well, no, I guess because if you factor in Halloween 2, he killed a lot of people. But yeah, so I thought the town was overreacting, especially since the point of the last one is the town didn't take it seriously or didn't care anymore. What happened? So Laurie is pissed that the firefighters just show up in record time. Let it burn! So how could Michael possibly survive that last movie?
One, I want to know, why is now Laurie, because she was showing that she was in pain on that truck?
Yeah, because she got stabbed, yeah.
Why is she now showing pain, but at the ending of the other one, she was not in pain at all whatsoever?
Dramatic effect. Anyway.
But it was just so weird seeing that. And then, why do you not think firefighters would show up to a burning house?
I didn't think she expected them to get there that fast.
But enough to put a fire out.
Yeah.
She clearly did not blow up the house enough.
Yeah.
And also, a house that old, I'm like, okay, I know she modernized the house, but for all the wood that's in there, I feel like it should have disintegrated a lot faster.
If I was the cops, if I was the firefighters and I saw a cop car with severed heads, I'd be like, whoa, let's not jump right into this one.
But there's multiple cop cars at that point down that road. Right?
Yeah, they should have saw the dead head. They're
coming down the road, a cop car also in the middle of the road.
Yeah.
For when, yeah. There's two in the middle.
The firefighters should have been a little bit more worried about going in.
2 cop cars down the road, blocking the entrance to go down the road into where the driveway is. And then in the driveway, there's also another cop car with the severed head with the flashlight up in the
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. When they saw
that's
that,
3 cop cars with dead police officers and blood.
Yeah. So how he survived the fire? He hid in the little gun room closet. Which, okay, you know what, Crystal? Maybe that kept him safe from the flames. But I guess he just held his breath in for a really long time. So this is one of the issues I have with the movie. A lot of the kills aren't scary. This starts to feel like an action movie.
It does.
And I wrote Michael Myers is now the horror John Wick. He just shows up and okay. So I can't criticize this too much because by this logic, I would have to criticize how Michael could drive a car in the first one. And I know Dr. Loomis has that theory. He's like, someone maybe gave him lessons. I'm like, I don't know who was giving the crazy people lessons. But anyway, for some reason, for a guy who killed his sister when he was 6, then sat in the hospital for however many years, and then broke out once, killed 5 people, caught them all by surprise, right? Yeah. And who is now in his 60s, how is he's so good at hand-to-hand combat? He's so good at dodging things and he's fighting everyone. He's so good with the weapon to weapon. I'm like, who did he practice on? He apparently just stared at a wall for 40 years. So, but he fucking murders it's pretty awesome.
So what I don't like about these murders though, and this is also going back to the 2018, was I love the first movie and a little bit more in the second, where he kind of stalks the people first. And he makes it more intense.
Yeah.
He kind of watches them for a little bit and then goes after them. And these two, he just goes for it and he just murders them.
There's a few stalking moments in this and the previous one, but you're right. This scene.
No, it just feels like he's just going up to kill the one girl in the house. Was it 18?
Oh, yeah, there is that one scene where he's just going around murdering everyone.
Yeah. Also, you're in a mechanic shop and yet you go into a shed to grab why are you going to random places where you were literally just in a mechanic shop and there's massive amounts of weapons in there and they're...
Whatever. Look, he needs his iconic outfit because the Akkads need it. Should we mention that the reason they keep making Michael Myers movies was so Mustafa Akkad could fund, Islamic movies in the Middle East?
What?
Yeah, Joe Bob talked about it. Mustafa Akkad, kind of used these movies to fund these, movies about Islam, I think, in the Middle East.
Really?
Yeah.
I had no idea. I didn't see that one of Joe Bob.
Mustafa Akkad, he lived in the Middle East. He died in the Middle East in a terrorist bombing in 2006. That's why his son Michael Akkad or Malik Akkad is the producer. That's why they dedicate the movies to him.
Oh shit!
But yeah, he kind of kept the series.
That makes sense now.
He kind of kept the series going so he could fund other movies. And after Halloween 3, he's like, no, you got to have Michael Myers and everything.
That's what yeah.
Yeah, that's why there's that famous interview where
I know what you're talking about.
Jamie Lee Curtis found out last minute she wasn't allowed to kill Michael Myers. She's like, what the fuck?
Yeah. I know exactly what you're talking about now.
So anyway, he kills everyone. It's pretty awesome.
So the fire truck, and then he kills all the firefighters.
The actor who played Sheriff Brackett is still alive? I had no idea. That actor was still alive. Sheriff Brackett from the first one, Annie's father.
Yeah.
He's the security guard at the hospital because a lot of cops retire and become security guards. And I kind of
that's what we're talking about. Why wouldn't he also be more invested in this?
I kind of like that they use a clip from Halloween 2. Even though it's not canon, it is something that would have happened. So if you have the footage, why not use it?
Yes.
And they also kept the Halloween 2 logo for the hospital.
I did like that.
Yeah, because
that I did like.
Realistically, he would have seen his daughter's body that night. So why not use the footage? You have it. I do like that they'll reference the other movies and use bits and pieces of them.
Even though Halloween 2 doesn't exist. Yeah. But it's nice a little... Okay.
Yeah. I do like that we get to see Karen and Allison actually mourn the dad.
Oh yeah, Karen, that's her name.
Yeah, I really like Toby Huss's character in the previous one. Maybe because I really like Toby Huss and I actually felt bad.
You do feel bad for him.
There were a few characters in 2018 that I actually kind of liked. And I'm like, oh, it's nice when a slasher movie gets you to care about the characters a little bit.
Yeah.
Because there's so many fucking slashers.
It's just people die. You're just like, oh, I don't care. But it's.
But that's why I like the first Halloween so much. I believe in those girls' friendships and whatnot.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You believe in friendship?
I believe in their friendship.
Oh, okay, gotcha.
I believe in the fictional friendship. There are no friendships in real life.
No.
Better watch your fucking back.
I always do.
So
never trusted you.
So I'm calling bullshit.
Friendship.
Okay. They staple Lori up. They put her in surgery. They put her under. There's no way she's waking up tonight. No fucking way. I've been put under for minor surgery, and it took me fucking hours to wake back up.
You see the intense surgery that she's going through.
Yeah. There's no way. By the way, when she does wake up, she's going to be out of it for hours. She was
just up. Ready to go.
She just wakes up. She's like, oh,
but also, there's a knife right next to you.
There's people get teeth pulled and they're loopy for hours and hours.
That's as soon as I saw the granddaughter. What's her name? Karen and
Allison.
Yeah. Soon as Allison put the knife next to her grandma's
that was weird.
I was like, okay, it's wrapped up, but wouldn't she be a little psychotic when you wake up, a little loopy? You're like,
there's an inconsistency with that, and then there's a loose end with it that I'll explain.
Okay.
So yeah, I'm calling bullshit on that.
I agree.
Also, okay, so spoiler, jumping ahead, Michael's just supernatural again. Fuck it.
He is.
I like how the last movie
100%.
they're like, they got a little carried away with him stomping the guy's head and shit. But they were like, hey, you know what? This is just a normal guy who came back years later. But this one, they're like, fuck it. He's really strong. So is he supernatural?
But he almost made him supernatural in the first one because they were saying that he has these super senses.
Well, yeah, that's what his doctor's saying, but his doctor's a little fucking nuts too.
A little bit.
Yeah. But yeah, so Michael, so how does he, because he doesn't really heal, but he just can't die? Because if you think about it, his eye is still fucked. He still has the hole in his neck. Now his fingers are off. But now he has to patch himself up. So he can't die, but it looks like he also can't heal himself.
Yeah.
So is he a zombie? What's going on here? I'm a little confused, but I like that he took the effort to patch. And you hear him taking the bullets out when he's in those people's houses. I thought that was pretty cool.
That was cool. But yeah.
But he fucking murders them brutally.
He does. How is he able to do all of that with so many missing fingers?
Because he's pure evil. But this is where like the tone feels a little weird. Because we just had like an action scene kind of murder. But now we get this
with the
real
firefighters.
Yeah.
It's so brutal.
But now we get this real like brutal mean-spirited murder where he like stabs her in the neck and then he keeps her alive. And I think this is the only time we ever see him making a decoration. Where he's like, I like
you never see it.
Yeah, I like how he's pulling the knives and he's kind of like, okay, I'm gonna put a knife there, and then he's just like, I'm gonna put a knife there.
I'm trying
but
to
she's
think
like
of
slowly like, and it felt like the Rob Zombie Halloween a little bit because there's like some real mean spirited kills in those movies.
I felt so bad for
But
them
the movie
too.
is like,
I actually liked them. I was like, oh, they're fun.
Yeah, but like the movie's like it's got problems with tone. We're like, all right, this is a very serious, like gritty, almost realistic kind of sad murder, but it just got followed up by. It's following like ninja kung fu Michael Myers. Then later on, there's like a death scene that has nothing to do with Michael Myers. That's really depressing.
Oh,
Yeah.
that's the thing is this movie
they-
was too chaotic. They tried putting way too much into this movie. I think if they didn't have, I know we're going to get into it, but there's a whole social aspect that they tried to throw in here.
Yeah, like the angry mob
The
mentality.
angry mobs.
Yeah.
I think Jamie Lee Curtis actually said a lot of it that it represents the Capitol attack. The attack.
No, the next one will, she said.
Really?
Even though
I
they're
thought
filming
it was
that,
this one.
this was filmed a while ago.
That's what I was curious about, and I was like, this wasn't filmed.
No,
at
I
that
think she
time.
said the next one
Oh, is it
because there
the
is a
next-
time jump. Yeah, Halloween Ends is the next one, but
Because that's what I thought she was referencing,
I think they
and I was
took
like,
a break
oh.
in filming to finish this one, but they're probably injecting stuff into because this is still 2018. So I don't know. Maybe maybe Michael's gonna go around killing people during COVID. He's like, where is everyone?
Why is everyone wearing a mask now?
Ah!
You literally see people wearing Jason masks.
That's the only thing that kills Michael Myers. It's like,
COVID.
Ironically, he wore a mask more than all of us. That's the strangest part. He just want to get vaccinated.
All like everyone's wearing like a Freddy Jason. They're all coming after Michael's.
He keeps trying to kill people, and they just keep arguing about the election. He's like, I don't know who any of these people are. I've been in an insane asylum. Anyway.
But yeah, they put too much social commentary in this. They put too many story. It was very, very, very messy.
Now, at the bar, did you notice they were watching something? They were watching before it switches to the news.
Wait.
I'm
trying to remember where we were. It was.
So this is where they switch back to the bar. The news story's about to break on.
Yeah.
About to come on.
I know exactly. Okay.
But before the news story comes on, Crystal, they're watching Hack the Living Dead. I saw the character Ben from my movie Hack the Living Dead, that movie I made with George Romero. I'm like, huh.
That's weird because I thought you made that after this.
I know, right? They must have. They were editing
future.
it. Mine came out.
Gotcha. And they're like,
And they
this
were
is
still editing
so good.
They
We have
probably.
to throw
I mean,
this
everyone's.
on.
I know they showed Night of the Living Dead and like Halloween 2. But I think with this one,
Hack the Living Dead.
I bet it was a coincidence where someone was like, "Hey, I just watched this movie, Hack the Living Dead. It's pretty good."
It has to be. It has to be.
So yeah, the news comes on. They're like, "There's still 2 inmates missing," and then they show a picture of Michael Myers, and this becomes a huge fucking continuity issue. I don't want to get to it yet. I want to get to the scene where it really bothered me. Now the town is chanting, "Evil dies tonight."
Oh, I don't think they started.
They started here. Marion,
started it here?
Marion starts it. And they're like, because the nurse and the doctor are like, there's someone in our car. It's Michael Myers.
And it's
it has
not.
to
It's
be.
the other guy.
It's the other guy who broke out, who actually was in 2018. He was the guy with the umbrella.
Yeah, he was. Yeah.
Yeah, so Tommy's ready to kill him.
Because they show him on the news, too.
They show him on the news, and then the camera goes out of focus when it's Michael. I thought that was pretty funny. But, so they're ready to, like, kill this dude, and everyone's all chanting. They're like, 40 years, the evil. Tommy's story must have really got everyone up in arms.
That pissed me off, and I was like, okay, I'm guessing everyone's just really drunk and really passionate right now,
and
ready to save the world. And I think this is doing this is where your social commentary also comes to, of people
and
who aren't
also,
thinking, they're just reacting, and they don't know what's really happening.
Also, it's a reference to 4 with the angry militia looking for Michael Myers.
That
and
too.
then when they accidentally kill the guy, Ben, whatever.
Yeah.
So Tommy was like 6 when Michael attacked him. Like, get over it, dude. Like, you're.
No, I mean, that's gonna scar you. It's the boogeyman.
It's gonna scar you, but it's like, dude, just like move. Like, you really.
Why? Yeah, that's the thing. Why doesn't anyone just
like? I know Lori doesn't want to move because her kind of PTSD. She needs to make sure
she needs to kill him. She needs.
But like everyone else, they'd be like,
no one else had that kind of relationship with him.
Yeah, everyone else should just be like, he doesn't have a license. Like, he's not going to get too far.
Well, that's always my biggest issue with, especially this one. Yeah.
So
he's really slow.
Yeah.
So I don't understand how people just don't run.
They do.
In the park scene.
Oh, did you ever see? Someone did a skit on YouTube. Did you ever see that? Where it's like Michael's running, and then as soon as the girl gets out of it, as soon as like the girl gets out of his line of vision, it cuts to him running and cutting through the house, and then walking slow again for dramatic effect.
I've never seen that.
It's pretty funny. So it turns out the guy who stole the car is like the other crazy guy, and he gets away. So everyone.
But like, you see a glimpse of him on the screen, right? On the news.
I know.
She already saw him.
But we then meet the best characters, Big John and Little John. Did you like Big John and Little John?
I did.
Michael McDonald.
I know. I love Michael McDonald.
Okay.
I love him.
Okay, listen.
I saw him and it just made me happy.
I'm sorry. No offense to Michael McDonald. No offense at all. But
there's
and look, and this is someone who grew up seeing Michael McDonald in horror films.
Yeah.
Carnosaur 2, Carnosaur 3, 2 different characters, Leprechaun 2. He's in a couple horror films.
Leprechaun.
Michael, I can't take him seriously in a horror movie.
You can't do it.
I can't do it.
It just felt like the comic relief. And like, it didn't feel like there was a real purpose of them being there. There didn't feel like
realtors who bought the Myers house probably because they couldn't sell it.
Yeah. And like, their relationship just made me so happy. It just felt like the comic relief and just like, it's like just another story.
Are people angry at this? Are there people like? Are there? I don't know.
I don't think so. I
feel like everyone. There's people are very divided on this movie, but I think everyone kind of agrees. They're like, I kind of like that Big John and Little John. I'm like, yeah, I like them too.
They were great. They were great. Like the one's just kind of high, and the other one, like they had great personality, like a great relationship, and you just felt for them. You're just like they're the only people that died, and I was like, no, no.
But I really like them. Because again, they get a little bit of a character moment. We know they're
character moment. They also have common sense too.
No, they do not have common sense.
They had more common sense than a lot of the others. I mean, if they had real common sense, they would have got out of the fucking house.
I was going to say, no, they killed themselves.
I think they all would have got out of the fucking house. But also, like, the fake out.
Oh, yeah.
That was fantastic. I didn't know where they were going with that.
Yeah, they get tricked by the Silver Shamrock kids who come back from the previous one. Who I think they had parents in the previous one, whatever. But yeah, they pretend to like barf. And they're like, oh, razor blades are in the candy, but it was just steal their candy, so it was a whole thing.
I thought that was fun. That was a lot of fun seeing that.
So they make up a whole story about how the house is haunted, and they call them perverts. It's funny. Yeah. We see at the morgue Dr. Sartain, the evil doctor. We see that he's there, and I think this is the only time we've ever seen a dick in the series. I mean, it's far away, but you just see his dick because he's not covered.
I missed it. I missed a dick?
You can't see it that well.
I missed a fucking dick?
I mean, it's an old, tiny guy's dick.
But I missed
and he's dead. I'm just saying, I
feel
can see it.
upset that I missed nudity.
Yeah, there's not any nudity in these new ones. There's no nudity,
but there's a dick and I missed it.
Yeah.
Wow, what the fuck is wrong with me?
I don't know. You're like Big John and Little John, I guess.
I don't know.
You're Big Crystal and sort of Little Crystal.
No, I hope not. God, no.
Yeah, so he's in the morgue. I like how Karen thinks Michael is out to get them specifically. But then Allison tells the cops, like, no, it was the doctor. I don't think Michael was really concerned with anything.
No,
like,
he really doesn't.
When you watch that first one,
though.
I like, because when you watch, when you watch the previous one, they're like, he's waiting for me. And it's like, no, he did not. He did not give a shit about you.
No.
Because again, this version of Michael's not, it's playing on the audience's expectations that Michael wants
it is.
Based off the previous series.
I like that.
But, like, remember, like, he just, in the first one, he just wanted to kill people because he got obsessed with killing his sister.
Yeah.
So he's like, oh, here's more babysitters. I'm going to kill them. His thing is like, I like to kill babysitters and then make Halloween decorations out of them. That's his thing.
Yeah.
Occasionally he'll kill someone for like convenience, like the mechanic in the first movie.
Yeah.
But like his thing is, I like to kill babysitters.
Yeah.
And turn them
And
into
they make a
Halloween
point of that at the end of this. Of, I'm an innocent woman, just like your sister. Blah blah blah.
But
I do like.
But yeah,
I like that where it's, you know, that actually wasn't the point of Micro Miles. He's just a and I like those kind of movies where
I'm sorry,
it's just
Micro Miles?
Michael Miles.
Who's Micro Miles? Is that a different character?
I can't talk.
So yeah, I like their reactions when they find out he's still alive.
Michael Myers.
When they find out he's still alive, they're like, "What the fuck?"
I love that too. We did it. We did it.
Yeah. So the whole town wants to hunt down Michael Myers, and Allison leaves Lori the butcher knife, which we mentioned earlier, and she's gonna join the militia and just grab a gun from Lonnie's dad. Why is he giving these people guns?
There should be no But also, why is the cops not?
I mean, it is
locking?
there is their Second Amendment right, and I respect that. But
I have a gun.
But he shouldn't hey, young girl who's never handled a gun before.
That part. But also the other guy also has a gun. And he's like, I don't know how to use it. Oh God! That entire scene I couldn't stand.
Okay.
But
we're getting up to that.
We're getting up.
That doesn't count as a Michael kill as far as I'm concerned.
That.
Right.
But anyway.
Okay. Also,
wait. Why aren't the cops locking down the town at this point? But not even locking it down. He's clearly broken into houses, and this is his thing. He breaks into houses and kills people. At this point, wouldn't you take people to a shelter and kind of go to a lockdown or get everyone out of the town?
I don't know. It depends on the police department. Crystal, we live in Philadelphia. I don't know if you ever heard about the move bombings, but the police, so depending on the department, what year it is, and a lot of things can go wrong. Look up the move bombing. It's our hometown story of the only time the American forces bombed their own citizens. We did it, Philly. We did it.
The city of brotherly love.
And then they just fucked up rebuilding it. And they were like, whatever. It's like, oh, that's kind of shitty to all the people who live there.
Oh my God.
Anyway, so yeah, you're putting a lot of faith in this police department.
I know.
And remember, this is a suburban town.
That's what I was just keep thinking. I'm
what they want to do is like the cops in my suburban town where they're like, oh, you went 2 miles over the speed limit? I got to write you a warning. It's like, come on, man.
Yeah.
Come on.
The whole town can obviously take over the police department. And I guess this is also going into the social commentary of police force against townsfolk, folks, I guess. Town folks.
I like that Michael is stalking the kids and they don't care.
And he keeps like trying to play hide and seek with us. Where did you see him?
And then he attacks the car. Poor Marion dies again.
Okay. She says, I have so many issues. And this scene is one of the scenes that pissed me off. And I was like, if there are some scenes that weren't included in this movie, I would actually like it a lot more. This is one of them. And I was like, there was no point. Because you just needed more kills and more stupid kills. So they're supposed to be going, correct me if I'm wrong. They're going out to tackle Michael. What?
Michael Miles.
I don't know why I can't say it.
Jessica, do a funny Photoshop for Michael Miles. What would Michael Miles look like? Show me that, Jessica. I have confidence in you.
I can't say it. Michael Myers. I don't know why I'm getting tongue-tied. Michael Myers. I don't know why. I'm going to go MM. I don't know why Eminem.
So Austin Powers, okay? Austin Powers.
So I don't. Where the fuck was I going with this?
Okay. Let me wrap this.
They were trying. No. Hold on. Okay. They were going out to go murder him, right? Mm-hmm. They were like, we're gonna go team up and be together and go kill him.
Can I talk about that real quick? Tommy Doyle's like, all right, I know how he does. He lurks. You gotta fake him, make him think you're going. I'm like, Tommy, what the fuck do you know about killing serial killers? Like you ran away from him when you were 6. That's your only experience. And what have you done since then?
I want to know though, is he technically a serial killer?
Oh yeah, we could be.
I don't think he's technically a serial killer. At least going off of the first movie and
he was because he killed more than one people.
I guess in the 2018 one. he'd be technically.
But even the first
one,
one, he killed.
Is that what makes you a serial killer?
Well, no, because he killed 4 people in one. His sister was the original one, and then that night he killed 4 people.
I guess because he killed someone before that and then went off. Because isn't it?
Yeah.
Because that would have been almost like a mass murder instead of serial.
Whatever. The point is, what experience does Tommy have?
Oh, he has none.
Which I guess could be a theme. I'm sorry, we have customers in the store. We're closed.
Closed? No service?
I hope that's not my secret evil sister come back to haunt me.
Oh no.
Anyway, yeah, so they find the kids, the ones murdered. They all fight him. Marion gets killed again because just in H2O.
But in the stupidest fucking way possible.
Michael just walks in. He's like,
all right, he jumps.
Oh, he does what he did in the original.
Because, well, the one gets out of the car to go tell the kids, like, hey, stop being idiots, go home, where are your parents?
Yeah, Lindsay does that.
Then they see that Michael Myers has the mask, and they're like, oh my God, they killed my friend. They all run. But she should just run at that point. But who has a gun at this point?
Marion has a gun.
Marion has a gun?
The guy who's dressed as a doctor, but he's really a nurse, has a gun.
I thought that was
and then
funny.
the girl dressed as a nurse who's really
She
a doctor.
also has a gun, right?
She has a serious gun. She's like, you know how to use
Okay.
this. I've used this before.
Yes. So all 3 of them. Yeah, clearly she's used it before.
Yeah, Marion shooting out the windows was so stupid.
That was stupid. Okay. If there's a serial killer that's really, really slow behind your car, I mean, obviously you don't know how slow he is, but either jump in the driver's seat because there's no way the other one's going to get back to the car in time.
Yeah.
Jump in the driver's seat, run him over, or you take off.
Yeah.
Or get out of the fucking car because he doesn't have a gun. He has a fucking knife.
You know what's actually interesting about Michael Myers in the scene? When he breaks the window, I think he breaks the window, right?
He does. Well, he does the mask in the front.
Yeah.
He breaks the window on the side.
Yeah. And you know what's interesting? This time, he didn't need a wrench tied to his hand like in the original Halloween. By the way, I've got the first 5 movies. I've always seen the wrench.
40 or 20K or
4K. No, 4K. We're not at 20K yet. But yeah, when you watch it in 4K, it's like there's a wrench. By the way, also in Halloween 4, watching that in 4K, there's a scene where like Dr. Loomis at the end is talking, and he's just got one tiny hair that's sticking out that I've never seen before until I saw it in 4K.
Maybe I don't want to see it in 4K. I would be nitpicking all of that. So he jumps in the car and he starts. Why in these movies they have tons and tons of weapons, but never enough ammo or even just an extra thing of ammo just to reload? Why do they never, ever, ever have ammo? Don't you think you'd be packing your pockets with that shit? Instead of just having a couple?
I guess it's like whoever, like the guy probably didn't bring all his ammo to give out to people. I don't know.
But that would be, if you're going out hunting someone, like when people go hunting, they bring extra ammo. Like should be a normal thing.
Here's the real problem with the scene.
Oh, there's so many of them.
The knife to the eye is pretty brutal. I didn't like it.
Why?
Oh, it went underneath the eye.
It did go underneath. But
I didn't like that.
But also, so the nurse, the girl gets out of the car.
I fucking lost it.
But doesn't the guy doesn't try shooting Michael Myers at all.
Because he doesn't know how to use the gun. I think that was.
But at that point, when she's losing bullets, wouldn't he hand her the gun?
I don't know.
There's another gun that's never used in the car, and 2 people get murdered. Okay. So she gets out of the car.
We've lingered on this scene too much. We got to get to this one part.
Listen, I hate the scene.
The best part is when the wife comes back to shoot him.
And she's shooting so far away.
She's
and missing every single one of them.
Michael just kicks the door and goes. And she shoots herself. And I was like, you know what? That doesn't count as a Michael kill to me.
I laughed.
That is actually an accident. That is not a Michael kill.
I was like, did that just happen?
Yeah. Lindsay tries to hit him with a bag of bricks. Does not go well. But she gets away.
But does she not have a gun?
I don't think she did.
The other 3 have a gun. She doesn't?
Yeah, I don't think she did. That's why when they were fighting, she was.
Why doesn't she just? But also, hits him with a bag of bricks, and then she's running, and I was like, okay, she's definitely gonna get away.
Yeah.
And then she hides, but he's clearly walking really slow.
Yeah.
Bitch, if you kept running, you would have outran him miles. You run from him. You can outrun him.
She wanted to hide instead. But Lonnie and Tommy show up and they find all the dead bodies because I guess he went back to make decorations out of them. And I guess Lindsay was just
Which I was very confused because he walked across the bridge.
He probably walked back.
And then he just walked back and then there's just enough time to make them into decorations?
Yes.
That's a lot to do right there.
Yes, it is. He's a very, very
and he's
busy
really
man.
slow. And he went all the way from the car to grab each. Did he bring them all at once? Did he do one at a time?
Yeah, he picked them up like this.
Like that?
Yeah.
And then, gotcha.
Miles Miker. What was his name? Miker Miles. He showed up. His brother Miker Miles showed up and helped him. He's like, "What's up, bro?"
Oh, that's what it is. Oh, Jesus.
Okay. Lori is laying on her side after her gut surgery. Yep. Also, she said she always liked Will Patton's character, and Will Patton's like, "You always had a thing for Ben Tramer." So I think in this universe, Ben Tramer survived, and he might be one of her ex-husbands.
That's what I was curious. Like, they're having this story, and I'm like now trying to piece them.
I hope Ben Tramer's still alive.
But why wouldn't he? Maybe he just moved. Maybe he went somewhere else. I guess just doesn't exist.
I don't know. They said she was married twice, I think, in the previous one. She had 2 failed marriages.
Oh, yeah, she did. Yeah.
Yeah. The town turns into an angry mob, and Lori finds out finally that Michael is alive. She's like, "What the? How? How is that possible?" And then she theorizes maybe.
Oh, this is when I hear "Evil Dies Tonight." Sorry.
Yeah.
This is when I start hearing.
That's when they all start chanting it. But then
"Evil Dies Tonight."
She theorizes maybe the only way he could die is if I die too.
Oh, because this is when she finds out. Yeah, he's back. Yeah.
That's probably what's gonna happen in the next film. I think that's probably what's gonna happen.
I thought that too.
So yeah.
As long as she has a better death than she did in the other one, and
I'll see you in hell.
I'll see you in hell.
So Big John and Little John, they find out that someone is in their home. And they decide to pick up knives and find out who's in their home. Just go away.
How did he get from the back door to the front door and then back upstairs?
I told you, like that skit, he just runs.
I want to know that because there was like a knock on the back door and then not long after front door. And I was like, he's not that fast. And now he's upstairs? Like,
yeah.
Okay.
He's like a ninja.
Oh.
Yeah, so they decide they're gonna use knives to fight the person like idiots. And then back at the hospital is when the other inmate shows up and he's like, "Help me, my brain doesn't work." And they're all like,
the kills happen. You don't see, or the
the kill, it's cutting back and forth. But then the hospital's just like, "That must be Michael Myers,"
which makes no sense. No sense.
Yeah, well, I don't have a problem with the other townspeople thinking it's Michael Myers. I'm still not at the part where I scream bullshit. So yeah, now we cut back to Big John, Little John.
But how is everyone in the town in this hospital? Because that hospital got slammed with people, and this doesn't look like a big town.
Yeah.
So how the fuck is there that many people?
It looks like a big town. They show that like establishing shot earlier on in the 78 thing where you see like how big it actually is.
Maybe. But it just seems like everyone in town is at this hospital. Why would they be in the hospital in the first place? Why? Did they all be like, let's all go to the hospital for no reason?
Well, it's Halloween.
That's what you do on Halloween? Go to hospitals?
Maybe they got into fights and did crimes. I don't know. Listen, point is, Big John, Little John, they're gonna save their house.
Yeah. These were probably my favorite kills though.
Yeah, Big John or Little John.
It was
Which
Big
one's
John.
Michael
Big John.
McDonald?
He's Little John.
He's Little John.
He's Little John.
Big John gets stabbed in the armpit, and then he gets his eyes fucking gouged out.
That was an awesome kill.
Strong disagree. Little John sees this, and I love how he just assumes it's Michael Myers.
Yeah.
He's like, "Michael, you've come home." What we should do is walk in, see the dead body, and go, "Ah!" and then run away screaming.
Yeah.
Instead, he goes, "You've come home." It's like, were you expecting him? What the fuck's this shit?
Yeah.
Run away, you asshole.
Why does everyone, when you realize he's going home, it's as if it's the most obvious answer every time?
It's like, oh, didn't he do that last time?
Okay, so he did this. We'll get to this.
What they
They
should have done is chop up the home into sections and move it down the street like the Real House. You ever been to the Myers house?
I haven't.
I have.
Where's it at?
You know what's actually funny? The hardware store that's being investigated by Sheriff Brackett in Halloween.
Yeah.
You know, when he meets Dr. Loomis?
Yeah.
The Myers house is now right next to it. A chiropractor owned it for years, and he liked the house, but they demolished the street that it was on. So he had it like chopped up and moved down the street. So now it's the hardware store and the Myers house. But now it's a real estate thing. I went there, I visited it. I peeked in the backyard, and they do have like a Michael Myers thing.
That's
I guess
cool.
Maybe they open it up on occasion, but it's a real
Maybe
estate.
like a Halloween kind of thing.
Yeah.
That's really cool.
It's like painted blue now and everything.
Wow.
Yeah, so it's like a weird thing. They just moved the house, and not even because it was Halloween. I think they just moved the house because the guy liked it. It's weird.
That is weird.
Now when I watch the first movie, it's so distracting because I'm like, it's weird knowing that like, oh, now the Myers house is there. That's bizarre. Anyway, that's what they should do. They should move the Myers house.
And then everything's solved?
And Michael will be like, what the fuck?
Really confusing. Doesn't know how to get home. What
the fuck? You know what
you just see him spinning in circles.
You know what they should do? They should change it to a weird old Victorian house like they did in 5. What the fuck was that in Halloween 5? I'm like,
no, thank you.
Like, what is this house?
Yeah, thank you.
This is so clearly not his house.
No, thank you.
Anyway, the mob is angry and they're out for blood. And it's not listening to like Karen and them saying, hey, it's not him. It's not him. They're just ignoring it because they just need a scapegoat. So they're going after this guy. This is like, in between this is when Hawkins tells the story of how he stopped. I
was just thinking
which they mentioned in the previous one, but now they showed it where he stopped Loomis from killing Michael. But it's like, wait a minute, Loomis was just going to execute Michael, and the cops are like, okay. I'm like, I don't think that's how that works.
That's not how that works.
I do like that Michael at that point was like, yeah, I'm probably not getting out of this one. I'm just going to stop. Like, he's just like,
yeah. He's like, all right, I'm done.
I'm done.
Which doesn't make sense with what he does later.
It's weird he didn't kill anyone in the sanitarium for 40 years.
Yeah. That makes no sense either if he's able to do what he does later.
Yeah. Anyway.
But, okay, so this murder kills your friends, people you love, and stuff like literally kill your friend, your other partner because of this guy, and you decide to save him because of guilt. I don't think that. To me, I was like, this doesn't seem like the right. Well, kind
also
of guilt.
He was stopping a citizen from killing another citizen. It's like you have a right to stand trial and everything. I think
that wasn't his reasoning.
Yeah,
that wasn't his reasoning. It's because of his guilt.
Yeah, I know. But, and then I think there was when they were like, yeah, we're just going to say your partner shot himself on accident so you don't get in trouble. Whatever. So,
I was like, there are some things I was like, just didn't. I was like, that part wasn't needed. Like,
yeah.
No one cares.
So Karen finds the insane guy and she tries to save him. And this is like the most heartbreaking scene. It's the saddest death. And it has, it's Michael Myers has indirectly caused this. I like how Laurie's like, this is his masterpiece. Like he's filled the town full of fear, which is what he wants to do because he just really loves scaring people on Halloween.
That's not. He's not that smart. That this is
or maybe
his master
he is.
plan.
Maybe he is.
I don't.
This version of Michael Myers, which is some superior being, whatever.
No, he just wants to go to his house so he can look outside the window. It doesn't seem like he wants anything else. And kill on the way.
No, but even in the first one, he went to his house and then left to kill people, went back.
Came back, killed some people.
But so the guy gets like cornered like an animal. And then he's like sad and he just fucking jumps out the window.
And no one caught him either. They all moved out of the way.
Well, yeah. What the fuck are you going to do?
I didn't catch him. It was a giant group of people.
They're going to get hurt. This isn't wrestling. He's not jumping off the turnbuckle, Crystal. Anyway. Yeah, so and then they show like the aftermath of him splatter. And that's again another weird like.
That was an interesting kill.
I'm like that because there's like fun gore like with him and the firefighters, and this just felt like
messy,
like mean, realistic gore. And I'm like, well, which one do you want to do, movie? Because I'm a little thrown off.
I didn't.
And it's even sadder because apparently that actor died this year.
Did he really?
Yeah.
Didn't he play? How many other movies did he play in? He played in a good amount. Didn't he?
So apparently he's like a stunt guy. He's not credited on IMDb with a lot of roles, but I guess he was in a lot of things.
Okay.
But yeah, I couldn't really find a lot about him. All I know is apparently he died in 2021. I think May 2021.
Oh shit! That's
I didn't get to live to see the movie. Bummer. So that just makes the scene sadder.
Did he die before he could see his
his death scene, I guess. I mean, I guess he got to see his actual death, depending on how it happened, unless he was asleep. It's pretty grim. See, this was like a fun review, and now
so much fun.
And now I changed the tone by being a little too realistic, much like the
Halloween
movie.
Kills. They just did not know where.
Yeah.
Was it like the Halloween? Was the Laurie plot just not enough for them to where they had to fill it in?
By the way, I don't know if you noticed, Laurie doesn't have any scenes with Michael in this. There's a couple flashbacks of the first movie, and that's it. This is one of the few movies where the main protagonists and antagonists are never together. The only ones that I can think of are Star Trek II: The Wrath of Khan. Kirk and Khan are never on the same thing together. They only talk through the view screen. And I think Fifth Element, I don't think Bruce Willis ever meets Gary Oldman's character in Fifth Element. And they're the main good and bad guy. And there's one point where one gets on an elevator and another one gets off. So I don't even think Bruce Willis even knows who like Zurg is.
No.
Yeah. But this is one of those movies. Well, they've met
well,
before.
At least in this one, yeah.
Yeah.
But like she...
But
and she almost got out of the hospital because she stuck herself with a giant fucking needle. That was also super dramatic.
I do like that she like beats up a guy, but then her like wound splits open. So like, okay, because if she was just magically like, it's not a fucking video game.
No.
Now this is the scene that pissed me off. Tommy Doyle going, he's always worn a mask. How do we know it's not him? Okay, first off, Smiths Grove is a state-run hospital. We saw that the news was able to get pictures of the inmates because it's probably public record. If they were so obsessed with Michael, they would have pictures of him updated. They would know what he looks like. Also, Tommy knows that Michael Myers has a bum eye from being stabbed with the thing and a fucking hole in his neck and is like 1.5 feet taller. Like he knows that.
That was the biggest thing was the
height. No one told him, oh, by the way, he's not wearing his inmate outfit. He got someone should have said, maybe someone said, oh, he's wearing overalls and the white mask. He's like, he can't, that's too coincident. That's impossible. Like, you expect me to believe that?
It makes no sense.
Any other character. The fact that Tommy said, I'm like, no, you should know better.
Tommy should know better. The cop.
The Sheriff Brackett.
Yes.
I mean, he does figure it out. He's like,
he eventually figures it out, but everyone, they're all chasing this guy who, yes, I get it. Michael Myers is very slow. I get it. But this guy is clearly not fit to murder all these people.
Also.
He's also asking for help.
Yeah.
He's really short.
I mean, if he's sick. Again, I guess if Tommy's not keeping up to date with what he looks like, maybe he could just be like, oh, maybe when you're older, you get smaller sometimes. Probably not going to happen to you, but people like me get smaller.
Oh, okay. I mean, you are like 82.
Yes. So I had a really rough life with my evil sister.
I don't know how you went through all that.
So he's always worn a mask. Tommy, he wore a mask once when he was 6 and once again when he was 21 and tonight. You've only ever saw him that one time when he was 21. What is this? That's why sometimes it feels like this is a sequel to like 10 Halloween movies.
Yes, it does. It does.
And it's like, but this is not a sequel. Well, I guess it technically is.
He hasn't always worn a mask. That's not true at all.
Stick to your continuity. Another rewrite.
There is so many.
Another rewrite would have been fine.
No.
Anyway, we're nearing the end of this.
By
the way, short movie. Hour and 45 minutes.
Oh, yeah.
This review is probably going to be longer than the fucking thing.
Because it's so fucking messy.
So they all get philosophical about why Michael does what he does. And you mentioned it earlier. He's like, I thought Michael was looking out the window, but he was looking in at the evil inside. And then Karen's looking out the window and she sees her reflection. Whatever. This will probably all be.
Because they also, this is when they realize that where would he go? Back to his home. Like,
yeah, and then Lonnie's like, this is what he does. He kills and he goes back home. Like, he only done it once 40 years ago.
Also,
how do you know he hasn't changed his plan? How do you know he even remembers the way home?
Yes. And
again, what if you moved his house next to the hardware shop?
But Lonnie, if you knew this in the beginning, why did you have all the townspeople go all over the place? Why didn't you just go there first?
Well, he didn't want to upset Big John and Little John. Before we get into it, the flashback sequences, I have a problem with flashback Haddonfield.
Okay.
It's supposed to be a nice, like, Illinois town, but I didn't see one palm tree. It just didn't feel like the Haddonfield in the original film. There's not one palm tree. Where are all the palm trees?
Yeah, that's a normal thing.
Where are the schools that are separate buildings, not connected by a hallway because they don't have to worry about rain? Like in Illinois. Illinois never has to worry about rain.
No, not at all, with palm trees.
I had no idea about that until I got older. I'm like, oh yeah, there's no hallways in the school. It's just little buildings because they don't have to worry about being rained. I'm like, well, Illinois has it great. For those of you who don't know, the original one was shot mostly in Pasadena.
Yep.
Yeah, so fucking Lonnie gets to the house and he's like, I can't believe I brought my son here. He's like, you two stay here. I'm gonna go in. If you see trouble, honk the horn. It's like, call fucking, hey, I think he's at the house. Let's get the mob. Let's all go into the house together with all our guns.
Literally, when they pulled up to the house, I was like, why is he just going in by himself? Why do we think that's a good idea? Why?
So they can separate him and show a spooky body later. Which, by the way, Michael gets him in that fucking crawl space thing really quick. Also, did he fucking like jump and shove him up there? Did he have a ladder?
Yeah, that was really quick, really fast. Yeah.
But this is
didn't he shoot? He shot him. Because you hear a shot. You hear a gunshot.
You just hear a gunshot.
Oh, maybe he could have tried to shoot him.
Yeah, he probably tried to shoot him and got killed. So they break in. Fucking Cameron gets mangled horribly
real
on the staircase.
Bad. Oh,
Allison breaks her leg. I like when Michael on the way down sees the head and he's like, oh, I'm not done yet. And then he just goes back
was upsetting. I love when Allison though sees Little and Big John.
Oh,
that
yeah, and they framed him like the picture.
And the record's playing and stuff.
Do you think Michael felt guilty when he saw the picture? He's like, oh, they do look like a cute couple. Got to stare out the window now.
Yeah. But also, she drops her weapon and goes over to them. They're clearly dead, bitch. Run out or be prepared to because Michael is obviously in the house.
Yeah.
You hear the record player playing.
Yeah.
Randomly. Why are you
call
dropping
someone.
your weapon?
Call someone.
Also, she grabbed. That's what I was thinking of when I was thinking of the 2018. This is the one where she just randomly knows how to load a shotgun and knows how to work a shotgun.
I guess.
And also, there's you get 2 shots, no extra ammo. You're like, okay, these are gonna be my 2 lucky shots.
They're all idiots, Crystal. She gets saved by her mom, who then takes Michael's mask and runs away. And I like that they set a trap with the whole town. And you think he's going to give up like he did in the 70s?
Yeah.
But I guess he's just like, oh, but because there's a whole thing where like the more fear he causes, the more lives he takes, makes him stronger.
During this, yeah, Lori's talking over it and making it really dramatic.
I did like seeing the town beat the shit out of him. And it's become a meme. There's a whole Facebook page right now dedicated to the girl who brought an iron to the fight.
I didn't see that.
There's just, everyone's got like wrenches and bats, and there's one girl with just an iron. And there's a whole Facebook page. They're like, the girl who brought an iron to the Michael Myers fight. She's like, like this is all I have. I have an iron.
Oh my God.
It's not even plugged in, so it's not even like I burn it. Fucking Sheriff Brackett's callback. Everyone's entitled to one good scare. I'm like, that line doesn't make any sense.
It doesn't.
You just wanted to say it because it's an iconic line and he's the guy who said it, but it doesn't make sense here.
But I
do like that Karen says gotcha again.
I do like that one a lot.
But you know what? You know what makes me really mad?
What?
And I was really mad Lori didn't say this in the previous film when she goes, Happy Halloween, Michael. Not one person could say trick or treat, motherfucker. Not one person.
Not one person.
Do you know what the original ending of Halloween Resurrection was? The guy that she was texting online.
Yeah.
The white nerdy guy.
Yeah.
Who helps her. He was going to save her at the end. And then some genius was like, that's fucking stupid. You better bring Busta Rhymes back. So when you watch Halloween Resurrection.
Yeah.
Do it freeze frame. When the door gets kicked down, you see the white kid, and then it cuts to Busta Rhymes.
That's amazing.
Because I guess they were like, well, we're not going to shoot the door breaking down scene again.
That's amazing.
They couldn't get Busta Rhymes for this scene.
I think that would have made it. I actually probably would have been like, you know what? That was a good ending.
I love the original Laurie Strode series. You know, it's like 3 movies about this girl being haunted by her brother, and it ends with Buster Rhymes doing karate. Fucking love Halloween Resurrection.
Yeah.
This movie feels like
I do like the Resurrection because it was so stupid, but it was
movie feels
fun.
like Halloween Resurrection to me, where I'm like, this movie's not great. It's kind of dumb, but I'm loving every second of it.
This is not Resurrection.
So
I think actually Resurrection was dumb, and we know it was dumb, and it was fun, and it was stupid. This is just playing and trying so goddamn hard. And don't you think this town would own a lot more guns? Why would they bring a whole bunch of bats?
They're all facing each other. You don't want to shoot facing each other.
But they just...
Then again, they've been idiots the whole movie, so I'm surprised they didn't.
But the one guy did have a gun. The one guy did have a gun.
Oh, right. And Michael's like... All right, so Michael just starts fighting back. So Karen thinks she killed him. And then he just
stabs him in the back. No one stabs him in the head. No one tries cutting off his head.
By the way, so I thought it would have been good if, like, we never saw him fighting back. If, like, Karen went to her daughter thinking he was dead, and then, like, it cut back and, like, all their bodies are there. But because this movie is excessive and over the top, it's Michael Myers doing karate on everyone.
That I was just like, what?
He's like, whoa, he's just murdering everyone.
Everyone.
He beat poor Tommy Doyle.
Like, they
gets
all
his head beat in.
take turns about to go beat him up. And it reminded me actually of the Mars attack scene. That's what it reminds me of. When they're about to fight, and it was just...
And they all gang up, and you think the guy died, but then it turns out he did it.
Yes.
Yeah, so Michael killed fucking everyone.
But everyone's just taking their time and be like, my turn to get murdered. My turn to get murdered.
Action movie logic. They don't gang up. They fight one at a time.
That's what it was.
And they wait in a circle. It's like, okay.
But, so no cops are there?
No, they stopped caring about the cops. Remember the sheriff was like, I give up.
And they just go over to the Myers house. Well, it used to be the Myers house.
Yeah. Oh, there was one thing I liked. This one little callback. So earlier in the movie, when they're mourning the death of their dad, they're like, he'll always be with us, even when we can't see him. And then they repeat it again, but this time they're referring to Michael Myers. So the whole thing, Laurie's just like, Michael Myers is not a mortal man. He is a curse. He is evil incarnate, tied to the holiday or whatever, and fluffy dialogue. But I thought this cliffhanger is pretty good. He fucking murders the shit out of Karen.
In
his sister's room.
I did not expect that because that was really quick.
Yes.
That was really quick. And I was like, he's not
and I like that she's looking out the window. And
that I did like.
And Laurie's looking out a window. Presumably, you can assume that maybe this is later and she sees her daughter being wheeled in. And then ends with Michael looking out a window. How it was originally going to end.
Ooh.
Remember the last movie? It ended with Allison. She was holding the knife and then it zoomed in on the knife.
Yeah.
Like a freeze frame.
Yeah.
How this one was going to end was Laurie was going to grab the knife that her granddaughter left for her. And she was going to leave the hospital and they were going to zoom in on the knife. But apparently the director said he didn't want to mislead people into thinking that the third film would also be on the same night. Because it kind of assumes like
that would assume it. I would assume.
I think that's why they added the dialogue. They're like, maybe we won't get him tonight. Maybe we'll get him next Halloween.
And I thought that was interesting. I was like, okay,
it makes the knife setup a little weird now. Like I would have just
they
cut
don't
it
call
off.
back to that knife.
Because if it had ended on that, just cut out the setup for that knife. Because I thought that was weird.
That entire setup for the knife, because then maybe Allison took the knife with her or something like that. It was just there was so much setup for that, and then nothing happened. There was no payoff.
But yeah, no, I think it's definitely got an interesting
My
cliffhanger.
last note on this was dumb. It just says the word dumb.
Yeah, I had fun with it. It's having fun. It's trying different things, I guess.
It tried different things. I just think it was really, really messy. It tried too hard to be something. It tried to add more of a commentary into it.
Yeah.
With the
a little
town.
messy with the commentary. But here's the thing. I'm not like angry.
I'm not angry.
A lot of people are angry at this movie.
I wouldn't be angry. I wouldn't be angry at that. I think if you don't, it depends on how obsessed you are with Halloween, I think as well. Like how hardcore of a fan you are. If you just kind of like Halloween, and you're like, hey, it's a decent series. I enjoy it, and you watch the 2018 one and you're like, oh, I like this. Yeah. This is a really good follow-up.
It's fun.
Because it ties up a lot of loose ends that the first one gave you a lot of questions to.
Yeah.
Was it done well?
Hit or miss?
Yeah, hit or miss. Was there a lot of questions and you're just kind of like, what the fuck? Do we need all that? No.
Here's the thing. Like after the Rob Zombie one, it's gonna take a lot for me to get angry at a Halloween movie again, because it's like
it already disappointed you. They already have Halloween movies that disappointed you. So how much more can they disappoint you?
Oh no, another bad Halloween movie.
Yeah.
Oh no. But people need to relax. I see you have some Halloween movies.
I
there.
do. My goal is actually to have all the Halloween movies.
Well, Crystal, wait, which Halloween movies do you have on DVD?
Oh, I'll go through it. Okay, you ready?
Before we
These
wrap
are all
this
mine.
up?
Yeah. Well, I got the best one, Halloween 3. Whoa. You're
I
right
have
there.
Halloween 2 signed by Bud and the nurse from the hot
You
tub scene.
do. I do love that title with the pumpkin. I really do love that. I think
I'm
it's
just
great.
annoyed that is from Halloween 1 and this is from Halloween 6. Anyway.
That's like some of the Friday the 13th little continuity things. I'm like, it pisses me off. So I have Halloween 3. I don't even know.
That looks like the 3-pack, the Dimension.
It was like $7 on Amazon, and I was like, fuck
What is that, 6, 7, and...
I could have just looked at the back instead of opening it up like an idiot.
Is it 6, 7, and
It's-
Resurrection?
H2O, Resurrection, and the Curse of Michael Myers.
Miker Miles.
Michael Myers.
Miker Miles. I really want to know what Miker Miles looks like. Okay.
But I also have Resurrection here as well, because why don't you want all these phenomenal looking people? Right? Oh shit! You know the best part of this one? It has a lot of special features,
Yep,
like a commentary track,
I watched the special features.
and the deleted. I love DVDs. I have to stop
Did
streaming
you,
things and just buy DVDs.
Did you ever see the deleted scene of Michael showing up at his house in Resurrection?
No.
He shows up in a nice like red sports car, and when he gets out, he like locks it. He's like beep beep.
I have to see that webcam special.
Yeah, they show the webcams from the movie.
Tour of the set, on set with Jamie Lee Curtis.
What's the one you have down there? The last one,
Well, I also have Halloween.
the 2018.
And then for $2.99, Halloween 2 Family is Forever.
Wait, you only have Rob Zombie's Halloween 2?
Because I found it in a thrift store.
Well, Crystal, I got good news.
What?
My one friend got this movie because his mom thought he would like it, not knowing that we hated the fucking movie. and then he lent it to my sister, and I said, "Get this out of my house," and he would never accept it back. And then I threw it in the video store because I don't want it anywhere near my collection. And now I give it to you. Halloween, the unrated director's cut by Rob Zombie.
Oh, I will cherish this gift from you forever.
It's awful.
I will never watch it.
It's
I'll
awful.
just keep it with my collection.
There you go.
My collection of things I'll never watch. There's
Okay.
special features has its own DVD.
Yes. Anyway, that was it for Halloween Kills. God, we've been going for a while. We still have to do a commentary track.
Oh shit, that's right.
What time is it?
I don't know.
Are we going to have time? Are you good to do
sure.
it?
Yeah, I'm good.
Okay.
I don't sleep.
We're going to do a commentary track for Halloween 3. The season. What the? Oh.
It's my shirt.
I was like, Jesus Christ, Crystal, this is a family show.
It's my shirt, guys. You're
Okay.
such a perv, Tony.
Okay. Jesus Christ.
Ooh, look, I like this Halloween 2 cover.
I think that's Justin's. That's not mine. Yes.
Stealing it.
We will
I
do a
really
commentary
like
track
this.
for Halloween 3 Season of the Witch. You'll see what we have to say about that. And I hope my evil sister never shows up again and ruins another Halloween for me. Ha! I got you! Evil sister I didn't know I had all those years ago who's been trying to kill me. Now you're gonna burn. Evil dies tonight. Fucking Elon Musk. Well, shit. Hi everyone, Tony from Hack the Movies here, and Halloween Ends is finally out. It is the final chapter in this continuity of Halloween films. Does it work as a successful final chapter, or was it a big letdown and waste of time? Let's find out in this episode of Hack the Movies. I want to thank Jamie Lee Curtis for all she's done for the Halloween franchise and for coming back and giving us this amazing trilogy. Man, that Jamie Lee Curtis video is very emotional. It's very emotional. I made her cry, along with other fans, but she started crying as soon as I popped up on screen. That was really cool to be a part of. I don't know if you saw that. I will link below to where you can watch the full video. My good friend Jimmy Champagne, big Halloween fan, he got me involved in it. And I thought it was awesome. It was really, really cool. Way cooler than having a sign at a wrestling show. I think we could all agree it's cooler than having a sign at a wrestling show.
No, I'm
how jealous are you?
Actually jealous.
How
I'm
jealous?
actually really fucking jealous.
How do you think I felt at the fucking Royal Rumble? What was
I mean, it happened twice. Don't get me wrong.
what was the other one? SummerSlam?
Yes.
The
SummerSlam and Royal Rumble.
2 out of the 4 big ones.
Yeah. I mean, that was great.
I better get fucking one at Survivor Series or WrestleMania. I'm gonna.
No.
Anyway.
Yes, I was very, very jealous when I saw that. I was like, "Fuck! Why didn't I?"
Yes.
No.
So that was really cool
you.
to be involved in.
You're not even a real final girl.
Huh?
You're not even a real final girl. You're not a scream queen. You're nothing. You're nothing. Makes me so sad.
And look. Just because I was in a video that was commissioned by Universal, it's not going to color my viewing of this film. I'm going to remain fair and balanced. Okay.
You are yes. You are Tony the Fair.
Yes. And we're going to go into it, but let me just say, this is the best Halloween film I've ever seen. What a great job they did. Kudos to Universal. Did you know I love going to their theme parks? Universal has amazing theme parks. You should go this time of year around Halloween Horror Nights.
You're the worst. You're like the worst.
Someone clip that and send it to them. No. Someone clip it and send it to them. Anyway.
I actually do love Universal. I'm not going to lie.
I know,
Universal theme park.
I really wanted to go this year.
When I went on my senior trip, I actually preferred Universal over Disney.
Same.
And they had the entire thing of this special effects with the monsters, the whole video.
Yeah.
I was the only one. Everyone else is like on. I was like,
I think you told this story before.
Monsters. I don't fucking know what I did earlier today, Tony.
The only way to find out if you told that story before is to watch every single episode of the show.
Fucking bless your soul if you do that. Holy shit.
It might have been the best John Carpenter episode because they show clips from The Thing or the Thing episode, the Thing prequel episode. I think it was one of those two.
Oh.
But anyway.
You remember that. I don't know what the fuck I say.
Halloween Ends is out.
Did you really think it was the best Halloween film, Tony?
Well, we'll get into it. I just did that. Just since I'm on Universal's radar, I might as well say
you're totally on their radar.
You know,
Tony.
people accuse reviewers on the internet of taking money from the studio to give them good reviews, and I always say that's not true because I would 100% do that, and it's never been offered.
I mean, I don't blame you for that, to be honest. Like, hey, you fucking give me money, I'll fucking say anything. Anything.
If Sony gave us money, we would have been like, seeing Morbius in IMAX was the ultimate experience.
I will literally say Morbius was great if someone gave me money. It would have to be a decent amount, but I would actually say, like, you know.
So, this film is out now. It's the end of this trilogy, which is technically 4th overall if you factor in the original one.
Yes.
We've spoke to death about 2018 in the Best Halloween 2 episode, and I talked about it on James's show years ago. We did Halloween Kills last year. And if you're still not caught up, I have a Halloween Kills commentary track with Cecil Trachtenberg from Good Bad Flicks.
Okay.
How did you watch this on Peacock?
I did watch this on Peacock.
I'm
so happy I did.
I was going to watch it on Peacock. I was on Movie Dumpster's channel. We did Halloween Resurrection. The original Halloween Ends, if you ask me. And I bragged about how I was going to watch it on Peacock. And then I told Casey that, and she said, "No, you have to see it in theaters." And I went, "God damn it." So we went to see it in theaters. It was a fun experience.
I'm curious on what her view is on it, too. Did she say what she thought?
I'm sure she'll post about it.
Cool.
I don't want to speak for her.
I'll talk to her. I'll be like, "Yo, Casey, what's up? What you think, girl?" I like Casey.
Yes. So people are very divided on this one.
Yeah.
People are very...
I'm happy I didn't pay to watch it. I would definitely see that.
Other than paying for Peacock itself, but...
Yeah, I don't think I got any commercials. Yeah, I didn't get any commercials when
do
watching
you
it.
have Peacock Premium?
Cool. No. I don't remember commercials watching it.
I feel like with Peacock Premium, you don't get commercials, and then you get live WWE shows.
But I definitely don't have premium.
No, I don't know then. I got the premium because of the WWE. But this...
Oh, good. You can watch more signs with me. Great, guys.
So this film, there's a trend going on with trilogies right now. Yeah. Especially trilogies that are a follow-up to an older film. Okay, yeah. Okay. Just I brought an example here. Okay. First, you start with the safe one. Okay, introduces some new ideas, but plays it safe, gives you what you want, gives you a lot of fan service. In the end, it's unnecessary, but it's not a horrible addition. You're like, okay, that was pretty good. That was pretty good.
Okay.
Could end there, but of course they're going to make a sequel, so I'll see where they go.
Great.
For the podcast listeners, I'm holding up a copy of Jurassic World.
Yeah. Hey, podcast listeners.
And then you get the follow-up where it's like, well, we can't do the same thing again. So they try something new, and it really divides the fan base and confuses some casual viewers. But then other people are like, I actually kind of like that they did something different. I wish they did something different earlier in the franchise. Kind of sucks they waited till now. And they get a little goofy and fans argue over it and whatnot. And then it leads to a overly convoluted third act that tries to please everyone, but ultimately it's just, it either goes from like mediocre to okay, and
Usually
sometimes
the third should not have been made.
and sometimes it's the worst. And now that was that was my example of the Jurassic World trilogy, which I have a whole episode on. Can you think of any other modern trilogies that might have started off safe, divided the fan base, and ended in disaster?
Oh, there's so fucking many of them. Every trilogy that ever really existed?
Watch our worst Star Wars episode. That's the ultimate example.
Woof, you are so true on that.
So of course,
I would say, I don't know, is there a good trilogy, really? I know that there's a couple, and I can't think of it off the top of my head, but I
Lord
know
of the Rings.
there has to be a good...
There's a good trilogy. Oh, the Dark Knight trilogy. The third one was the strongest one. But anyway. So yeah, 2018 played it safe. It was interesting. It was fun. It played it safe.
It was okay.
Halloween Kills got a little goofy, introduced a lot of weird things.
What the fuck? Did not like it.
The town being an angry mob and all that stuff, and that a lot of people were split. I've grown to really like it.
I would watch it in the background. If it was on, I would probably actually turn it on.
It's a fun background movie.
Yeah, exactly.
I've grown to be like, so that's like the really good sequel, the classy sequel. It's one and done. It's great. This feels like they were just having fun, like parodying how ridiculous some of the sequels get.
I can go with that if it's like more of a parody kind of feel.
But now we get to the third one, and I feel like this is the movie they wanted to make because they originally only wanted to do 2 movies, and then they had to do 3.
This is the one they wanted to do?
Yes. I feel like this is the one they wanted to do, but then they found out that they had to do 2 instead of 1 more. So then they pumped out Halloween Kills, and they probably split up a lot of their story ideas. Obviously they probably had to
definitely a split on story. Are you fucking kidding me? There was 2 stories happening, and I feel like they were just like, hey, let's fucking put both together, even though it's weird.
Yeah. Well, we're gonna get into it, but first I just want to say this movie brought back a lot of bad memories of previous Halloweens. Have I ever told you about the secret evil sister I didn't know I had?
Yeah, you did. Yeah.
Oh, I did?
Yeah, you don't have to say it again.
You sure you don't want to hear the...
No, thank you.
You sure you don't want to hear the long...
No, thank you. No, thank you. No, we're okay.
Have I told that story before?
You definitely told that story, and I'm pretty sure it's way more memorable than my Universal story because you didn't shut the fuck up. Please, stop.
Crystal, have I been getting angry comments for over a year for
just
a bit?
Kind of, sort of.
For a bit that...
Yeah, kind of, sort of. Let's not go down that route. Please don't go down that route.
Hold on.
Please.
Literally yesterday...
Another episode with us.
Literally yesterday, there was a comment on the video that went, the review starts at 27 minutes. I'm like, wow, a year later, they're still angry.
I am still also angry, and I was physically here. I am happy they share my pain. So no, shut the fuck up.
So the movie starts off with a new Blumhouse logo. It's a really nice logo. It's got Michael Myers, the stupid Insidious demons in it, people from The Purge. And as I watched the logo, I was like, I don't think I've seen a lot of these movies.
The Purge isn't horrible. They just made so many of them, and it's the same idea over and over.
Isn't there like a TV show too?
Is there? Probably.
God, there's
I wouldn't be surprised. But I mean, who doesn't like just people like... I mean, it's not a bad idea, and it is something you can constantly watch.
Comes from a Star Trek episode.
Oh, good.
Yeah, the idea. I remember when the trailer came out, I'm like, that's a plot of an old Star Trek episode. But yeah.
Star Trek.
So the title's open, and we find out throughout this film that Haddonfield is the only town that cares about their local DJ. The only small town who still cares about their local DJ.
They care a little too much, and everyone listens to the small
town. When's the last time I listen to the radio when I don't have like my phone synced up or a CD?
I used to listen to the radio a lot, but it was always like certain. It was like alternative rock music.
Yeah.
But now I'm just like, I'd rather
Literally,
just
I don't
play
even-
Spotify. I recently stopped.
We live near like a big city, so we have some big DJs, but they're a
get two.
holdover from when radio was still big.
Yeah, I get New York and Philly.
Yeah.
Because I'm right in the middle, and I love listening to each one once in a while, but most of the time, or I could just put on iHeartRadio too, so I can get anything. But I hate commercials.
Yeah.
I just rather listen to Spotify. I'd rather listen to stuff.
I have Amazon Music.
Yeah.
I listen to a lot of John Carpenter on Amazon Music.
Oh, that's actually kind of cool.
So yeah, this DJ is playing all the weird Halloween hits, and then we get invited.
He talks too much. He
does.
talks so much.
Well-
And he doesn't really sound like he has. He does the straight up, the call in and blah blah blah.
Yeah.
And I'm like, what the fuck? Like maybe years ago it would have hit. Not right now. Do a podcast. Try a podcast.
I heard Danny McBride wanted to be an actual character in this, and I really wish he was the DJ guy.
That
'cause
would've been cool.
He's one of the DJs in Grand Theft Auto 5.
Yeah.
So that would have been pretty
That
funny.
would have been cool.
Plus, it would remind me of his narration in Eastbound and Down. So the movie opens up with a family that's waiting for a babysitter to show up, and the babysitter is Corey Cunningham. Does that sound familiar? Is he dressed familiar? Does he not look like Arnie Cunningham from John Carpenter's Christine? It was very. This movie is. If you told me that they had a script for the remake of Christine, and they were like, "Hey, if we swap out the car with something else, we can make this a Halloween film," I'd believe you. So this movie really is tributing like a bunch of John Carpenter stuff, not just Halloween. Corey's wearing the same blue jacket that Arnie wore, so that one's a little on the nose. But yeah, he has to babysit a kid.
Because why isn't there a babysitter? I mean, I do like the fact that they're bringing that back about the babysitter, and the kid is going.
Oh, this is
like,
2019, by the way.
Yeah, this is 2019. The kid's like talking about Michael Myers and saying, "Oh yeah, you know, he only kills babies." Like Corey's trying to scare him. He's like, "Well, he only kills babysitters," and then all of a sudden that freaks Corey out. Like he knew that.
That would be pretty creepy. You don't want to be reminded of it. There's a million ways he could die. You don't want to be reminded.
But he's literally talking about Michael Myers trying to scare the kid.
Yeah. They're also watching The Thing. John Carpenter's
I did see that. I thought that was actually kind of cool.
Which is a funny reference to the original where they're watching the original Thing, but we beat him to it. In our Halloween in 5 minutes, when Laurie's talking to Tommy, we muffled the audio so you can't really tell.
Oh,
We're playing audio from John Carpenter's The Thing.
That.
We played it really low and muffled the hell out of it, but that is the audio that's playing underneath to make it seem like they were watching The Thing.
I didn't know that. That's actually kind of cool.
Yeah, Joe threw that in. I muffled it up just a little bit more.
Joe's
but
brilliant.
Yes. Yeah, so he's got to watch this kid. This kid disappears. And this is a very suspenseful opening.
This kid's a fucking piece of shit.
This kid does suck.
This kid fucking
This kid really sucks.
Like, as like the mom and dad are leaving, like he's just loud. For a second there, I had to watch this in a hotel. And I thought it was kids outside my room. I mean, there was a lot of kids outside my room, which were driving me fucking crazy. But I thought it was another kid outside the room because I was like, oh, thank God, peace and quiet. And you hear in the background the kid, and I was like, that's too obnoxious to be in the movie. It has to be outside my room. And then you realize it's the kid in the movie. I was like, what the fuck? Like this, this little fucking demon child.
That kid's annoying. But yeah, you get the idea, since Michael was never caught, you get the idea that Michael's in the house.
Yeah, the door is open.
The door's open, lights knocked down, the blade that he was using to cut his cake is suddenly on the stairs. And he hears the kid scream, and he goes to check on the kid. Turns out it's a prank. The kid is pranking him, locking him in the closet. Corey's freaked out because of Michael Myers. He's scared of Michael Myers. And like the worst coincidence ever, the mom and dad come home as they hear him going, "I'm gonna kill you," and then he kicks the door open and knocks the kid off.
I fucking laughed. I'm sorry.
That's the thing.
I fucking laughed.
So
at
I think they were trying to go for like a horrifying Hereditary sort of thing, like when Toni Collette finds her daughter dead and it cuts to you don't think that girl's gonna die and then the mom's screaming. I think they wanted that kind of feeling. Instead, everyone I know is just laughing at it because it's like
just you kick the door, the kid just goes flying. I was like, what the fuck? I like how the kid like just randomly has to be outside the door.
Yeah.
Has to be hard. You really have to be in the right spot for the door to hit you and you fly off the rail. How does that happen? Wait, did he break through the railing or did he fly over? He didn't break through.
I don't know if he broke. He might have been sitting on the railing.
No, fuck. I don't think the door then wouldn't hit him if he was sitting on the railing.
Well, look.
How the fuck did he get over the railing if it didn't hit it?
You know what?
through?
If we want to split hairs, the original Halloween, Michael gets shot and then he turns facing the balcony and then it cuts and suddenly he's behind the balcony and then he actually steps up onto the balcony to fall off.
How long ago was that movie? I can give it that. But I would think people would be a little bit smarter and be like, oh, wait. Because you would think, okay, but there has to be enough room for all of a sudden you hit and it, like.
Yeah. Well, whatever, he's dead.
What? Yeah. Oh, yeah, that kid is dead.
And then it cuts to our.
He's also holding the freaking knife as he's going over because he found the knife on the steps. He's holding over, looking at the kid.
It was an accident. The mom screaming. Cuts to the opening credits. We get more pumpkins. I love that this series brought back the pumpkin.
I do too.
Opening. Did you appreciate the Halloween 3 font?
Oh, I didn't realize that's what.
Yeah, the blue Halloween 3 font.
It was. I didn't. That didn't click because I was like,
how did that not click with you?
That just didn't click. I was really tired. I was so much this when I was really tired. That didn't just.
I didn't realize that Halloween Kills had the Halloween 2 font. Until it was pointed out. Because someone did like, so 2018 has the original font, 2.
Oh, look at
Kills
that.
has 2.
Creative.
And then 3, yeah.
I did not
but this time, so
that.
before it was the pumpkin rebuilding itself, then the pumpkin's on fire. This is pumpkins coming out of pumpkins.
I liked that.
One of them was the traditional pumpkin. So that was pretty cool.
That was pretty cool. And then at the end, like it was a normal pumpkin and it splits and all.
Kind of like Halloween 2 when it split.
I actually like that.
Yeah, that was cool. We get Halloween ends there. We find out Michael has caused mass hysteria in the town. He went into hiding, but people think he might still be out there. Whatever he did is probably driven other people to murder because we find a couple that was shot to death.
And that's what it was. Yeah, everyone's just really, really.
Did you know who committed suicide in the beginning? The lady who committed suicide?
No.
That was the mom of the kid who got killed on the railing. Remember she found his body in Kills in the hospital?
Yeah.
And she was wearing his costume he wore when so she must have been
either I love that.
Either Michael killed her and as a sick joke dressed her up, or she killed herself.
It was her killing herself because he wasn't known for killing anyone else after that.
Well, no one that they know of.
Exactly.
Because someone mentioned something a little bit into the movie. But that's the idea. Like he did in 2018 was so drastic. Like
everyone is just super paranoid.
Yeah.
Everyone is just fucking lost their fucking goddamn
so
marbles.
Maybe he's killing people, but it's not to the scale that he did before.
I don't.
Or he's just well, like I said, 2019. He was like, you know what?
Because even later in the movie, it makes me think that he didn't do any of that.
Well, 2019. He was probably like, last year was a bit much. I'm gonna take a break, and then of course 2020 COVID.
Yeah, he could have got during COVID. He had a mask on.
2021. They were like, you can do
Halloween at this point.
2021. They were like, you can do Halloween if you're like boosted, and he's like,
I didn't even get the vaccine. He was an anti.
He was
an anti-vaccine.
He was on Twitter, and he's like, I've heard things.
Yeah, he didn't.
Allison works at a hospital now, and she doesn't want to go to her Halloween party. I like that Lori. Instead of becoming crazier like usual, she's just like, you know what? I gotta live my life.
I like that.
I like that she's like,
you see her writing
because she's like, look, I was an alcoholic. I slept around. I was like a doomsday prepper. I did all of this, and what did it amount to? My son-in-law and my daughter are dead.
Yeah, she's like, yes.
Like she's just like, I can't do that again. So I'm just gonna like live out my life. If I die, whatever.
Yeah. At this point, I'm actually very confused in the movie because I'm like, what the fuck did that first scene have to do with anything? So right now, I'm like, as I'm watching this, I'm like, what the fuck is happening?
Well, yeah, that's going to be not an issue for me, but I feel like a lot of issues for fans. Everyone hates Corey because they blame him for killing the kid, even though it was an accident. But the mom's probably going around town.
The mom's fucking psychotic.
Well, the dead kid's mom, not his mom.
No, his mom's fucking psychotic too.
Oh no, I've got multiple notes about her.
They're everyone is fucking psychotic.
Michael Myers has ruined the town.
Literally, everyone in this movie, there is something wrong with them. There is not a single normal person in this movie.
I know. So he works at a garage.
Yeah.
Not Phelps' garage, but in Laurie's kitchen, there's a receipt for Phelps' garage. That's the garage of the guy Michael Myers got his jumpsuit from.
Oh shit!
Which was John Carpenter in the leaves and whatnot. If you look at this, the truck said Phelps Garage. So I thought he was going to work at Phelps.
I love those little like fucking Easter eggs. I miss.
They're little Easter eggs, but they're not like jarring. They're not
They're not,
yeah.
but they're cool little tributes.
Yeah.
I fucking missed all of them, I feel like. You're going to say probably like 10 more at least. I'm going to be like, fuck, I missed it.
So he works for his uncle. And he also wears
Was it his uncle?
Yeah, it was his uncle.
So
I was
he
a little
lives with his
he lives with his mom and uncle.
I thought that was like a stepdad or something. How do you know that's an uncle? Did they say it?
I think he said it. I didn't catch it on my first viewing, but I think on the second viewing they said it. There were a few things I didn't catch on my first viewing.
I wanted to watch it again today.
No. But here's the thing. They introduced the industrial shredder, and I'm like, someone's fucking going in that. And like, I actually went to Casey. I'm like, oh, that's gonna be awesome. Like the whole movie, they keep cutting to the shredder. It reminds me of you ever see Hot Tub Time Machine?
Yes.
So Crispin Glover's character, how in the future he has one arm, and then when they go back in time, like they know eventually they're gonna find out what happened to his arm, and they keep waiting for it. That was me with the shredder. I'm like, what happened with the shredder? What happened with the shredder? His uncle really cares for him. There are people who feel sorry for him. He's like, hey, here's a cool motorcycle.
Yeah, he's like, I don't need it anymore. He's riding his bike the entire time. He clearly doesn't have a car. He's clearly kind of like super sad and depressed and fucked up.
Allison has a car, and she's getting pulled over by a cop named Doug. And she goes, that's nice, Doug. And then I remember I have a friend called Nice Doug. And I texted him that, and he went, I don't know what you're talking about. And I'm like,
and he was like, who are you?
I'm like, nice. I'm like, I just saw a movie where people said the words nice and Doug side by side. I thought you appreciate it.
And he was like, who are you texting? Who are you? Wrong number.
I'm way more famous than Nice Doug. There's no way Nice Doug doesn't big league me.
And make Nice Doug more famous than you.
If you don't know who Nice Doug is, watch our Private Parts review, the Howard Stern movie.
I don't know who Nice Doug is.
He was in the Howard Stern movie review that we did.
Oh, cool.
With Carl from Who Are These Podcasts? Everyone's favorite. So yeah, he's like trying to flirt with Allison. Maybe he's I saw on like Wikipedia. First off, he's Doug Mulaney. The bullies that were bullying Lonnie in the flashback sequence in Halloween Kills, I guess he's one of their kids or grandkids. Okay. But yeah, he was credited as like a former boyfriend, but that didn't read in the. I just thought he was this guy who had a crush on her.
That's what
It's been a few years. I could see her.
I thought if it was someone that she was like dating or seeing, or she used to see and then ended really poorly.
That's what Wikipedia said, but it doesn't come across.
Oh, that's what when I saw it, that's what I got.
I mean, that could be it. For me, I just thought I thought
it was more than a crush. I think it was like a bad like a short bad relationship she was in.
Yeah.
That's the way I read it. Because they seem a little bit more had like an intimate relationship. It was just a crush. It seemed more.
But we get our first hints that Michael is underneath a troll. We get the first hints that Michael is living under a bridge, like a troll, perhaps.
Yeah.
He's like a troll.
Yeah, because
do you think people go up to him and they have to answer like 3 riddles or something? You think that happens?
I don't think so. No. What would the riddles be? Is it like you all of a sudden you're answering the Scream questions or something like that?
I don't know. You know what? We could ask our guest who's been here the entire time, Miker Miles. What do you think?
Hi. Oh, hey.
What do you think, Miker?
Miker?
Nothing?
Miker, I created you.
He's shy. Everyone's shy on their first time on the show, so we'll just leave him alone. We'll just leave him alone.
I also want you to see my little guest. My little guest came a thing. I literally got this is Gomez. My new jumping spider, my first jumping spider that I ever have. I just got him like literally 5 minutes before I got here. I told Tony, I was like, yeah, I'm bringing a third
guest.
What
do you feed it?
Mealworms. There's actually quite a few things you can feed him, but he has a mealworm in here.
What's the life expectancy on those things?
Between 10 months and 2 years.
Huh. Well, good luck.
I'm going to have this is Gomez. The reason why I called him Gomez because I get addicted to animals very quickly because I need things to love that don't love me back. I'm really used to that. So I'm also going to get a Morticia and a Wednesday and a Pugsley. And I'm very excited to have a little family. I'm going to try not to go past the 4, but sometimes I might need a lurch or a thing.
So you're saying you didn't enjoy this trilogy that's about getting over your own personal demons and becoming a new, stronger person? Anyway.
No, I am, but I got to keep at least one habit, okay? To make sure I still remain true to myself, okay?
So Corey gets bullied by the high school marching band.
What the fuck?
This is what Glee did to us. Glee made nerdy theater kids cool, and they turned into bullies.
What? They come out in the fucking I was like, who the fuck?
Like in an old movie, it would be like a greaser or it'd be like a jock. And now it's like, we're the marching band, buddy.
And they were literally bragging about being in the marching band. I was like,
This is what Glee did to us.
what the fuck?
What?
I mean, I was in the marching band. I was never cool.
I just think we need to stop giving birth to theater babies.
Oh my God. I never
Definitely
want to hear the word theater
baby.
babies.
If you don't know what theater babies is, watch our Hellraiser review from last week.
Yeah.
Anyway. But yeah, he's getting bullied. Lori helps him out.
Marching
And she like flattens the kid's tire. Or he
fucking
lets
love
her,
that.
she lets him flatten their tires and
Yeah.
and right away she's just like, well, this guy needs to sleep with my granddaughter.
Yeah, where the fuck did that go? Well, one, I love the kids were fucking saying, what was it?
It's not like she doesn't know
freak
who
show versus
the psycho makes the
Psycho
freak show.
freak
By the way, it's not like she doesn't know who he is. She was there when he got arrested. She was driving by. So I'd be like, you know what?
something happened.
Nice guy, maybe not right for
So
my
this is-
granddaughter.
6 years later, right? It said,
4 years.
Oh,
Well,
it's
it's
4
4
years? I thought it
years
was 6.
after. It's 4 years after 2018.
and then the kid got killed. This is 4 years after the kid.
3 years after the kid.
3
4
years.
years after 2018.
How old is he versus how old are these fucking high schoolers?
He's like 20. So he's like early 20 something
And
getting
you get up
bullied by high school kids.
schoolers. Seriously? Because he wouldn't buy them beer.
Yeah.
So he was clearly 21 at least.
Yeah.
And they push him and he doesn't even get up and like nothing. He's what? But okay.
Allison's into him though. And the doctor's into Allison. He's like, isn't she cute? And then he's
But,
like, you dumb woman, you knocked something over. Because the doctor is the bad guy. But yeah, Allison's into Corey, and they're having like a little cute, flirty relationship.
This relationship bothers me so fucking much.
Oh, really?
Movie. It moves way
Oh, you're
too
not.
fast.
You're not alone. Oh, some people think it drags. Some people thinks this relationship drags the movie down.
No, the relationship does drag the movie itself, but
Yeah.
them two becoming a thing, way too fast.
Well, they got a lot of baggage, and sometimes people with baggage jump into things.
Trauma loves trauma. Trust me.
Yes,
I know this.
yes.
I know this from experience.
Yeah.
But usually you have your walls up. You have walls up, and if two people are like, "Oh, you have trauma and I have trauma," guess what? Those walls are still built up.
Maybe.
But you're like, "Hey, look, he's not even that cute."
Maybe.
I'm sorry, he's not even that cute.
Listen. Maybe they ran into Chris Jericho and he broke the walls down. Break down the walls. You said walls, and immediately I started thinking
I'm
of
so
Chris
happy
Jericho.
That's what you thought. But
Chris Jericho's in a terrible horror film called Albino Farm.
is he really?
Oh,
I
God,
love Chris
yeah.
Jericho.
Yeah, so Lori and Lindsay are convincing Allison to get laid. Lori's just like, you gotta show your tits to the world and
Oh
say,
my God,
fuck
I
it.
did love that.
That makes you want to rip off your shirt and show Grief your fucking tits and say, you know what? Let's go.
But like with him,
Now, of all the people that Michael Myers has scarred and damaged, Lindsay got it the worst because now she's super into tarot cards and new age mystical bullshit. That's a fate worse
you
than
are
death.
such a fucking dick.
It's a fate
I
worse
love
than
that
death.
stuff.
Michael is like, I bet you there was a scene where Michael was like gonna kill her, and then she's like, "Oh, my star sign says that I'm a Virgo and I'm in this house." And Michael went, "I can't do any worse than that," and just left the house. Michael walked in and saw a healing crystal, and she's just like, "Nah, I'm good. I'm out." What? I thought they were gonna make fun of it.
They didn't. I like the fact that they actually used the death guard as what it actually
Oh yeah,
represents.
I've
Because
heard
in
that
every
before.
fucking horror movie, they're like, death guard, someone's gonna die. That's not it.
Yeah.
It is. It's the death
There was
of a
one.
change,
There
or
was
it's the
one
death
horror
of
movie where
an
they
instant.
pointed out that wasn't actually bad. I forget what one it was though. Definitely not Dead Alive. I think she did have the death card, and then there was a lot of death that followed. But yeah, Corey's mother sucks.
Holy
I
fuck.
couldn't tell if she was Italian or Jewish. Sometimes it's hard to tell. With the
I'm not gonna
really
lie, it
thick,
is.
first off, they're in Illinois, but it seems like they had really thick New York accents. They could have moved.
They could have.
We don't know where the dad
but,
is.
like,
Maybe they moved to Haddonfield. But yeah, I couldn't tell if she was like super Italian or super Jewish. I'm like, which one is it?
Maybe it's both. Could it be both? I could be
Well, I
both.
mean-
Why not?
Well, according to Goodfellas, Jews and Italians marry.
Yeah.
So maybe it is both.
Yeah, I'm gonna go go with both.
He's like,
she was.
Well, that means
like
then
at all of it.
It should have been both, and he should have went. He should have went, "Mamma mia, oy vey."
Jesus Christ.
But yeah, she's like, who you texting over there?
Yeah, she had such an accent.
My son.
I could barely hear it because I'm such a Jersey gal.
Yeah.
Like, I could
like,
barely,
bad
I was like,
boys
wow, this
don't
is a
have
natural
any
accent down here.
They have no custard for dessert. Sound like fucking. It sounds like she sounds like one of the Jerky Boys' characters. What was it, Sal Rosenberg? This is Sal Rosenberg.
Oh my god! But like seriously, how overdone was that? I was like, oh,
it was really
obnoxious.
And it's not even like she's concerned and stuff because what he's been through. It's like, nah, this lady was fucked from the beginning. And if that's her brother, you can tell her brother's like, oh my god.
I couldn't tell that was her brother or her husband.
Well, now I know that it's her brother because he's an uncle.
Yeah, I didn't know that.
I assume it's her brother, but he's just like, don't tell her about the motorcycle.
Yeah.
Yeah, she's Lori and Frank flirt at the store. That was cute. They've been building up this romance for a while.
It was cute. And like it definitely makes you a little happy.
You know what the only thing I had spoiled for me. Purposely. A bunch of things got spoiled for. Again, guys, when you post a spoiler to YouTube, I understand people are going to post spoilers. Don't make it be like Halloween ends final kill. Halloween ends this. People put like super specific detail, like when Godzilla vs. Kong came out, just an example. It wasn't Godzilla vs. Kong final battle. It was Godzilla and King Kong team up to kill Mechagodzilla using an axe, and then I'm like, why would that? What the fuck? That's too much information.
Yeah.
Less information. What the fuck? I don't want to know the specifics of it.
So what were people saying for this one?
I saw some things. I was able to like scroll past them real quick, but we'll get to all of them. It was nothing that I couldn't figure out because we'll get to a point in this where I'll tell you how the trailers accidentally spoiled something, and they had to
you saw it the next day.
They re-edited the trailers. So what was I saying? Oh, the one thing I asked Jimmy Champagne because he went to one of the premieres, not the red carpet one. We went to the other premiere, and I said, do they ever show Ben Tramer actually alive or confirm that Ben Tramer was one of her ex-husbands? Because we find out in Halloween Kills, Ben Tramer was alive.
Yes.
Because Frank's like, I had a crush on you, but you like Ben Tramer. Yes. And of course, in the original Halloween 2, Ben Tramer just tragically gets run. Dr. Loomis kills Ben Tramer, as far as I'm concerned, by getting that cop to run into him and explode him. But in this universe, Ben Tramer lived. And we just want to know if Ben Tramer's okay. Did he marry Laurie Strode? Is he one of her ex-husbands? How's he doing? We want to know.
Do we?
I do.
Okay.
Instead, we got Frank.
How many people? I picked Frank.
Well, they flirt at the store. And then we find out.
Frank.
Oh, Frank is learning Japanese.
This is awesome. I'm totally
Ryan
Frank.
is learning Japanese right now.
Everyone's learning Japanese. I feel like I get it on this train.
I'm not.
It's way too hard. I can barely speak English.
No,
we all know that one. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. How do you think Micro Miles came into existence? Yeah. So we find out fucking Sandra lived.
Yeah.
Does no one? Someone else pointed this out.
Think that she lives.
Someone else pointed this out on Twitter.
I swore she was like dead.
Someone else pointed this out on Twitter. I forget who. But they said, like, does no one die of neck injuries in this town?
He killed her husband and he stabbed her.
They're all like, yeah, you bullied that man and that's why he did it. It's all your fault. At no point does anyone go, it was the fucking doctor's fault. It is.
Yes.
It is objectively his fault. He purposely let Michael Myers out so that he could kill and cause havoc.
Yep.
And he purposely did it.
Yeah. But I guess does anyone know that?
I guess the idea is, much like since Michael's gone and the town wants to make Corey their boogeyman because they don't have anyone to put their anger out on.
Yeah.
They don't have the doctor to blame because he died. So they're like, I'm going to take my anger out on you.
Person, yeah.
Yeah, I guess that's it. But I wanted someone, because at some point because there are people who hate Corey. But then there are people like, no, it was an accident.
But didn't Laurie basically become the boogeyman almost?
Like
the bad guy.
Well, like when people hated Laurie, I wanted someone to be like, well, it was that asshole doctor, really?
Yeah. How do they all they want to blame Laurie so fucking much for everything?
Yeah,
it was her fucking brother.
People like to blame people.
Jesus.
Yeah. Wait, her brother?
Michael. Oh, not the brother. Oh my God.
The doctor.
No, I was thinking like the relationship between Michael and her. I guess it depends on which version you're looking at.
They're not related in
They're
this.
not.
They're not related in this.
Not this one.
Not in this one.
I can't keep the freaking Halloween story straight.
Oh, I had to do.
That's right, 'cause
I
it's
had to
not
draw. We mentioned it last year, but I actually had to draw the timeline for Ryan to explain it, and he's like, "That's a
I was
mess."
like, wait a minute, it's not the brother in this one. I was really questioning me. I'm like, wait, not this one.
So, I like that there was more conspiracy theories on the radio about Michael. That the original died, and the one who's now here is the one who poisoned the Pope or something. I'm like, that's pretty funny. I could have listened to a whole movie about that.
That would actually be funny.
But yeah, some of the town blame Laurie.
Good chunk. Anytime she's happy.
Mm-hmm.
Like, that's just sad to go
Speaking
around.
of happy,
but at that point, wouldn't you fucking move?
No one moves in this town.
Why don't you move? You hate the town so much. You're that petrified.
The only thing I can think of,
move.
The only thing I can think of, I guess, because Strode Realty, if that exists, Laurie's probably the owner of Strode Realty, so she needs to be in the town because it's based in Haddonfield.
No,
but they never spell that out.
That's
you can
never
move.
a thing. Sell your fucking house and move.
Well, but we were talking in the thing. We're like, how did she get such a nice house? We don't know her job is. Like, well, her dad was a realtor. He probably owned a lot of properties and just sent her off there.
She had a house that got burnt down.
Yeah, but she probably got it from her dad, who owned, because her dad was a realtor. Her dad, technically, she owned the Myers house.
Well, just because
if you think about it.
Just because your dad works in realty doesn't mean he owns a whole bunch of houses.
I don't know.
The company might have owned it.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I guess she's involved in. I don't know.
No.
Point is, she doesn't leave that town.
I don't give a fuck. Move.
Everyone else should have left in the previous movies, like Tommy, Lindsay. I'm like, what the fuck are you guys doing here? Get out.
Yeah, they're all still there. Can you imagine you grow up in the town that you're just constantly scarred from?
Yeah.
There's no fucking excuses anyway. And then fucking Corey, fucking move, dude.
Yeah.
Everyone
I guess he's younger, doesn't have enough money.
No, he's in his 20s. I guess because his mom would fucking literally kill him if he fucking moved. But still.
But anyway, they all go party at the bar. And Allison is dancing poorly. And Corey is...
Can we just say how much she's texting him, how like obsessed she is with him all of a sudden.
Yeah.
And it's fucking creepy how obsessed. Honestly, when I was watching this, I was like, wow, this is like a Disney movie. They're gonna get married? Like
a sad girl jumped into something too fast with a guy? Tale as old as time. Song as old as rhyme. Beauty and the guy who kills children on accident. Is that how the song goes? I haven't watched that.
Poor Lansbury, she just fucking died. She's rolling in her grave right now listening to that.
I'm sorry.
Rest in peace.
I had no idea she was still alive. There's like a few old people, like when that happens, I'm like,
fucking legends.
Like Shirley Temple died a few years ago. And I was like, if you told me she died in like 1976, I'd be like, oh yeah. I'm like, she was still alive?
76.
I don't know.
What the fuck?
How old she was? She was old.
Jesus Christ.
So they're dancing. He's a scarecrow. They're all having fun, but then the kid's mom is there.
He's a horrible dancer. That was a weird scene. She's there on the floor dancing. Like,
yeah.
I literally felt like I was watching another episode of Jeffrey Dahmer.
Yeah.
If you watch Jeffrey Dahmer, he's in the club that dances and stuff like that. He's a really bad dancer. And I was like, what the fuck?
Look, I know he was a killer, but do you have any facts that he's a bad dancer? I feel like that was a creative choice to make Jeffrey Dahmer look bad.
Jesus
Not that they needed it. Not that they needed it.
Christ.
No, the murder and everything.
That is what makes Jeffrey Dahmer fucking
Look.
crazy and
I'm sure he's a murderer and everything, and he's a horrible person, but I need a little bit of proof that he was a bad dancer before you put it in your thing. There's proof that he was a murderer. I'm fine with that. Is there video of Jeffrey Dahmer dancing? Let me know.
I don't know if I would like to see that.
Anyway, so they're dancing. The mom yells at him because she's there. She's like, you killed my son.
Don't you think they would also move?
There was a reference. Well, technically they did. They moved out of that house.
Yeah, that is.
Yeah.
Oh, so they just moved into another house in the same town.
I wonder if it led to their like divorce because they're not together afterward.
They're
you
not,
don't see
but
them
that
together.
means they both don't live there.
Yeah.
And if you get a divorce from someone, wouldn't you just move out of that town?
I don't know, but listen.
Because it doesn't look like, if you move to another, like, just get the fuck away, both of you.
Yeah. There is a reference here that I did not get until I saw it on Twitter.
Hey.
So blonde mom is yelling at the guy.
Yeah.
And Lindsay, played by Kyle Richards, is holding her back.
Yeah.
So Kyle Richards is on Real Housewives of Beverly Hills. Or Atlanta? No, Beverly Hills. Have you seen the meme of the blonde woman yelling and then she's reacting to a cat? That's Kyle Richards holding the blonde woman back in that meme because it's from an episode of Real Housewives. Someone put it together. They have Kyle Richards holding the mom in this movie and then Kyle Richards holding the woman in the meme. And I'm like, oh my God, that is a heavy reference.
What? What? These are the things I would like to know before I watch this movie. Oh my God.
I had no idea. That was like a whole thing. Like, I didn't realize, like, I knew Real Housewives was the thing, but when I saw her last year, and I was like, oh, that girl's still acting. I'm like, oh, she's one of the Real Housewives? Oh, she's like Hollywood royalty? I'm like, what the fuck? I didn't know that. It's just a little girl from Halloween.
Well, good for her.
So yeah, Corey gets, there must have been something cut out because while they're arguing outside, Allison puts her hands out to him like this.
I don't know if that was cut.
No, because later on, Lindsay is like doing it to Lori and they're like holding hands. So I think maybe they said something like Lindsay might have done that to Allison. So she was going to do it for him, but I think it might've got cut out. So now it's just, while they're arguing, Allison's just sitting like this.
It was a little weird seeing that, but I thought that was just her like.
Nah, I'm pretty sure. I think that was a deleted scene because Lindsay's literally doing it.
It was a little weird.
Lindsay's doing it to Lori later on. So I think that was something that was trimmed out, probably from that scene earlier.
Maybe.
But he's just like, hey, everyone sees you as a victim. They see me as the monster. So, there's tragic love there. It's a tragic love. This is a tragic love story.
After how many days of meeting? Because they also kind of ignored each other for a little bit.
Yeah.
Because
I knew a guy who met a girl on Tinder and a week later she was dropping L-bombs and stuff. So it happens. It happens. Corey runs away and he gets bullied by the marching band again. Those marching band kids are up to no good.
Where the fuck is his motorcycle? Why is he walking again?
I think he went with Allison.
Oh yeah, he did.
Yeah. So they beat him up.
Does Ubers not exist?
Huh?
Do Ubers not exist? Taxis, anything?
Whatever.
He's just walking.
They beat him up.
Glasses,
and he's by the bridge. Oh, by the way, earlier in the film when he was riding his bike, they had "Love Lives Today" spray painted on the side of a wall because that was the thing in the tip jar in Halloween Kills, and that's what gave him the idea to say "Evil dies tonight." No one says that in this one. No one says it in this one.
They don't.
This would have been the appropriate time to say it.
It would have been.
They said it 500 times in the previous film, but not in this one.
Yep.
But yeah, so they beat him up and they think they killed him, so they get out of there.
Fucking high schoolers.
Yeah.
Because they just push him over.
Yeah. And then
on glass.
Someone grabs Corey, brings him into the tunnel. And then a homeless guy is just like,
yeah.
He's staring there. And
he's a really good homeless guy impression. Oh, weird.
And he's just like, Pennywise, got him.
It really was turned into a Pennywise. Yeah, you think he's probably dead or something, and he's gonna be eaten. At this point, you're just like, where the fuck is Michael Myers? What the fuck?
Well, that's okay. That's the thing. Where was it? Did I have a thing here?
You're like, this is going on way too long without seeing Michael.
I have a thing. There's a 20-minute mark at some point. I think when they're flirting on the bike, I'm just like, it's been 20, 30 something minutes. The only kill so far has been accidental, but there's been no other scary things, no stalking or anything.
Nothing. The relationship's happening fast.
I could see fans not enjoying that. As I'm watching it, I think I literally leaned over Casey at some point, halfway through, and I'm like, oh yeah, I get why people don't like this one. I get it. Not that I agree 100%, but I get it. But yeah.
Yeah, because they're speeding through the relationship is so important to this story. I'm like, no.
But there's really not a lot of scary things happening. And then Michael shows up. I feel like they backtracked a little bit. Because the last movie, they're like, he gets stronger the more people he kills, and brute force can't stop him. He's not a mortal man. He will be stronger and blah, blah, blah. But this one, he's clearly... Because that's not what it was in 2018. 2018 tried to make him just a regular, hard-to-kill guy again. But then with kills, they're like, well...
He was
with kills,
supernatural.
Yeah, with kills, they're like, he has to be supernatural.
He was supernatural. Now, all of a sudden, you see him.
But
and he's clearly...
So I think the thing is, it's really hard to kill him, but he will take damage. Even if he survives, he will take damage. And if you think about 2018, I have a whole video caught every Michael Myers injury in the current continuity. He was shot multiple times, like stabbed.
He is super. You can't say he's not supernatural with that many injuries.
I know.
There's no fucking way. All of a sudden now he's fucking crumbling in a fucking
and it's not
sewer.
even like in Halloween. You know, he got shot like 6 times.
Yeah.
Fell off with stabbed, but then he was arrested and probably taken to a hospital and was in a hospital for 4 decades. He's living under a sewer. He's not treating those wounds properly.
How the fuck is? Yeah, then he has to be supernatural. He still has the fucking mask on. Still has the mask.
I don't think he wears it all the time. I think he's like, ooh, a visitor.
Oh, I wear this when I have company.
How is that? Look, okay, I know they excused it because they said it was in evidence in 2018. But like, by the way, of course, I know we have Micro Miles there, but the illustrated version of Micro Miles was the original mask that is dry rotted to shit.
Yes.
This mask would be a 44-year-old mask would be dry rotted to shit and like totally dissolving on him.
Yeah, it
in
already
the sewer.
is massively damaged.
Yes.
At that point, it would be moldy inside.
Yeah.
It would be horrendous inside. The hair is actually still okay.
Yeah.
You're like, what the fuck?
Now, this film, starting around this point, it really reminds me of Son and Ghost of Frankenstein. So Son of Frankenstein, Igor finds the creature.
Oh, I know Son of Frankenstein. Yes,
and then he like gets the doctor to like revive him because he's weakened, and then he uses him to get revenge. And then Ghost of Frankenstein, Igor finds the creature again, specifically in a cave, so he looks like he's all stone, and that's kind of what Michael Myers looks like in this. Like he kind of blends in with the cave walls.
He does blend in with he blends in with the cave holes. But
and then in that one, Igor eventually becomes the monster. So they definitely took cues from that.
Sure.
And the movie Christine. Because this evil force that's in Michael, Corey looks into his eyes, and then Corey sees all his painful memories mixed with Michael's murder. So it's like, did he transfer some of his evil into him? Are we led to believe that something similar happened to Michael as a child?
You start to think that, but then it's construed, I feel like.
Yes.
Because, like,
so he leaves the sewer and he ends up killing the homeless guy.
You would think Michael would kill him. And Michael doesn't kill him. He's able to get away from Michael. So he's clearly super fucking weak, because if high schoolers could beat this kid up and almost kill him, and Michael can't, what the fuck?
Well, Michael, that's why he passes dark energy into him. It's like the Force. I don't know. But he kills the homeless guy accidentally. And that's the thing. It's the second kill. It's like 45 minutes in, and again, it's an accident. Like the homeless guy goes to stab him.
And that was like such a pathetic kill. Too.
But I like the old guy. He's like, I'm Michael Myers. Get me that mask. So I like that the homeless guy has been like, he knows Michael's in there.
Yeah.
But I guess Michael just leaves him alone.
Which is weird.
I'm assuming like that dude leaves food out for him. But they show that there's a McDonald's not too far. So Michael probably like digs in dumpsters at night. Or he probably gets something from the homeless people who chill there. They just leave him alone. Because he doesn't really want to kill old homeless dudes. That's not like his thing.
He kills everything. Everything.
I think that's not who he does kill everything, but what he wants to kill is young people in their houses. Yes. That's his goal.
But even like in the other movies, even in like he just goes and kills.
Yeah. But I like these, like, no one else has ever come out of there. What did he do?
Yeah.
But yeah, so now he's got this dark energy in him. And I have another note here. Corey's mom sucks. Because she's yelling at him constantly.
Oh
and also, Allison's coworker fucked the boss for a promotion.
Yeah, she did.
She's like, I thought
redheaded sluts.
He's like,
fucking redheaded sluts.
He was like, I thought he was gonna make you head nurse, and then he's like, come into my office, lady.
I was like,
So yeah, eventually Lori gets.
She's an idiot.
Lori gets really creepy Michael vibes from Corey because he's standing behind a bush like Michael Myers, and then creeps up behind her. And she's like, okay, buddy, you can't do that to me. You can't do that to me. Corey then takes Allison on a lovely date to where he accidentally killed the kid. That's where ladies like to go, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, probably. Girls love all that true crime shit.
Actually, yeah, probably.
Yeah.
Trauma girls, definitely.
Yes.
You gotta remember, this isn't like, you got your normal crazy girls, you got some regular girls, you got, all different types. This is trauma girl, massive trauma girl. Massive trauma girl loves to watch other trauma.
Yes. And by the way, Corey's mom does suck, but she has a point with Lori. She's like, this town needed a boogeyman and they picked my son because yours wasn't around. And it's like, well,
she's got a point, but
Lori, you did drive a lot of people into hysteria and whatnot.
But like, also, she's just chilling in this house. Like, why would she let her in the house? Like, it's just,
she wanted to yell at someone. She wanted to yell at someone.
Her son wasn't home, I guess.
So yeah, Allison doesn't want to leave Haddonfield because of her grandmother. But to your point, it's like, why don't you both leave?
Yeah.
Why don't you both
pack up
leave?
and y'all make a fucking trip to fucking Jersey.
Yeah, but Doug interrupts their date like an asshole. This actually happened to me, my last girlfriend on her second date. Like a guy like interrupted, like clearly flirting with her. Like trying to talk to her about all these things. And I just sat there. I let it happen because I knew he didn't have a chance. But I was like, I admire the balls on this guy.
Do you think like, oh, this might be her
Turns
brother?
out a lot of people we know him. And then, not we know, people I know actually know him.
Okay.
He posts videos on Facebook of him deadlifting and he makes sure the bar hits his dick every time he deadlifts.
What the fuck? Gross.
I was like, oh, that's the guy who interrupted my date that one time. I was just like, yeah, okay. This guy's talking for a while. He's definitely not reading the room. Or he's overly confident. Good
or
for
he
him.
just doesn't give a fuck.
Yeah.
There's a lot of that. Or even just like going around any day or, ugh.
Yeah. But yeah, Corey gets mad at him. Unlike me, who was like, whatever. Corey gets mad at him. And Allison's like, well, I need to sleep with you. And Corey's like, no, not tonight. I have a date with murder. And Michael Myers. So yeah,
he gets way, it was fucking weird.
Yeah, he tricks the cop into coming to the sewer. Now, this is a weird thing. There was more of these in the sewer. And you could see it in promotional pictures, but you only see it here. There was a Michael Myers face in the wall.
I did see that.
There's a promotional picture where you could see that there was a completely different one that was like a front angle of the face. And everyone was wondering what it was. And like when I saw it in the trailer, I thought it was going to be like Ghost of Frankenstein where he's in the wall. Yeah. So I guess the idea is that like Michael in his spare time just carves faces. And it carves his Michael Myers face.
He's a sculptor.
He is an artist, though. No, he's literally an artist because he makes art out of a lot of his murders in these movies.
They're beautiful.
They're really beautiful. You got to recreate one of his art pieces in our Halloween thing. So I imagine him being bored. He's like, oh, I'm too old to go kill. Let me carve a face in the wall.
Yeah, it's like he would be whittling. What is it? Whittling?
Whittling.
Instead of whittling, he's just carving in the. Yeah.
But yeah, I thought that was going to be explained.
No.
Or even see more than one, because it said they just show the one. And even the guy goes, what the fuck is that? And I remember watching and going, yeah, what the fuck is that? But yeah, he struggles to kill the cop, but Corey helps him. And Corey's like, teach me how to do it. And this is very Christine when Arnie realizes the car is doing his bidding and is totally cool with it and just allows that darkness in. Yeah. So Michael kills him. And it's implied.
Go ahead.
It's implied that when he kills him, that maybe like the kill like reinvigorates him a little bit.
It excites him. That's what I was getting.
I thought maybe it was like fixing him, but it also could have just been exciting him. He's
That's
like,
what I thought.
Yay.
Yeah, I thought it was like almost
he
like
does a little dance.
Yeah, I thought it was like. Yeah, I thought it was like kind of like sexually arousing for him. Like,
well, when he does kill people, he does breathe really heavily.
Yeah. Why doesn't Michael kill him? I think Michael is smart enough to understand by looking at someone that they also have trauma. Well, but also there's a lot of
because this implies that maybe he did something similar to the doctor, because the doctor became obsessed with Michael and wanted to help Michael. So maybe Michael can put like a dark hold over people who let darkness in to help him. But in the end,
I think that was just
in the end, Michael is very selfish. He doesn't want to share that for long.
I don't think he wants to share. I don't think he gets it.
But I mean, the doctor probably stared into Michael's eyes many, many times. And then that's probably what happens. Maybe he's doing the same thing to Corey. He's like, hey, I'm in a shitty position right now. I need some help for a bit.
I don't think you can just get that from staring at someone for 10 seconds.
Well, look, the answer is they're trying to do Christine again, but with Michael Myers instead of a car. There's the simple answer, Crystal. They're doing Son of Frankenstein, where Igor's like, my neck's broken. I need someone to help me kill. They're doing that.
This is dumb.
I will share what I think could have been better later on.
All right.
So now Corey's in the mood for love.
Oh, now, yeah.
Now he's in the mood for love. And I have a thing here where it's like, I was thinking,
he got turned on by
because Michael is now at Laurie's house outside watching.
Yeah.
And it's like, did he ride Michael on his motorcycle?
That's what I thought of the doctors. I was like,
yeah.
Are they together? Are they together?
Yeah. Aww. Yeah, I think he rode Michael on the motorcycle, which they wouldn't show. But I'm thinking about it. I'm like, we never see him with a car.
Also, how would he know that she lives there? Because don't you think he probably would have gotten... Was it because now he's killed someone? Now he's stronger?
Corey told him.
Oh, yeah. I don't think Michael knows where things are.
No, he grew up in Haddonfield. He knows.
This house? Oh, yeah, whatever.
He knows. He was 6 years old, but he remembers. Probably looked at maps. Anyway.
If you tell me the town I grew up in, you're like, oh, yeah, it's on this street. Be like, I don't know where that fucking street. I know the street I lived on.
So I like when they talk to the dad of the dead kid. And he's like, Corey was a good kid. Like, he's the opposite of the mom where he doesn't blame Corey.
Yeah.
And he's like, look, I tried to talk to him, but then when I looked at him, like, I realized, like, oh, this is not the same kid. And it's like, maybe we turned him into this.
And I can go with that.
But I like what he said. He's like, I kind of got mad that everyone else got mad about my son's death because they kind of took my like they made it about them, which happens all the time.
It does. It always
I hate when like other people die or there's a tragedy and people immediately are like, I need to make it about me.
Yeah, when something gets really fucked up and they just like literally turn the entire thing about themselves.
It's like,
it's selfish. It's ridiculous.
Yeah.
There's so many fucking things wrong with it. It's like, it happened. You know what? It's better not to even just to talk about fucked up shit.
Yeah. And you could say like, hey, this is really sad. This person meant a lot to me and stuff. But there are people who then like will go on about like how it's about them and how it affect them personally. You see it every time there's a tragedy or like a major death. It's like, all right, fucking relax. When I die, just make fun of me. Just fucking, I'm giving the internet permission. When I die, just make fun of me relentlessly. Anyway, so yeah, Laurie is like, oh yeah, there's definitely something up with him. I looked at his eyes and it felt like I was looking into Michael's eyes. So that's what she's on about there. And then the doctor gets ready to sleep with redhead nurse.
Yeah, yes.
He's got the Alexa playing music. He's got the nice corkscrew.
I wanted to see a little bit more of that. Like I was like, are they married? Is this like an affair?
No, they're not married.
Like, is he married?
Oh, maybe it's the first time she's seeing his house.
But yeah, she knew exactly where the bedroom and the bathroom were.
So he told her. He told her. He's like, it's right down the hall.
Oh, but she went like straight down to the bedroom. So did he think that she was automatically going to go to the bedroom and see?
No, he told her to go to the bedroom.
Oh, I totally missed that.
He said there's a shower in the bedroom, but yeah.
Oh, I missed that part.
Oh yeah, so he's getting ready. And then she hears something going on, and it turns out it's Corey wearing his scarecrow mask, just stabbing him in the fucking neck with the corkscrew. Everyone's making fun of the scarecrow mask, but if you think about it, like Michael's first mask was a clown.
No, yeah, that's right.
You got to start somewhere.
Yeah.
You got to start somewhere.
It was kind of like a freaky mask. Like, you see that mask, and you're like,
yeah,
something's going to happen with that mask. They keep showing the mask.
They altered the death in the trailer.
Really?
Because I don't think they want to give away the Corey thing. In the trailer, the doctor's just like floating in the pool. I mean, maybe there's a scene where they threw him in the pool, but how it's edited in the trailer, she goes out, sees him in the pool, and then Michael comes out.
I think that's false advertisement.
Well, no,
I think that's false advertisement.
They do that a lot. Movies have been doing that for a long time.
Yeah, I know. It's still false advertisement. I want to see a dead body floating in a pool.
But yeah, so Corey and Michael double team these two. Michael stabs the girl up on the wall. Corey pretends like his hand is healing, but it's not.
Were you surprised to see Michael there?
Yeah. But then this really confirms, like, is Michael? Because after that, it cuts to Corey on a motorcycle with Allison, and I really thought the camera's going to pan back and Michael was going to be
I thought that too, but that's the thing is, like, I can't, how does he convince Michael to go out to this house and be like, listen, there's these two people I need you to kill for me?
Michael's using him.
Do they like high five at the end? I can
so.
just see them be like, nice murder. You got nice murder too. High five.
I think he just keeps Michael safe. Again, it feels like the Igor Frankenstein thing in those two movies where Igor is like Frankenstein's protector and whatnot. So it feels like that. Like the classic, the monster's not strong enough. It needs the real bad guy to help him out or something like that. I'm not saying that was the right thing to do.
But later in the movie, after you see the movie, you go back and rethink about it. You're like, no, that's not how that works, though.
Well, no one ever talks about these people ever again. And Allison goes to work the next day, and no one says, "Where's the doctor?"
Normal. The two are not there. Like nothing happened.
And yeah, I have it here. We're not getting a lot of Michael stalking, other than Laurie, in that one scene. A lot of it is just like someone walks around, and then Michael just shows up and kills him. Like we're not getting the usual Michael going around and hunting.
Get that someone shows up and Michael kills them. This is Michael's second kill.
Yeah.
And this is kind of like, it was a nice original kill, but the first one was like, it was just like,
you just stab the guy over and over again.
Yeah.
But yeah.
But he also with help, and all of a sudden he's strong.
If you're someone who's here for the if you're here for the Michael Myers kills, I could see at this point in the film you being like, angry. Fuck this.
Yeah. This wasn't a Michael Myers movie.
Yeah. So yeah, Corey and Allison are up on the radio tower, and he's like, I looked at this radio tower after the accident, and it did something to me, something philosophical.
There? Like, what?
I don't know, but then the DJ yells at them. He's like, get the hell out of here. He's like, oh, by the way, your mom bullied a mentally challenged man. That's like the new narrative going on. And it turns out Laurie is stalking both of them. She's doing more stalking than Michael.
Yes, she is.
And then I have here, Corey's mom sucks. Right. Laurie begs Corey. He's now sleeping in the dead kid's house where the dead kid died.
Which is really fucking weird.
But she sits there and she's like, so there's two types of evil.
How does she know that was there? I guess because that one scene where she drove by and knew that.
Yeah, there's that. And she was following him.
This is all her fault. I'm not going to lie. This is actually her fault this time.
But she has a whole thing.
110% her fault.
She has a whole thing where it's like, hey, there's two types of evil. This one's like this force and whatnot, which I guess was Michael Myers. And it's like, and then the other type of evil is like an infection that grows inside of you, and it's more dangerous because you don't know it's there. And I guess that's Corey. But she's basically like, break up with my granddaughter.
You're the one that put them together, and it's been what, like 4 days?
That was before he stared into Michael Myers' beautiful eyes. One of them's dead.
You really think that's what? Because they also don't say when the hell the dad of the dead kid.
I assumed it was after
within.
That.
How long has this been?
It's a few days, I think.
Only a few days.
Yeah.
So they don't show him walking along the side of the road because at that point, though, he wouldn't be walking. He would have had a motorcycle, so it would have happened before.
Well, no. I think it was after. No, it must have been after he left the cave the first time because he didn't have his motorcycle at the bar.
But when you look at him, he didn't look all fucked up. And that was at night. That was during the day, the flashback.
I don't know. We'll watch it again. Well, I'll confirm it here. But anyway.
Because guess what? I didn't see a fucking difference in him or his eyes or his mannerisms from the beginning of the movie until this.
I'll make sense of it.
Okay, makes sense. Because it's not making sense to me.
Yeah.
You also saw it twice. I only saw it once, but
yeah,
this is my first take on it, and I'm like, fuck this shit.
So she's basically like, leave Allison alone. She's not ready for this, whatever. And then Corey's like, Allison, your mom wants to kill me. We got to get out of this town. And then this is the most relatable thing.
Getting out of this town.
This is the most relatable thing I've ever seen Michael Myers do. He has a sloppy bro fight with Corey. Corey goes into the tunnel, and I love that it's just one uninterrupted shot of them just tussling and wrestling on and off camera. Oh no, I got so many flashbacks of college of me and my friends getting drunk and yelling at each other and then wrestling and stuff.
I hated that so much because I was like, are they like training? Literally when I looked at that, it looks like they're training. Like he's like trying to pump up Michael for more training. Like, listen, come on, bro. Come on, get your anger in. Come on, get your anger in.
Crystal, you like that? Oh, you hated that?
It was ridiculous.
You hated that.
I mean, okay.
Because I'm about to tell you, this is my favorite goddamn scene in the movie. When I watched it today, I rewound it like 4 times. I'm like, this made the whole trilogy worth it. To see Michael Myers in a drunken bro fight.
It was fucking hilarious. Don't get me wrong, but on a Halloween movie, it wasn't.
Hey!
So
if you're
bad.
gonna try some new things, drunken bro fight Michael Myers, I'm 100% in on that.
You have a drunken bro fight with Michael Myers, but he just did 2 kills. So now is Corey stronger
He's
than
still an
Michael?
elderly man. Which
yeah.
Corey says, he's like, you're just a man in a Halloween mask.
He's just a man in a Halloween mask. Corey gets fucking beat up like a motherfucker by some high school students.
Yeah.
I am very confused of where the strength lies in this movie.
Well, Corey's got the dark energy and he's very young. Michael's got the dark energy, but he's an old guy.
But he's just a man in a suit. How's he able to now transfer dark energy if he's just a fucking
I
man in a
don't
suit?
know. I didn't write the thing. I didn't write the movie. The movie had 4 writers. I'm not one of them.
They should have only had one because clearly they didn't have their shit together.
No, the drunken bro fight. I don't care.
It was ridiculous.
No, I loved it. I loved every second of the drunken bro fight. I loved it.
I was like, this
and then I like
really
when he
part
gets
of
up at the end. Like Michael gets up. It's the only time you really get a good look at him, I think. I've seen the picture of him. Like James Jude Courtney posted the picture of like the makeup
You
and
really
stuff.
don't see him that much. Like that well.
And this one, I will say this series, like they do a good job of like having Michael Myers unmasked and kind of seeing his face, but obscuring it enough where you never get like quite a good look unless you look up pictures of it on the behind the scenes stuff.
Yeah, it was really easy for that.
Whereas before they never showed his face other than the first Halloween or Rob Zombie's Halloween where he doesn't have the mask on half of Halloween too.
Let's not talk about those.
I was wondering how he was like shaving, and then when he takes the mask off, you see like his face is so burned. I'm like, oh, he just doesn't grow hair.
No.
He has like whiskers at one point.
Yes, he does.
Yeah. So yeah, there's a drunken bro fight. Corey declares himself Zoomer Michael Myers. Boomer Michael Myers is not happy about this, so it's Boomer versus Zoomer. And you'll never believe this, but an older woman gives advice to a younger woman about how her taste in men is bad, and the younger woman ignores it. So clearly, this is a work of fiction. Am I right?
Oh my god. Oh my god. Oh my god. No.
Was this relatable at all? I related to the drunken bro fight.
It's the only other. It's usually no. See, what I'm relating to is the trauma meets trauma.
Yeah.
The other way around, like usually it's like, no, I'm usually giving like advice to older, like all the ages, because I'm like, listen, I've been there, done that. I'm still doing it.
Yeah.
Not good.
Well,
I really don't get much advice. Like,
well, you know what?
You know what?
You need to get in some drunken bro fights.
I am down. Who's getting a drunken bro fight? Let's do this.
I can't tell what Van Damme movie Corey's uncle's watching, but I know I've seen it before. Corey's uncle is at the the dump,
Does he sleep
the junkyard
overnight shift.
I'm guessing he just didn't feel like dealing with his sister. I mean, and he's just watching a movie on a laptop, which I thought was funny. But yeah, the marching band comes to screw up Corey's motorcycle because he scratched up their car. And Corey kills them all. He runs over, he stabs the one in the eye.
I'm so happy now he can actually fight and stick up for him.
He stabs the one in the eye.
Yeah, how'd you feel about that one? How'd you feel about that?
I appreciate time and effort put into it.
Wait, someone made that you?
Yeah, the flail made it.
I didn't know that.
I appreciate
Can
it.
you literally does it come with you actually stab it?
Yeah, you can put pens. You can put pens in it. Anyway.
That is so cool.
Anyway.
Let's stick a pen. Wait, where's the pen? Is this a pen? Oh, it's a pen. Let me see.
No, it's a candle, but it'll work.
You can stand over there. You can stand over there.
Okay.
Oh, it could be like a candle holder. You can light it.
Anyway, so he stabs the one person in the eye. He runs over the one girl and pins her down under the truck. The poor uncle goes to investigate, and the other kid has the gun, and the uncle gets shot in the face.
I was like, oh, damn, when I saw that. I'm going to say this is my favorite scene in the entire movie because it felt like...
No, I don't know if this is your favorite. I think your favorite scene's coming up. Well, definitely your favorite character's coming up. Anyway, so why did you like this scene?
I loved it because it was actually creative kills again.
Yes,
I loved the kills.
He
I remember I was actually texting someone as I was watching it. They're like, and he was like, "Oh, how are you liking the movie?" And I was like, "Right now, I'm like not really liking it, but the movie's not done yet, so I'm still gathering my opinions." And then all of a sudden that comes, I was like, "Oh, there's some really good kills." He goes, "I knew you were a person that loved good kills."
The flame on the guy's mouth melting him.
Was every single kill in that was.
And then he crushes the girl's head and then runs over the head.
Yes, and I'm like loving this. I'm like, yes, I want more, and then that doesn't happen anyway. Like that, I was like, you build you up for all this, and then it just kind of from this moment it just drops.
Well, then he goes to the DJ's station.
Okay.
And his lovely
I love this
his
scene.
lovely assistant. You know what? Probably my favorite character in the film.
Absolutely, 110%.
Should have been in the film longer, if you ask me.
Absolutely. I think it's just because she is so beautiful and
She's
amazing,
very beautiful.
and everything about her, it would overtake the movie, to be honest. Like as soon as she showed up,
when I look at her, I'm just like, you know what?
There she is.
I'm like,
I
you
knew
know,
she was in the movie, and then I was like,
you know what? I bet you she knows a lot about horror films and has good takes on them.
Yes.
I wonder what her favorite Halloween film would be. Yes, Darcy's in the movie.
I love Darcy.
They cut out, they trimmed a lot of her death scene out.
Was there more?
Yeah, she talked about how there's more. There's going to be on the Blu-ray. We're like, I guess you actually got to see Corey like gutting her and stuff.
I was actually really disappointed that that's all I saw in the background.
I kind of did. I didn't mind the background stuff because that was one thing 2018 did really well, where he's killing people in the background.
I didn't mind it.
Yeah.
But I wanted to see more of Darcy, to be honest.
Yes.
That's why.
Yes.
I would love to see more of Darcy kill.
And by the way, speaking of things that made the movie worth it, the DJ kill.
The DJ kill was awesome.
Where he smashes his face and then cuts his tongue, and then the record player
was like, yes.
skipping.
I'm
like, that's
hearing it.
fucking awesome.
The cut of the top. I was like, oh shit. That was great. It was also great. The
problem
his
is
kills are fantastic.
The problem is it's happening so late in the movie. Like Christine, he gets the car and the car does start doing weird shit earlier in the film.
Yeah.
The thing is, I think
it building everything up.
It waited too long to get to this point.
Yes, I agree 100%.
Maybe not for me. Like I'm fine with it. I can see people would be more. I think people would be more tolerable of this Corey twist if it happened a little bit earlier.
They were building up too much of a relationship that was just a shit relationship. That's just
I guess
not
to make it more
believable.
tragic when he turned.
Yes, I understand it.
But at that point, it's like
you're trying to build this kind of sympathy, but I don't think they ever truly build this sympathy you would feel for this guy.
Yeah.
I never felt anything. I never felt bad for him, ever.
Yeah.
I felt a little bit bad, like in the very first scene where, he killed the kid. You're like, oh shit, that sucks.
Yeah.
And this guy, he's kind of, but like you look at him, you're just like,
yeah.
Just the way he handles himself, I'm just like, I don't fucking feel bad for him. He's not a likable character.
Yeah. There's a bit of a tragedy to him, I guess. His scene with Laurie is where they make him bad, where he's like, no one will have her if I can't have her. It's like, okay.
And they pushed it really hard.
But yeah.
I'm sorry, as soon as he got pushed, I think it's when he got pushed down by the high schoolers is when I was like, oh, fuck this guy. He's a fucking bitch.
Now, this is a scene, the whole emotional impact was wasted because so much of it was in the trailer where Laurie looks at the picture of her friends, which you three girls recreated. Yes. But yeah, she's like, I'm going to commit suicide, and she's drinking.
Yes.
But it's like, we all saw the trailer where Michael comes in. So like, it was just like, oh, that would have been
nice if it wasn't ruined.
However, the trailer spoiled the Corey thing. So when the first trailer came out, they showed Michael opening the door, which by the way, it's point of view in the actual film. You never even see Michael in the scene, but in the trailer, it shows Michael opening the door and he has all 5 fingers on his left hand, which this Michael had 2 of them blown off. So people were like, it's either a flip shot or there's a copycat. No one knew.
Yeah.
People guessed. And then I was like, well, I don't know, because it could just be a flip shot. But then the next trailer, they used a different take where you can't see his hand. I'm like, oh, they fucked up. They put the copycat and they didn't catch it in time.
I didn't catch that.
Not that the trailer people know. They're given like footage.
Yeah, sure. Just added it up. But I didn't catch that.
Yeah, so
I didn't watch the trailers close enough.
Yeah. So this was like a whole trap to get Corey, and she shoots him off the balcony, which is pretty awesome.
Yes, that is actually awesome.
And she's ready to fight him. She's like, I've tried compassion and I'm done. Sometimes violence is the answer.
Can I just ask, because later you find out, like, she makes this call.
Mm-hmm.
She makes a real call.
Yeah.
Why didn't she just fake the fucking call?
I think her plan was to kill Corey and be like, killed himself.
Why wouldn't you call it afterwards, after it was done?
Or she definitely wanted the cops to show up. But she probably wanted to give Corey this false sense of like her giving up.
I did.
Yeah.
Like I got that. I thought that's what it was. And then all of a sudden I'm like, why did she actually call?
Yeah, but then he tricks her. Because Allison's coming home. She's like, she's going to find out you're a killer.
How did he know that she was coming home?
They heard her.
But he didn't know.
He didn't know he was going to get shot off a balcony.
True, but
he went in overconfidence was his weakness.
He hears her. Well, he hears a car and everything. You don't know who it is. Like, how's he going to know who it is?
That'd be funny.
It could have been fucking Frank.
Yeah, the pizza guy.
Could have been, the pizza guy. Poor fucking pizza guy.
If I can't have the pizza man,
Well, that's how actually I usually feel.
But no, so he cuts his throat, like killing himself basically, and it makes it look like Lori did it. And Allison's like, you suck! I hate you, grandmother! I don't think she says grandmother in this one.
No.
And she's like, I'm getting the fuck out. And Lori's like, oh my God, my granddaughter
she's
hates me.
literally losing her mind at this.
She's like, what have I done? This man screwed me over. And he's all like, blah. But then Allison's like, oh, hey, the radio station's on fire. Oh, fuck. Maybe he was a bad guy.
I'm glad that's what made her realize that.
And then Michael, buddy, Michael, just get another mask.
He was really upset.
In this continuity, even back to the original, he could have killed Lori, but she took his mask off, and he was like, no. And then he could have killed Lindsay in the previous film, but she messed up his mask, and he got upset about it. And this one, he takes his mask. By the way, in the first film, I think he just grabbed a mask that was around. Like, he just wanted a mask. I don't think it mattered to him which mask it was.
But there are so many Michael Myers masks out there. That's the thing.
Well, that's the thing.
Why did Corey have to grab his original shit mask?
By the way, that's the point. Yeah, that's the problem. Michael Myers has now become iconic, so he's not allowed to not have that mask.
Yeah, because they literally say, how was it? The one guy, or someone was saying in the movie how people were coming dressed up as Michael Myers.
Yeah, but it's just like, buddy, hit up a Spirit Halloween.
Anything. It's all over the place.
Steal it. I'm sure
Amazon.
That Trick or Treat Studio. I don't like the hair on that mask, but that looks like his original mask.
It does.
You can order a nice Halloween Resurrection mask like this one here. This one hasn't been well preserved. I'm sorry.
Yeah, it depends on which movie he likes. Which one does he want to do? He has all these choices.
But yeah, so he's just like, I gotta get my mask back. And I hope there was a deleted scene where he realizes where the mask is and goes, oh my God, this broad again. Oh my God. Because I was joking, my friend Asta was just like, I love how like Michael really doesn't care about Lori, but keeps bumping into her.
That's actually really funny.
I think she was just like, I swear I'm not doing it on purpose.
So do you think he was just watching as everything was happening, being like, all right, let me see Corey do his thing. Let me see, is he going to be a good, like,
Corey got a head start and had a truck. Michael's probably like, oh man, I'm old. And he's got to hide in the shadows.
Like, yeah, exactly.
Because he's Michael fucking Myers. Yeah. There's probably people being like, oh, because people probably have pictures of Michael Myers at this point. And they're like, by the way, he looks like this, just missing some hair and has horrible burns.
It's not Halloween though, which I'm kind of sad. I wish it was like happening.
I wonder if there was like a thing where he like took the hobo's clothes and wandered around.
I was curious about that.
But then that would look too much like Rob Zombie's Halloween too, and I guess they wanted to avoid that. But that would be smart if he had to get around town. Yeah.
But like, like he just comes in through the back door, and he's just like right when it's like. But
I like that Lori's the one, kind of like in 2018. I like where she turned the tables on him, where like he's like looking around and she's like in the background.
Why did she have to stop the clock?
I don't know.
That didn't make sense to me. Why she had to stop that?
Was it a clock? Yeah, it was a curtain. It was the string for the curtain. Yeah,
is that what it was?
Or the shutters. Yeah.
Well, why did she just keep it like it was already going?
I do like that you put the microwave on to explode to distract him.
I did like that.
But then they have their final fight. Not as cool as the 2018 one. It's kind of. I mean, the 2018 one was stretching it a little bit, but there were like guns and knives and whatnot.
I think this is what made me really, really.
This one, it's just two geriatric people tossing each other
about. That's what it was. Holy fucking shit. That's what
and it wasn't like we just saw Michael lost in a drunken bro fight with his bro.
Clearly
so it wasn't just like, I wonder if Michael will. Oh, Michael killed. By the way, they could have just let Corey die. Michael had to kill Corey.
So clearly, Michael doesn't care about him. If he just goes to like, he's like just struggling. He could have just let him be.
I think he was just using him to get back into the action and then just didn't need him anymore.
But
it kind of reminds me of Freddy versus Jason, where Freddy uses Jason to instill fear in the town to make him stronger, and then it backfires. Yeah. Corey turns out way easier to kill than Jason.
Who would have thunk it?
Freddy would have had a way easier time killing Corey.
Jesus.
Yeah, so they have their final battle in the kitchen.
Yeah, the fucking. I was really excited for this because I heard people say, "Oh, the entire movie is going to be them fighting. Most of the movie you're gonna see that." This is the shortest Laurie and Michael fight I think in all of history of Laurie and Michael fight.
No. Like the fight in 2018 felt like the final battle.
It was so underwhelming.
And it wasn't even as good as the H2O fight, but they were a little bit more youthful.
I will actually say this is probably their worst fight in every.
I guess it's better than the resurrection fight because that wasn't really a fight. That was she caught him in a Looney Tunes trap and then he stabbed her in the back.
But like still like this sucked.
I agree. Resurrection is way better. It's the best sequel. I'm glad you agree. That's the most fun thing as the biggest Halloween Resurrection fan. People being like, this movie made me appreciate Resurrection. I'm like, yes, you Halloween 3 fans got your time.
Hey,
now it's my turn. Now it's my turn. People see the light. They're like, ah, yes, Resurrection is an underrated. But yeah, no, the fight is a little lackluster.
It's very lackluster, and it's pathetic, and there's nothing creative. There's nothing. Sure, you want to put a fucking fridge on him so he doesn't get.
Speaking of creative,
I know you're like stabbing.
I do like that she pins him to the table.
I don't mind that, but also like he also has his fingers fucking blown off. Like he can't just at that point. He's supposed to be this super strong human person. Like he should be able to like figure his way out of that. And
again, he's alive, but he's not doing well. He doesn't.
You realize that when
he takes the damage, it just doesn't kill him for some reason. But speaking of like creative, in the previous film, they were like, Michael Myers can't be killed by brute force. Like there's something else and blah, 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 blah. I'm like, oh, I wonder how they're going to kill him. And then this, she just slits his throat and then his wrist. I guess maybe the idea is like, she had him so like pinned and he was finally done that he was like no longer scary. And then she could kill him if she was able to get rid of the fear.
Don't you think there would be so much anger? I feel as if this is supposed to be the last.
I do like what she says. She's like, I ran from you. I chased you. I tried to forgive you.
That was great.
I've run from you. I have chased you. I have tried to contain you.
And I liked her delivery of it. But the kill and that the lines and the kill to me did not mesh well.
No.
It felt the lines were not valued and seen strong enough with that kind of a pathetic
I wonder
kill. There didn't seem anger before that.
Yeah.
So that line I feel like dropped.
I wonder if there was like an alternate. There's like a still.
I would love it.
There's like a still of like Allison's hand on Laurie's throat and a scene that comes afterwards that didn't make it into the movie. So Michael chokes her and then she gets all these flashes.
There's a lot of flashbacks.
Yeah, well, not as bad as the last movie where it was flashback the movie, but
flashback the movie. But this one had a lot. And it was through all like the very very first, which was nice.
Yeah, but I think like it was implied that maybe the darkness is going into her, and maybe there was like a darker ending where she did die, but they obviously didn't commit to that.
To be honest, I kind of was expecting her to.
Or maybe they
die.
wanted you to think it was going to happen, but then Allison came in and stopped it.
I think that's what. Yeah, I think that's what it was.
Because one of her memories is Allison saving her in 2018, and then Allison comes in and breaks his arm. They cut his veins and they let him bleed out.
But what do you think of when she actually took off the mask and you actually saw more of his face? Were you? I was
fine with that because if this is the end, he should look weak.
He looked massive, weak, and massively old, and I was like, "Oh, you really just made him this superhuman thing." And then you're looking at it, you're like,
"Well, like
it just felt so underwhelming."
If we're led to believe that his like power and rage is fueled by people's fear, I guess like her finally, because she was still afraid in 2018. She was prepared and everything, but she was feared, and she's like, "I'm finally done. I don't have any fear of you anymore, and I'm going to stop you." I guess that was the idea. But Frank shows up, the police show up, and they're like, he's dead. And Allison's like, not enough. And then my mind went, when's that shredder being? Oh, wait a minute.
Yeah.
Because when the kids were at the fucking junkyard, I'm like, all right, which one of these assholes getting thrown into the shredder?
Yeah, I was waiting for that too.
And I was like, what the fuck? No shredder? That's bullshit. It's like there was a Saw movie where the killer mentioned piranha at one point, and I'm like, well, obviously someone's getting eaten by piranhas. Never happened.
That's
Never happened.
That's sad.
That was bullshit. But yeah, so So the entire police force in Haddonfield will probably be investigated by Internal Affairs and all lose their jobs. And everyone who is there at this midnight lynch mob will be an accessory to, well, the internet, the Facebook local groups.
Everyone in that fucking town is old as fuck, and I don't think any of them.
That's right. They are still listening to a radio station that uses records, so who knows?
And no one's talking on
the internet works. Cell phones exist. The internet works.
Sure, but no one's talking on that fucking DJ. Like, the DJ's gone.
Well, yeah, it's on fire.
Did they just stop attending to that and all of a sudden attend to this? Because they happened very close together.
I wish I could have went to the Michael Myers thing, but
yeah, fucker had to deal with the fucking cutout tongue DJ. But everyone's there and everyone's just walking slowly.
Everyone they put him on the roof of the car.
You're scared of him, like you're still nervous about him like coming back. Like you have to make sure he's dead. I was kind of hoping he would get up off the top of the car. I thought of him as a fucking Christmas tree.
Well, I did like when she stabbed him in the heart of the thing. He did get up and then she had to pin him again.
Yeah. But he was like a fucking Christmas tree on top of a fucking car. All of a sudden it's like National Lampoon's fucking Christmas Vacation.
I'm sorry. I'm remembering an episode of Trailer Park Boys where they think they kill Sam and they wrap him up in a rug and put him on the car, but they don't tie it. So as they're driving, you just see the rug fall off. And then it turns out he is alive and that wakes him up.
That's kind of funny.
But anyway, they take him to the junkyard.
With the entire parade of people.
And that means they had to like brush over the corpses at the front gate.
Yeah, what about those? That's the thing. Yeah. Did they get to the fucking junkyard and they then see the fucking dead people and they didn't question that?
I don't know, but they fire up the shredder and Lori kicks him in, and so
I was kind of hoping she would fall in.
Again, it's not as satisfying as an ending as 2018. I thought that was a really good ending. I like that.
It was interesting seeing the body get like shredded.
Well, that was the thing. That's the thing. So in 2018, I like that Lori had her moment where she overcame Michael. But even Michael, even though he realized he was defeated, I like that he just stared at her and didn't give her anything. Like he just stared at her like, okay. Like he didn't like she probably wanted to hear him scream and stuff. And he's like, I'm not going to give you satisfaction. And then they showed that the basement's empty as kind of like a maybe, because obviously they were going to do sequels. Yeah. But that could just be an ambiguous ending, much like the first Halloween. Sure. Like he gets away again. Maybe he died, but you don't know. Yeah. But I appreciate that for this. They're like, we can't do that again. Because we're saying this is the ending. It is the ending of the story. We can't do it. Maybe he's still out there. So they're like, yeah, show that body get fucking grounded up and shredded. I get it. I get why they did it. It's not as strong as their previous ending.
It definitely wasn't strong. And with everyone standing, I get the point of everyone standing around her because the whole town was affected and they all get to have a happy ending.
And you see like some of the survivors, like the kid from the 2018. And
you see the neighbor in the wheelchair.
Would it have been great? Even though they're not in continuity, but they cut to like Daniel Harris and as much as I don't like Rob Zombie's Halloween, Scout Taylor Compton. Did you see they all took pictures together on the red carpet?
No.
Daniel Harris, Jamie Lee Curtis, Scout Taylor Compton, and then Nancy and Tina from Nightmare on Elm Street. I'm blanking on the real names for some reason.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah, they all took a picture together.
That's actually kind of cool.
They were like, oh, wow, Daniel Harris finally met Jamie Lee Curtis, her mother.
That was the first time they met?
I think so. Well, she's on record saying she never met her. I don't know if they've met since then, but.
Oh, shit.
But yeah, it would have been cool to see like characters from other Halloween films just there, because they could just be townspeople, but if like you're a fan, it'd be cool. And of course, what I'm getting at is we definitely needed to see Busta Rhymes there with Tyra Banks,
obviously,
so that fans of Resurrection Bros.
Is that what you
nice. I thought of another name for Resurrection fans, but it's not YouTube safe.
Please, please don't. Whatever that is, just don't do it.
I'm not going to.
Please don't.
I'm not going to. But yeah, Busta Rhymes should have been there. If this were me, the movie would have ended with Jamie Lee Curtis being like, I know I can't stop you, but he can. And then Busta Rhymes kicks down the door. He's like, trick or treat, motherfucker, I'm back. And they were like, what do you mean back? He's like, I'm from another reality. You ready for some entertainment?
I mean, multiverses are a thing. Like now it's fucking hot. Bring it on.
Yeah,
Michael. Multiverse.
Michael be like, I wasn't prepared for Busta Rhymes. Ah!
That would have been great. The multiverse of Halloween. Totally loving this idea.
Oh, it'll probably happen.
Don't say that.
But yeah, he's finally dead. Allison moves out of town. And Lori decides, hey, Frank, maybe we will go to Japan together, which I thought was cute. And she finishes her memoirs. She's like, I say goodbye to my boogeyman. Evil's never truly dead. It just takes another shape.
I don't like the sequence of how it ended.
What, with her house?
Yes.
No, I like it. Parallels the first one, only this time there's no breathing because Michael is gone.
I know.
Even though his
but it
mask
just
is
felt so.
And now she's leaving his mask out in the sun. That mask isn't lasting another year. I'm sorry.
No.
I'm sorry. That mask's not lasting another year.
Nope. But it just felt very. I was like, okay, the movie's done, and then they kept going, and I was like, oh, like they made sure she did finish the memoir. Great, it's done. Then she goes outside, talks to Frank, and then of course she has the last lines, and it was nice last lines, and then it still felt like going through the house, but it felt like it still dragged. It just didn't feel like the button.
I knew what they were doing. Well, I like that.
I knew what they were doing, but it didn't feel like a satisfied button ending.
No. I did like that it ends with "Don't Fear the Reaper." One, because that's a song playing in the original.
Yes.
Two, she no longer fears her Reaper.
Yeah.
And it's like a positive thing. Because again, if this is an ending,
a very positive
like you couldn't just
ending,
play the Halloween theme there because it's like, no, we need to know that this is finally done. But yeah,
it didn't feel. Now the entire movie didn't feel that way.
So what you're saying is this was not a satisfying conclusion to this trilogy?
Yes. That is exactly how I feel. I don't mind the movie itself. I don't. I think it's an interesting take, of a second Michael Myers, and but Corey's interaction with Michael, I don't like.
Yeah.
It seemed very odd with the type of killer Michael is and has been. This was a horrible movie for Michael Myers. I feel like he was too weak.
Well, yes, people are saying that. If you're a Michael Myers fan, I can see that. Me, I appreciate what it was trying to do.
I do. I can say that. I agree with what it was trying to do, but I think it failed.
This, for me, this is perfect. I like this. Say what you will. It has flaws.
No, I like it.
This,
absolutely.
one and done, like it.
Yes.
This was definitely padding, but it was fun, goofy padding.
And it was stronger, and it felt more Michael Myers.
Well, it had more Michael Myers, but like the townspeople kind of kill the movie because they're so fucking dumb.
They're so dumb. But you know what? I can, after watching Halloween Ends, I can stomach Halloween Kills more.
I could see them being like, this makes more sense now. If they were told that they had to do a trilogy, they're like, okay, well, let's give them the movie where it's just Michael Myers cutting a bunch of people up and going crazy. And then we can test out this new idea in the third film. And if it doesn't work, who cares? It's the last one. We gave them the satisfying movie and then the Michael cutting up people movie.
And then you're going to just disappoint them with this?
Well,
like I said, if this was its own movie, great.
A lot of people say that.
Make this the third. I actually didn't read anything what people said because so I watched it on, I didn't watch any spoilers. I didn't want to watch any spoilers or anything like that. I saw a lot of people going to like the premiere and stuff, and I was like, all right, I'm just going to avoid. I was really, really busy with work anyway, so it was really easy to do. I ended up having to stay at a hotel for work, and I watched it on Peacock, and then I went to work and worked really late and stuff, and I was like, great, no excuse to see any spoilers or even what anyone has to say. So this is like, I truly feel as if this movie should have been a separate movie. I feel that as I was watching it, it could have been as just a separate, like, what am I thinking of?
Like an anthology, perhaps?
No.
Or like,
I'm thinking of it, where was it?
Spiritual
like the Friday
sequel?
the 13th,
reboot?
5?
Oh, yeah.
This is what
with
it
the
made me feel
copycat
like.
kill. Yes.
It made me feel like Friday the 13th 5. This is what it made me feel like. And I was like, you know what? If this is the third one and this is what they're doing, almost like a trilogy, Halloween 3 kind of did something different. This Halloween 3 did something different.
That would
have been great.
The fact that they put Halloween 3 font in this, do you think they're like, oh, people are going to hate this now, but they might grow to like this movie down the line?
I'm not going to grow to like it later because it's not that original. It's not that.
Yeah. So my issue.
This is a really, really, really poor ending.
So for me, I think the movie's fine. The people who are like, there's not enough Michael Myers.
There's not.
They should have been. I'm in the camp where I'm like, well, I got the movie I wanted and I got the schlocky movie. I wish it went crazier. I would have been fine if Michael wasn't in this and they actually committed to the copycat thing because they teased it in 4, both versions of 6.
But as a copycat, as the end?
Well, because the idea could be like, oh, Michael Myers has now transcended his physical body and he's inspired a whole new generation of evil.
And it's going to keep continuing.
Or whatever force made Michael do what he did is now going into other people. So it's like, and it could play into the whole idea that evil takes shape. It takes another shape. But because of this fucking movie, and Friday the 13th Part 5, which, by the way, that's not the fact that it was a copycat is not the reason that movie's bad. I like that movie.
No, actually, I
like that movie, but like, if we had to like be like, here's what's wrong with the movie,
Copycat's not the thing that's wrong with this.
The copycat's motives suck, but anyway,
the copycat is not the problem with this movie. It's the fact that it's Halloween Ends, and it should have been a strong like this. This is an entire franchise, the entire franchise, and you are ending it right here. It should have been fucking stronger. The kills should have been stronger from Michael instead of him being a fucking weak killer.
Honestly,
or have it as Michael, is kind of weak or whatever, but have the movie more based on that, and then maybe at the end show something kind of fucked up to where you see Michael isn't just a physical person, but it is more of a
was going to be Halloween 4 at one point. Have you heard of this?
No.
So a writer was working with John Carpenter for Halloween 4. They were told to bring Michael Myers back, obviously. And they had an idea with after Halloween 2, the town has banned Halloween, and they've tried to suppress the memory of Michael Myers, and he comes back as this like cerebral, almost like a ghost. Okay. Like they're them trying to suppress the knowledge of him, like gives him more life.
Sure.
And there's going to be a horror movie marathon at a drive-in. And like he was going to kill people there. There are going to be things where he like emerges from. So he becomes like this spirit of Halloween that takes vengeance on the town.
That.
Yeah, but after Halloween 3, Mustafa Akkad was like, no, he's a fucking guy. Just make him a guy and bring him back. So they threw the script out, and
but that would have been cool to see that here.
That's when John Carpenter and Deborah Hill sold off their rights to Halloween. I mean, they still get residuals, but it would have been
cool though if they had that. Michael, kind of weak, whatever. I wish
this is what
I would have loved is Halloween Ends. It maybe a little bit of the romance, whatever, trauma, blah, 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 whatever. I feel like this should have been a much stronger, more of a Laurie and a Michael fight and a stronger ending. And then it goes into, I would love that to see a drive-in, especially because Darcy's in it. Yeah. And that would be cool to see a horror movie, but then you see other people in the Michael Myers masks.
Yeah.
And still, the thing is, great, the trauma has passed, but does it ever really leave you?
And there was a cool theory, like in the first Halloween, the guy at the cemetery is telling a story of a dude who killed his family that happened years ago. And it's like, I always was just like, was the same evil force going to him and then went to Michael?
I don't like the evil force idea.
I'm just saying like
because you're fully seeing that it's not supernatural. It's not a supernatural thing.
Well,
there's
limits to it, but I think it kills and ends. I think he is supernatural, but with limits.
Exactly. Okay, great. So kills and no.
Now,
in Ends, he has nothing supernatural in him. Nothing at all. Not in a single aspect.
Well, he was able to survive all of those wounds with no actual proper medical attention.
Great. But now all of a sudden he
doesn't have heart.
I'm sorry, supernatural, you should be able to win a drunken bro fight.
He's also an elderly man.
I can win a fucking drunken bro fight. But but he's able, an elderly man is able to kill a female like that. That does take strength.
Yeah.
To be able to put a knife through a human body strong enough to keep him pinned up and to be able to choke. If you're able to choke someone with one hand,
and
that's
a lot of knives aren't longer strong enough to pin people to the wall.
I do know that. Yes.
But would you have preferred, and I think maybe this is what they wanted to do. This is the ending of Michael Myers. And then the one after that was a copycat inspired by Michael Myers, blah, blah, blah. So they have to now fight this idea of Michael and this inspiration that he's gone into people and whatnot. Like, do you think, I think that would have been more digestible, because then people will be like, all right, well, we had our end of Michael Myers. This is fine. But instead they brought actual Michael Myers back and had him chop up a lot of bodies.
I don't think
so people
that
expected that for the next one.
I don't know. I don't think a copycat would have satisfied the Halloween Ends franchise almost.
Well, it should have been just
I don't even know if this is really the end of the franchise.
Oh, no. No, even Jason Blum's like, no, this is the end of Blumhouse's Halloween. They're going to do more.
Sure, but it's not the series. This trilogy, the ending of this specific trilogy with
Halloween Begins Again.
With Jamie Lee Curtis?
No.
Exactly. You're ending
whatever happened to Michael Myers' family? Where did Micah Miles come from, other than your speech impediment? Where did he come from? I want to know that's how you do the Schlocky sequel. It's like, oh, I'm in from a different town, and I just found out that But my mom is real sad about this Michael Myers news. It turns out she's the great granddaughter of Michael's sister after whatever, and we're related to the Myers. And am I gonna be Michael? Something like that.
Sure, that would be.
That's how. I mean, that's like the schlocky way to do it. But I would have been fine if it was just like.
I think it should have been two.
Someone
things.
like tried to be like Michael,
As
or even like.
As the end, though. With Jamie Lee Curtis, I think that's the biggest thing. It's Jamie Lee Curtis.
You want her to see
Laurie
that's the thing. That's the thing. They couldn't commit to either going all in on the copycat evil take shape or Laurie fighting Michael again. They tried to do both.
You could have done both, but the
kinda
Laurie and Michael is a stronger thing because you're taking it
kind of like
from this entire thing.
Kind of like that you want to finish your trilogy. You started with established characters, but then you got to bring back the boomer characters. And also introduce brand new characters pretty late. Kind of like that.
Yeah, kind of like that. Kind of like that.
Yeah.
Yep. Yeah, I don't like these new characters. Sure, the daughter I'm fine with. Or the granddaughter, sorry. The granddaughter I'm fine with. But like, stop.
Look, as far as Halloween sequels go, I think it's fine. We're recording this on the 16th.
This is.
Sunday, the 16th. Okay? We've been talking about this for a while.
Are we already halfway through October?
Yes.
Fuck.
By the way, we're going to be at Monster Mania in November. Check out that.
I hope I can be.
Or some of us will be at Monster Mania.
I really hope I can. I'm trying. I have work
that
Friday, Saturday, and Sunday.
But so I haven't watched it. I've only watched 2 reviews. Jimmy Champagne's non-spoiler review. And then I saw a video of like a guy in his car crying because he was mad at how bad the movie was and he regretted buying a Halloween shirt. He's just like, I like it, older than me. Just like on the verge, not crying, but like on the verge of tears. Like, I should have stayed home and watched it on Peacock. Like, really upset. And I'm like, guys, there's probably people that are going to, there's probably people that are going to be mad that, because everyone's like, it's the worst. It's the worst. It's the worst.
I think it's the worst ending, like I said. Like I'm going to say it like a gazillion times.
Not the worst Halloween, but it's not the worst slasher I've seen this year. The new Texas Chainsaw is way worse.
I didn't actually say it.
Not the best slasher. I really liked
a couple, like,
I really liked
movies,
X. X was really good. I didn't see Pearl, but I really liked X.
I didn't see Pearl or that. Yeah,
X is really good.
I'm thinking about.
But guys, if you're wondering why I'm not upset and freaking out, I'm not going to get upset over the 13th Halloween film. Like guys, I mean, a lot of them are bad, and the Rob Zombie ones broke me. And I was young enough where I cared. If I watched those movies at the age I am now, I wouldn't care.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'm not gonna.
Also, after I watched Hellraiser.
Yeah.
Hellraiser before this, and I was so happy that there was if you guys watched last Monday's episode, it was a great remake.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden, this week, I watched this, and I'm like, God damn it.
Well, here's the thing. If you're upset, there's so many indie movies you can watch, or newer movies.
Oh,
like I
absolutely.
said.
I'm not saying I'm mad at the horror genre.
Yeah, I was going to say.
I am mad
but people really go all in on this. It's like, you have options now.
I think it's just because, for me personally, Laurie is just such a strong, and she is the iconic final girl to me.
Yeah.
She absolutely is. And to see a final girl go through all of this, and then to end, I feel so, such a weak way.
Mm-hmm.
It wasn't like as weak for her per se, but I think the killer was so weak. It wasn't as strong of an ending as it should have been. It wasn't as powerful and as satisfying as I feel like it should have.
It's not as strong as the H2O ending, and it's not as strong as the 2018 ending.
I actually will say that. Like
it's not. Those endings were way more satisfying. I do like that they shredded up his body just to not sequel bait it.
But then continue it with maybe bring half the movie shouldn't even have been there in the first place. Like, fucking cut that romantic shit out.
They could have started, if the Corey thing started earlier, I think people would have.
I would have been fine with that. I think if you tweak this movie.
Or if he was directing Michael into the kills instead of like.
Yes, I can go with that. Sure, you can tweak it a little bit. And then both of them die. Like, make him not the main like, you literally made him a stronger character than Michael in this movie. Tweak it to where Michael is still the strongest character and still has that strength and a bigger fight, and then continue it with more copycats at the end.
Yeah.
Like, sure, he's finally done, finally great, that's satisfying, bring that satisfied. But also, don't leave this with being that happy.
Yeah.
Like you have, where is that fear? Like that fear, like not everyone can all of a sudden, I'm satisfied. I have everyone, he's dead. So now I feel no sadness anymore. That's bullshit. People are
you
so
saw her
fucked
like she
up
was
in the
sad
head.
with Allison at the table.
Sure, but I think it still fucks up people.
Yeah.
And then bring in about what trauma does to people. Sometimes people heal from it, but what about the people that don't? And it lets it fester in their body. Kind of like what her message was.
Well, she didn't want to deal with it. She wants to just choose happiness.
But what about the rest of the town? All of a sudden you want to make this about the fucking town?
Well, yeah. I think we should have seen more of them, but the town stuff was what really divided people in the last one. By the way, what I was saying earlier, safe first installment. By the way, that was Halloween 4, Halloween 5. The installment that introduces weird stuff that divides fans and confuses general audiences.
Yeah.
And then the incomprehensible conclusion that adds too many characters, new characters, and just kind of meh.
Yeah.
No, I think it's fine and fun, but ultimately unnecessary. I enjoyed it. I didn't hate it. I'll watch it again. I mean, as far as Halloween sequels go, it's one of the better ones considering.
What would you really say would be the worst? Like, which Halloween is the worst Halloween?
My thing is like Halloween 5 is the most boring.
Okay.
Halloween 6 is the biggest mess just because they eat both versions. I know people are like the producer's cut's better. It's like, sure. But even the people behind the scenes are like, it's still a mess because we didn't film all the stuff we were supposed to film. It can't be as much of a behind the scenes mess as 6. And it can't be just mind-numbingly annoying like Rob Zombies. It can be.
I do hate the Rob Zombies, but
it can be a safe, just Michael slashing people again, or a goofy Michael's on a reality show. I will not apologize, but like H2O is like a satisfying sequel.
It's
2 is
and
okay.
I'm entertained. Let me be like, I'm watching these movies to be entertained, and this one I purely was not entertained.
I was fine with them.
I went in with a certain expectation. If I didn't have the expectation of it, I think I would have enjoyed it more. But I had the expectation of something more.
Yeah, I enjoyed that it was basically a singular vision. One director for all 3 films, the same team behind most of it. So they really tried something. They went for it. They clearly put all their strongest efforts into the first one, but they gave it a go. Because like there's other recent trilogies that don't have a singular voice because it's thrown to a bit different directors and stuff, which sometimes works. But yeah, it was okay. It was okay. I enjoyed it. And you know what? I love it because our channel got a big boost when I started doing Halloween videos because people were excited for this movie. So it's my favorite Halloween sequel because it helped us financially.
Fuck yeah.
And it got me in a Jamie Lee Curtis video.
Oh my goodness.
Wow, that went on for a while. I feel like it's like our longest episode we've done in a while.
Yeah, we haven't done that many, but there's a lot to say about this. And I think it's definitely, it means a lot to me with this.
You know what means a lot to me? Our fans.
I love our fans.
This time last year was really rough for all of us.
Yeah.
We're not going to say why, but you've probably figured it out. Last October was really, really rough. Very stressful. I didn't even know if there would be a channel.
Yeah.
And this year was pretty good. Some ups and downs. But recently, this October was great.
This October was really fucking awesome.
Like, we went down to 1 episode a week.
Yeah. I'm in 2 episodes in 1 month. I'm back.
I went down to 1 episode a week, and people thought that was me being lazy.
No, I mean, it's life also.
Yeah.
And
it opened up the doors for more we would have never been able to do that Halloween parody.
And I think that was a lot of fun. I actually truly enjoyed it.
And we're working on a follow-up. Not Halloween, but we're doing another follow-up because the ultimate goal is to do a feature-length film.
Yes.
Which was one of the reasons we did that parody. We wanted to use all our equipment and test out doing horror stuff.
And see how we do. And
which we had a lot of fun with the horror lighting and stuff. I got to release the opening of that parody was actually a lot longer for YouTube. We had to cut it down.
Oh, really?
But because it was like a little too serious, the opening, because we just were having so much fun with the POV.
Yeah.
I got to put that on Patreon. I got to do more Patreon content.
Yes. Can we do a little bit more Halloween stuff?
Well,
we're doing the thing this weekend. I'm going to be there. I'll definitely on Saturday.
This comes out after that.
I'm sorry.
We were at, if you even made it to that one.
I will be there on Saturday.
Because sometimes people cancel last minute.
I will not cancel. I will actually be there on Saturday.
Okay.
I made that in my calendar.
Yes. So we were there, Crypt Video Rentals. I'm sure it was fun.
It was amazing and fun, and I hope I saw people there.
yeah, so I just want to thank the fans for their support. I was able to do these bonus Thursday videos.
Yeah.
And I've been doing YouTube shorts. So I actually ended up doing more work, but less time consuming because the 2 episodes a week it was just too hard.
Yeah.
It was just too hard. Even when we shorten the episodes, this is probably going to be our longest episode in a while. But like, it was just me and Jess could never keep up. And I'm glad we've had this new influx of subscribers that are going through our back catalog.
I love that. And just the people, guys, also what really does help is, obviously thumbs up, sharing it obviously as much as possible. Also, find the podcast version. Thank you if you're listening to our podcast. But one of the biggest things really is reviewing and putting a review on podcast wherever you get your podcast from, wherever you listen to your podcast. Definitely leave a review and rate it. That's really a big thing that kind of with the algorithm, and it definitely pushes it.
And
definitely, if you guys like us and you guys want to hopefully help us do more, that's a huge thing. A huge help with us is going and leaving a review, and also leave, if you want, fucking leave a hilarious review and then screenshot it and then send it to us so we can definitely see it.
Well, here's the thing. But my friend Carl from Who Are These Podcasts, he always says, give us a 5-star rating and then shit on us in the comments. So you don't have to
hilarious.
You have to leave a nice comment. You can give us a 5-star rating and just be mean to us. But yeah, check all that out. Thank you for your continuing support.
Thank you guys. It means it seriously means a lot.
Yes, I now have to watch more TV cuts and work print cuts, and I'm bringing back that video game show I used to do. Just like the movie, where I take a video game movie.
I heard about that idea,
Yeah, I wanted to get one out for October, but the Halloween parody took up a lot of time.
Yeah.
But yeah, we have some fun holiday themed stuff. We have some more horror reviews in November, but we have some fun holiday themed stuff coming up that you're really, really going to enjoy. And yes, I love you. Like, share, subscribe. Bye.
Remember to like, comment, and subscribe. Check out our other videos and Patreon page.